1 p.m. and this thing is not working, and I forgot about this one yesterday, I think. Uh, okay. Hope it's not a weird bug. Whoa. I can do this now. Yeah, it's no longer here. I was wondering why I skipped on that one. It's not living there anymore. Funny enough. Actually, no. I'm gonna do this first. Where is it? I'm gonna get from here. Copy. It's just doesn't work anymore.
And get out the chairs, hit the lights. Devon, get the table! What up? We need to get to the show. I can't be free. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, that's not, let's just set it again. That's a little better. Damn, that banged my eardrum out. Wow! I mean, I don't need to hear that too early, man. What's going on? Shane, in Australia, Dabby up here in I'm Devin in the building. What's going on, my dog? Dabby up here in We got a lot tuning in. We got 17 so far tuning in live, so we're going to go ahead and get the show on the damn road. First and foremost, we got some big shout out to all the podcast listeners out there. We're growing. Thank you. Other than that, man, let's jump straight to the show. I ain't gonna waste your time. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get to it, man. Y'all know what time it is. It's gaming, going, mother loving, wild. Yes, we talk about gaming crimes that happened recently. We want to make sure that gaming crimes get covered. A lot of times video games get skipped over when it comes to crime. That's what we are here for. We've been covering it for a long time. Very popular segment. We got some great stories today. Thank everybody for tuning in. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the first story. All right, I told y'all we ain't wasting no time. I hopefully I got this right. You know, we're trying to do the virtual, what do you call the vertical and horizontal landscape. We're trying to do something. I'm stepping it up. Get that name on. You guys don't put my name on. We know what it is. Yes, what you see right here is true. Why don't you go ahead and just take a look at the pictures. The pictures. Josh, what's going on? Dabby up here. That's all you doing, sir. You are here for a wonderful show today. A man in Oregon just got sentenced after police say he secretly lived under a family's townhouse for almost 3 months. He can't make this up. And this was not just somebody hiding in a corner. You can see the photo right there. This is someone who was literally living there. Now, I believe the name is McCurt. Might be Benjamin. I'm not sure. I'm not pronouncing the name. Mr. McCurt is 41 years old and was convicted of first-degree burglary in Clackamas County. He was also sentenced to 3 years in prison. As prosecutors say, Mr. McCurt had been living in the family's home in a crawl space. Yes, you see there. I want you guys to take a look at the crawl space. Okay, a good look, because that crawl space you see there, he was living there for quite a long time. According to investigators, Mr. McCurt had basically built himself a hidden gaming bunker. Yeah, video games. Yes, investigators said the crawl space had string lights, cookie burners, a gaming console, a couple games. He was in there. He had a full light going on inside of it. Now, the whole thing was discovered on September 3rd, 2025, when neighbors saw someone entering the home. Right? Investigators also found a couple other things. So they found multiple knives, a pipe with residue. I don't say what type of residue. We're trying to keep them honest. So the jury did not take long with this one at all. They deliberated about 20 minutes. Very quick. You guys know, a long time. 20 minutes before finding him guilty. Now, prosecutors say Mr. McCurt had been the roommate the family never knew they had for a very long time, and that's the creepiest part of the entire story, because this was not just someone trespassing. This was someone making a full living, playing video games, string lights, everything inside your home from him. You got the gentleman's face right there. Read that on screen. Right. This is disturbing how normal life could continue. Right. The family was going to sleep, waking up, raising a daughter, living the dream, and in their home, someone was underneath them with TV, Call of Duty, cookie burners, Doritos, and Mountain Dew, weapons and pipes, and a full setup they never approved. Right. And now, instead of a crawl space with string lights and gaming console, Mr. McCurt's gonna have a very nice place to live. It's gonna be great. Trust me, sir. It's gonna be a very tight space that you're gonna be able to play video games. This one be there. You have a roommate to share it all with. Hopefully, your roommate has some tablet. You can play game. Enjoy. Without further ado, that's that story. It's discussed. Okay. I want to ask everybody here right now. What would you do if you found in your crawl space of your home someone was living there? Would you go directly in and kick their ass out? What would you do? Would you just call the police? Say, police, come escort this gentleman out of the damn crawl space. He shouldn't be living here. Does he have some sort of rights because he's been living in that crawl space for a certain amount of time? We always hear squatters' rights. This is sick stuff. So I wish everyone be safe. Keep cameras on your home and make sure that you check every crevice of your home. Crawl spaces, the attic places that you typically don't go, because you want to catch them right in the tracks. Dante, he does. Hang on, my boy Dominic. For those who don't know, we go back like Ajax, Flapjack, Scratch, Jack, we got hands on him, man. I don't know if I got time to call. You know what I mean? I don't know if I got time to call. We just, 38 invertebrate. We're gonna feel like a boiling hot water. I'm not giving a shit. Beat him till he can't move. You might get charged with that. You know, if you start beating him for so long, they might say, you know what I'm saying? Just let the man get up. You swear with him? Damn, man, we gotta charge both of y'all. You gotta get a couple. I really snap on. I can't wait. I'm not waiting, bro. I'm not waiting till some damn dude in my home. Hear me on the phone, because he listening. He listening to the thing. Hear me on the phone. Like, hey, there's somebody on the cross. That dude just come up, hang up the phone. He just walk upstairs, man. That's all you gotta do. Get across, just walk out, man. I'm just calling. Hey, man, you see me down there playing Call of Duty, man. I'm gonna put on online match. That's crazy. Out he goes, but prison is too. Y'all not gonna lie. He do get a living setup where there's free food. It's probably bigger than the cross. Now, I ain't gonna lie, the cross space. Yeah. You got a nice little room in the cross space. Jail ain't gonna be like that. Too. Everybody know, man. If you've been in the commissary and you ain't holding down your commissary, they pump you for your commissary. Don't order another commissary. Listen, trust me, I've been there. I know how it goes. Hey, man, let's do a trade. You're not getting the other side of it. Or you just don't say, well, you know, like, it really comes to that, and then you know, you talk about it. Let's go. Hey, depend what state you're in line. Prison too harsh. You live in a house. Now let's talk about that. Hold on, like, y'all ain't gonna lie, man. Is that too harsh of a punishment? For 3 years, he was living at home. Now let's take things into account. The man was using electricity. I don't know if he's also breaking into Let's keep it real. He didn't bother you though. From my understanding, they didn't know he was there. So my man stays out. Everybody, like, he's just trying to play a game. Okay, he's been living there for a while. But the fact that he got big now, I don't care, bro. You got money to buy video games. So what the hell? How many games these video games? My man hitting up games, bro. Everybody hitting up games. It's just everybody. Let's go ahead and move on. He deserves more. Hey, that man, he homeless, man. They gonna beat him down in jail. Man, you know how I go in jail. Jail is not a place for everybody. I can tell say that. It's a real place, bro. You have not been, and I'm not one even trying to like brag on anything. Don't, bro. You're not built for it. Don't go. You gotta hold on. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story. That's wild. All right, man, let's move on to that. Okay, this one right here, y'all. It's funny. I got a couple homies that can relate to this. I used to be in the business of repairing consoles, but this is something new. My man Face had to put a bit on screen, but he's PlayStation 5. Said he ain't repairing. Y'all, I can tell you, I've been in the repair business for video games. Right, between somebody's system broke, you gotta repair it. Ain't much. You get a couple dollars, fix system, bam, here you go. Bam, they make it in the hood. That's a nice come up. I've been in the hood. Trust me. In the hood, there ain't many people who repair PlayStation 5. This gentleman right here on screen is a Georgia man who was arrested after police say he accepted money to repair a PlayStation 5, but he never actually fixed it. According to Coffee County Sheriff's Office, a woman posted on Facebook saying she needed help repairing the PS5. Next, when she allegedly got in contact with Mr. Shane Lawson, Tanner Jr. Oh man, Shane Lawson, you something. A 28-year-old man from Douglas, Georgia, who told her, man, I think your sister can do it. It's probably so easy to take care of that. Police say Tanner told her he would need her to pay $60 up front, okay, before you go ahead and fix it. The woman agreed. Of course, $60 ain't much. Imagine how much money you're gonna charge. So she met him at Walmart, smart, she got the camera, right? Handed over the PlayStation 5 and the $60. Handed over, y'all. Now, according to the report, repair never happened. I don't know what sound it was. The woman told deputies Tanner did not fix the system at all. And then when she asked, hey, got my system back, but it's not working. It's still not working. What's happening? He stopped responding to her messages. He took that $60. She later went to the sheriff's office over his PlayStation 5. She filed a report. She said $60. She wanted to press charges on my man. So on May 14, 2026, officers found Tanner and took him into custody. He was charged with that by deception and booked Coffee County Jail. But he was later released on a $1,000 property bail. We got $1,000 bond. He probably did that for $4. Now, this is funny. This is one of those stories where the amount of money almost makes it ridiculous, right? Like you went through this much for $60. Somebody like me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna catch you, and it's that's it. I'm gonna catch you. I ain't got to be hunting you down all day for $60. I'm not going to the sheriff's office. $60. I'm gonna get $60 out your ass when I say you owe me $60. We gonna talk about it like real men. And if you don't want to handle it like real men, then I guess we both have to start resorting to real stupidity. So, but nonetheless, if you get your PlayStation 5 fixed, watch out for my man saying, y'all. And not the same for them in Australia. We got him. My man saying for them in Australia. We talk about you, man. That we come to the statement. We make them all over. But not gonna lie, my man came up on $60 and then got arrested for it. You going to count? You lucky guys. And sometimes in county, you don't even make it past holding, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you want to hold it, you get out before you get back there. But nah, I know what it's like when you gotta go in. Put the orange jumpsuit on. Yeah, pretty sight was that was going on. In this case, the PS5 did not get fixed. That's the most important part. This thing fixed the PlayStation 5. And it probably was simple. You take $60. I ain't gonna lie. You charge a lot. I'm talking about $825. I got a part of some stuff. I'm like, my man from Indonesia. You got caption. That caption. My dog, man, my fault. I got problems. Hey, pinch it to the kid. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Here we go. Let's see if it switches. Hopefully it switches perfect. Y'all let me know if y'all see on screen. Good. You should be able to see this whether you're watching the vertical or landscape. And if you like your content, let's go. This one, you know what? We're actually supposed to hit the live on every platform going right now. Perfect. Yo, Devin, real stun repair guys. Yeah, good repair guys. Bad man. Totally. We get guys that are like this. Not this guy. Take care of everybody else who can actually fix a simple problem. Charging how much for? So this one right here is about a 46-year-old man in Scotland who was behind bars because police found a massive amount of CSA material on devices taken from his home. Y'all heard it. And we know we gotta keep the monetization, so we can really say what it is. Y'all need to look up CSA, get a turn to it. This guy right here on screen is Joe Fowler. He was found guilty at Inverness Sheriff Court after investigators recovered more than 57,000 indecent images of CSA. Let's just say okay, we don't watch what we say. It's a very delicate, all right? But Joe Fowler was found guilty at Inverness Sheriff Court after investigators recovered more than 57,000 indecent images of CSA and 144 videos from a laptop, a desktop computer, hard drive were seized from his former home in Highland area. Now, the court heard that some of the material was classified in the most serious category, and prosecutors said the files involved CSA ranging from little all the way to before they get big. Okay, you hear me with this? Notice how I'm doing the work. Okay, he may have been. Y'all are so funny in the chat, bro. I ain't gonna go on that, Sean. I ain't gonna go on that podcast. I'm just trying to say a little bit. Okay, investigators also found disturbing footage connected to a video game style file involving CSA. Video game. My man had video game material and video games crafted and made all around CSA. Because of the nature of the content, I'm not going to describe it in detail here. Disgusting. It is so sick that you guys can take your own time to research. I ain't even ready. Fowler claimed the downloads were accidental and said he deleted the files once he realized what they were. A police cybercrime expert testified that some files appeared to have been downloaded over possibly years, and that some of the times he had to play it more than once. Accidentally played it 30 times. The same expert said he did not believe the material was downloaded accidentally. After 3 hours of deliberation, notice 3 hours of deliberation. For this case, the other case we're talking about, after nearly 3 hours of deliberation, the jury returned a guilty verdict convicting Fowler of intentionally downloading the content. His defense said he continues to deny guilt. He still continues to deny it. The sheriff made that shit clear. Okay, made it clear. Because of the number and nature of the images, there would be no alternative to a custodial sentence. Fowler remained in custody, placed on the offender's register list, and sentencing is being heard till next month. So this is one where disgusting things like that can easily come into video game because we could have seen on Steam this game could have been released. If we see Plantation, whatever that was, being released, and how long was that going on? We seen reviews on it. I don't know what I'm talking about. Go ahead and watch it. My man had the whole slave plantation going on. That's crazy. That's great. So my man, wrong. Let's go ahead and look. Any haters. I think he's looking in the mirror. You here, and I don't even know what you're talking about. Wrong. That was that was so real. You know, I got to be right. Let's go like best. Let's go ahead and move on to this guy's disgusting. I don't even talk about much more on. But man, when money gets involved, you start talking about these inappropriate things with CSA material. This stuff is real stuff. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Everyone, I'm gonna put it up on screen now. Shit show up properly, right? Hopefully everything comes up right. There we go. We're rocking and rolling. Hopefully this goes everything. Houston police. Big shout out to Houston police. I ain't been out Houston, y'all. Y'all tell me it is so beautiful. And Houston police do not bullshit at all. I heard them. Houston police say an undercover investigation into illegal gambling led to a SWAT raid at Southwest Houston Social Club and a lot of different table right cards. Like, this is what you do at Social Club. Am I wrong? Let's go to the story. It was a raid at Southwest Houston Social Club where officers seized more than $350,000 in cash. A lot of money. Now the raid happened Wednesday night at Lucky J Social Club on Richmond Avenue. According to Houston police, nearby residents had complained for months about suspected illegal activity and gambling and other activities inside the business. They were complaining it's been going down for quite some time. They felt like police weren't doing anything. Well, investigators with HPD's Vice Division sent the undercovers. Sent them to the club multiple times. Matter of fact, they went undercover and confirmed that illegal gambling was taking place inside. The club allegedly kept its doors locked and had armed security. They really were locking this place. But you can't do nothing when SWAT come in. And SWAT is what they do. They give them all the rights in the world to do everything, and they get all the artillery. That's what they do. So police use SWAT team to serve the search and arrest. Yeah, what do you think? Officers went in, and authorities said roughly 80 to 90 people were inside the joint. Getting it on. So of course, police served that morning without incident. Okay, SWAT team don't play. You know how many SWAT team things get resolved easily. There were no injuries reported at all. Investigators said this was not your normal slot machine gaming setup. Because usually it's just, that's what you do a lot more. Police described this setup. They not only did the slot machines, they were doing the game tables, the card games, the chips. They said this appeared to be the good old what's the password? Type of, you know what I'm saying? They saying it's some type of joint. So you get the password like slap the door, like you playing. That's it. Yes, it appeared to be even a cashier's booth where they exchange money. Yes, so HPD had to arrest 3 gambling. Okay, on gambling promotion charge. Don't sound like you guys don't get off. Me. I'm be honest. That's it. We got something else. We got I mean, officers seized 351,000 in cash. Okay, and other evidence was tied to the gambling investigation. So police also issued citations. Okay, they were issued for the building fire code, health violations. Oh my God, I'll find you. That's great. But this is what happened. So a lot of people are on the fence. And I want to ask how y'all feel about mom and pop shop having these gaming machines where in states it's illegal to even play them or have them in some of these establishments. So companies use them or businesses use them, I should say, to keep extra revenue to the business. Imagine if food is going slow or if electricity skyrockets. Now they have to pay more. That could cover those extra costs. So they say it's illegal. And also it's a target by burglars. We see in a lot of communities they're targeting these machines. So Joe, going on. Yo, what's going on? Man, yo, Joe, I gotta holler at you, man. We gotta talk about tips at the restaurant, man. I gotta ask you, we had a deep combo, man. About tips at the restaurant. People piss. They tired tips, Joe. You a restaurant owner. You somebody who like them tips, Joe. Okay, you come on. Matter of fact, let me know when you finish when you come on. You know what I mean? I just come on. We'll talk about it. You know what I mean? Something real. Just quiet. You know, just we gotta talk. I'm wondering about tips, how you feel personally about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's my fault. Link in the chat, man. There we go. Link in the chat. Let's go ahead, man. Yeah, there you go. I got link there, man. Anytime you're ready to jump. Pop in, man. We're just gonna go ahead and jump to it. Because I'm gonna be honest, the tipping culture, man. There's people frustrated with the restaurant owner. You like, man, I need my tip, right? I feel like, hey, man, I gotta serve the table. It's 10 people. Y'all can't leave me no about that. Right? You a person that might just pay me to me. Oh, man, it's already time. I don't know. So, thank you, Joe. Let me come on. Let me know. Jump. There you go. All right, Joe, man. Thank you, man. I'm gonna go ahead and take this video off. Yo, I can hear you good, man. What's going on, Joe, man?
First time shows it's been crazy.
Oh, no, man. We always here for you, man. That's how it is. It's like television. You know, you like, man, I ain't seen 3 seasons. You come back 4 seasons still there, man. You catch up. You know what I mean?
4,000 subscribers. You 4,000.
Oh, snap. Yo, big celebrate. Woo!
I'm behind you by 3,500.
Yeah, you know how I go. Before you next thing you know, you turn around and go up. You know what I mean? So, Joe, I gotta ask for everybody. Now, you are a restaurant owner. Those who do not know.
Yes.
All right, that's correct. There we go. Dante's Italian Bistro got some delicious food. I tell everybody here. Personally, okay, that comes from the heart. So, Joe, let me ask you, how do you feel about tipping culture overall as a whole? There's some people that feel tipping fatigue, and they come to places like yours and say, man, I don't even want to tip. You know I mean, how do you feel about it?
Well, here's the deal. Without being an asshole, if you can't afford tip, it's becoming so bad, people making gigantic messes and having to babysit people, and we're having to charge $3 or $2 outside them. Because I had this common mess. They got sauce on the walls, they got sauce on the tablecloth, they're blowing their nose, leaving the napkins behind you. It's just like, you wouldn't eat this way at your grandma's house or at relatives' house. People are fucking slobs. Some people are, but most people are.
Damn. So when that happens, Joe, let's just say someone throws slop on the ball. They do all this. You, as someone that served them at the table, is there some expectation that the people that have children, that let's say they got 2 children, 3 children, should come with the expectation of a tip? Meaning they have younger ones that might cost more, there are things. Is there an expectation for a tip that you see when you have like children, other people, because of messes like that?
110% I would expect it, because here's the deal. A lot of people don't realize this. We were talking about this a long time about 2 or 3 years ago with the GameStop incident. When the parents bring their kids in, oh, get a babysitter. Same thing in the restaurant. They run all over the place and do this. Definitely you need to tip your servers, because a lot of servers live and rely on tips. When I was paying servers one time, I was paying $10 an hour clearing cash. Most places only pay $3 an hour clearing cash, which is totally fucked up. Pay servers $10 an hour or more. So it's just like if you can't afford tips, you have to take. I people take takeout. I talk to about 95% of the guests, and my dad talks to the rest of them. But the whole dine-in, that's not shit. People don't want to come out anymore. Not just in my restaurant, but they're in the whole strip. People can't afford it. It's not their fault. It's the economy. It's very bad right now.
Now you gave me so much. Man, I'm unpack it. Now you talked about tipping for takeout. Right, that's a big talking point that a lot of people have. And there are people that feel as though tipping for takeout is a like no. We got to talk about it. Like,
I never expect tips for takeout, but here's the deal. I'm not mine too. I would get higher tips for takeout than dining. Because the restaurant industry has changed. The people that can't afford to buy food are spending a lot of money on takeout. I'm sorry, people can't afford a lot of money for dining. People can't afford a lot of money to be a big family. They'll be doing massive big ass takeout orders. I mean, not
okay.
It's changed. It went in the opposite direction.
Now, as far as the tips with takeout, you're not the, you wouldn't be the only one, right? You have all the big chains, McDonald's, Pizza, it don't matter where you go. Every single place is asking for a tip up front. So let me ask you a question. Let's go on that. Let's say someone picks up something from Dante, but then you have someone pick up something from Crave. Do you think both tips are equal? That someone who is going out should expect a tip on both, or they should not expect a tip? How do you feel? Because one would be more of a restaurant style, and one would be kind of a cookie place. How do you feel with that?
Well, I'm not familiar with that place. I guess it's kind of cookies by Sonia, kind of like that. Okay, most of that stuff, that goes all on tangent. Most of that stuff is from the bake-off stuff, not fresh house. I believe any kind of one-to-one interaction, you tip somebody, a hairdresser, you're getting your car repaired, definitely for food, any kind of like fast food thing. I'm kind of on the fence about that. I don't really think you should have to. If you know the person's working hard and everything's store-bought and made with a bunch of chemicals added. For instance, I'm screaming tips.
It's not a crazy tip.
It says tip with smiley face and signature. I'm getting the option 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, right? Whatever. I had the first encounter yesterday. Somebody asked us to sign receipt. Take your receipt. Write down $5.
Too crazy.
I said no. You tip how much you don't necessarily. I'm not that type of person.
Now, I'm glad we covered the takeout part, man. I think you did that very well. I agree. I feel so very similar to you. And then I feel differently with mom and pop restaurants versus a fast food giant, right? Or even a major restaurant chain. So I feel differently if I go to a Dante's versus if I go to a Texas Roadhouse, right? I have orders, but let me ask you, Joe, on that.
5% is fair, I guess. 5.
A lot of different interactions. Do you feel the same with a place like that?
Well, yes, if you go to any kind of sit-down restaurant where you have actual menu, definitely the tip. But I didn't know that. I haven't been to fast food in a long time. I didn't know that McDonald's and Burger King now has a tip screen. That's totally never knew that. That's all I'm game for. But that, I don't think so. I absolutely don't think so because all chemical processed food. I'm not food like allergy nut or anything, but you're eating something real food. Everything's processed and there's chemicals and shit. And it's like real food. If you're down and then you're going to sit down restaurant, you have menu. Apple steakhouse. It's kind of like real food, not really. It's still about bullshit. Definitely the tip because those are getting paid shit and they're busting their ass. Big ass chains that people don't care. I know the customers are more shitty and shittier than days. Definitely tip your service 100%.
So now I want to speak just shortly about the economy. That was the next part you talked about how the economy is today. We already know inflation is through the damn roof with everything. Everything's up. It don't matter what it is. So how has inflation, how has it done to your business? Right? Because a lot of restaurant owners out there who are going through it, there are some who maybe like, hey, things changed, but I made it through it. Like, what have you noticed and what has it done to you?
It's extremely bad. A lot of the ingredients went up. I'll give you an example. 6 months ago, I'm not lying to you. A case of fresh tomatoes that you put on a sandwich. I think it's supposed to people who don't understand business understand. Fresh case of tomatoes, that's 20 pounds. Fresh tomatoes, $17. 1 month ago, it was $8. Now they jumped back to $50 to $49 to $28 a case. The tariffs are horrible. Nothing's made in the United States. I don't care. I will fight you to the nail. Everything's made overseas. I'm giving you an example. Cocoa, extremely expensive. Bacon, chocolate, very expensive. Cocoa, coffee, very expensive. Everything's made overseas. We don't have the technology to make stuff here. I'm very obsessed. Everything has gone up. I'm very behind my restaurant. My numbers are very nice. Make customers fucking I'm running specials. All inclusive specials for $13. You can't afford that. That's so bad. I've had people buy premium stuff that people that can't afford special aren't even coming anymore. And everything's made homemade and everything. If I had the money and I didn't have my 2 antique cars and the restaurant, I would move overseas. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm totally sick and done with the United States. I will miss my friends. It's so big. I'm 37 years old. As of right now, if I want to start a family and buy a house, I can't do that. You know, I want to do that.
Yeah, it's great.
I have friends my age.
Even as a restaurant owner,
I'm giving an example. I had 6 top come in a couple days ago. They looked at the menu and walked out. I lowered my price 3 times within 1 year. Usually restaurants are doing an increase of 4 times within 1 year.
Yeah.
The economy is total trash. It's total trash.
And I will agree with you with the economy. It is bad. Every time I turn around, something's going up. People are getting laid off. Like you mentioned, tomatoes or something new, right? That just skyrockets. Eggs, 1 second, it's this, and
I'll give you another example. I need to interrupt you. I used to go buy. Went down the price. Produce has gone down. So I'm very thankful for it. 4 weeks ago, a 5-pound bag of fresh peppers was $19. They used to be $5. It doesn't sound like a lot, but you add everything I cook with homemade with real ingredients, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. All my shit's done. It was so bad. I took seafood off the menu. See, a case of shrimp $50. It's now $100. That's off the menu. People don't want to serve shrimp anymore. I said these are tariffs. Like they're made in the United States. Like, no, they're not. I think nothing's made here. These people don't understand. I'm not calling them stupid. They just don't know. Nothing's made here. When it says made in USA, let's say you buy a toy. It's made in USA. No, it's not. Those dye molds, those hypodermic molds in the box are made overseas. So you're paying a tariff tax on it. Nothing's made here.
Exactly. No, you're dropping gems right now, John. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That's why I had to bring you on. I wanted to talk about it because I know there is no one better to talk to about like tipping culture, the restaurant. A lot of people see it from the consumer. So let's just paint the consumer picture of someone who does not care about the other side. They go to a restaurant and they go, man, McDonald's went on the double cheeseburger. Burger King went on.
Now, so you're paying more. It's called shrinkflation. You're paying more and you're getting less. I have to do the opposite. I have to give them more and charge less, and they're not buying. And that goes to tell you, it goes to show you something. My friend, his name is Joe. He's younger than me. He lost his business. He did Asian bubble tea. He didn't even make it 1 year.
Yeah, he said, it's there for us, dumping money out the stream. Oh, we got every type. We got this time, we got the Dr. Ramp, we got one of those ramp. We got no. When I was thinking about it, and how consumers they go, yo, prices of all these different foods go up. Now I can get the same deals, but I have to go through an app, forcing me through an app, right? So it's like,
you know why they do that? It's automated, so they pay people less money. Because instead of hiring, let's say, a front end person, in case you don't know, somebody answers the phone, like a receptionist, like a dentist, and food place. Hello, how may I help you? You're paying people less. AI is eventually going to take over where we don't need anybody working in the front to answer phones. I can't afford that technology, otherwise I'd have that and have my dad stay home. My dad comes to the restaurant, answers the phone, does everything, does that kind of bullshit interaction with customers. If I had an AI tool that I could afford to rent out. I'm not lying to you. 95% of my business is takeout. The other 5% is dine-in, which is fine with me because I can't even afford to have a server. I have an emergency server that I use on call, and she understands what's going on with the restaurant. She's been with me since day 1. She understands. But it's kind of like, it's crazy. I'll give you another example. It's tipping culture. I bought a flashcard from the television. I went to check out through the guy. He's a modern. It's like, oh, there's a tip from this. I gave him a tip because he makes stuff. He makes the stuff. It's not something from China. He gets the people boards and the soldering, and he reprints the shells and everything. I'll show you real quick. He wants that.
Yeah, go ahead. So I see what you mean on that. You tip people that you feel like are the money's going to a get call. The money ain't just going to some random. Okay.
Yeah, it's television. Television was made like I think 1978. Old school. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, television was rocking on them. You know what I'm saying? Television with a little turn dial had on the remote and all that. Oh man, that's
I buy vintage video game stuff like crazy. I love the video game stuff.
Oh yeah, that's where retro games is where it's at right now. That's like where everything headed. It's just retro. Everybody bringing back all the retro games, retro systems, old games. That seems to be where it's at. You know what I mean?
You need to get PS5 by the way. The jailbreaking scenes are on fire.
I already know. It's off the chain. And the problem with me is I ain't got time. I ain't even got time for the Switch. I ain't playing no new game. Xbox, no new games. I'm trying to think what's the newest game. I'm still playing Outer Worlds 2.
The games that I finished up was Resident Evil, Pragmata. What was the game called? I'm working on Mafia the Old Country. I'm almost done with that. And there was another game that I finished recently that I forget what it was called. Oh, Indiana Jones and the Great Sword. I love that game. I love Indiana Jones movies. That was a great game. Oh my god.
And I play right now is 007 First Light.
People like, Joe, when's you coming out for PS5? Dude, we got cracks. You got hypervisors. All the hypervisor cracks.
Yo, Devin, yo, I'm gonna let you, man. I had one. I sold it, bro. I had one right here. I was like, hey, you know what I mean? Oh, you said 3.0. Why you doing this to me, man? Why you doing this to me? I'm not supposed to be doing this, man. So I've got you straight away from the dark side, man. Then somebody they open the door, you hear the music. No, I'm not going back and I see all the video game systems. People got the tournaments going. No, I'm not going back, man. I'm knowledge.
Have you heard about the Lenovo situation? It's like they're pretty much out of the water now.
Yeah.
Whisper 38.
Yeah, they're right. It's heard about that. It's just every game. Like as soon as they found out, it was like every single Denuvo game there is open, wide open. Yo, Devin, you like, for real, man. We don't talk. I'm like, I ain't want to do a PlayStation 5. I'm like, because you know, I really can.
I forgot to ask you, Nick, those videos that you're posting with you and your daughter, I forget her name. I'm sorry. What show was that at?
Oh, that was at
That convention.
That was at Indianapolis.
Oh, wow. Cool. You have beautiful weather there. It was really nice.
Oh, man, it was great. We've been to a couple. I want to say, what was the other game? I'm blanking. It's too many. Like as soon as I think, because next week is Illinois Game Con.
Oh, wow. That's right in your backyard. You don't gotta drive anywhere.
You know what I'm saying? I got to know where the top to jump. Illinois Game Con. But IRL content, man, that's where it's at. That's what everybody wants. You know what I mean? We go live. We put the content out.
I love those questionnaires that you did. I got kicked out watching those videos. Those were
Oh
awesome.
yeah, that's all we doing, man. A lot of questions, a lot of trivia, posting long form videos on YouTube once we finish. We got a rollout plan. I ain't rolled it out yet, okay? 'Cause I got probably like 7 to 8 interview games to drop. And I got some more to get. We got Illinois Game Con. It's a band that's gonna be there. Some other people that I'm getting interviews from. But just to have everything scheduled on YouTube. Right now, I think 7 o'clock. One of the live game streams posted. I got every 7 p.m. for I think at least the next 12 days. One of the game streams I've had posted. So I just got so much content. I should have something posted every day.
Yeah, it's a lot of content. People understand that we have a YouTube channel. I just do the hacking and modding as a hobby. That's a lot of stuff to do. It doesn't matter if you're doing conversation stuff. You got videos, go through the whole nonsense.
Hell yeah,
It's a lot of stuff.
yo, I ain't gonna lie. That's what we got. And I'm gonna tell you how good it was. It was so good. We had people there at Illinois Game Con. Come do. You know what I mean? It wasn't like we just said come do it. It was like, hey man, we love to do that, right? Like, no problem, come do that. You know, come through. So yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of that. Nonetheless, Joe, I'm just down here. Maybe we don't continue on with the show. I just want to bring you on for that piece. Get your word. I know everybody loves that. I'm gonna clip that up. We need everybody to really hear about the culture. I think people gonna feel you with the way cost of living is, going out to eat. Even if you go to the grocery store now, you get taxed. You know what I mean? You can't dodge it. Dollar Tree went up. You know what I mean? Dollar Tree.
It's sometimes cheaper for me to buy ingredients at a supermarket than to buy wholesale. I'm not lying to you.
I've seen that a couple times. I've seen that a couple times too. So you're not alone on that one. Sick right now. Hopefully,
If I don't like, subscribe to Nick Moselle on Facebook and YouTube.
my dog, man. You know, if you hear, man, I got you at the end. I'm gonna choose your face. You know,
Choose your fate.
yeah, holla at it. Yeah, that's my dog. You know what I'm saying? Foxy and Joe, go holla at him. You know what I mean? Foxy, yeah, there you go. You got the tutorials up. You go check it again. I got some PlayStation needs. You want to check out? You know what I mean? I'm trying to get away from the dark side, man. You're trying to pull me back in. Y'all seen it firsthand. Live. Trying to pull me back in the dark side. I want you to know, man. I don't go to the dark. I stay away from the dark side long enough. I've been good. You know what I'm saying? They gave me permission. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the ticker for this one. Hopefully, I got the ticker right. Let's see. Okay, here we go. All right. So y'all see it there. Y'all know what's going on. And everybody who loves games probably mad at this. I know I love the Stop Killing Games movement. I know I love that. Okay. And Destiny 2 is the next up. Now, at least with Destiny 2, there is a good ending. But I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody know the whole shebang with this. There's a lot more to unpack. All right. Destiny 2 is reaching the end of active development. That was I don't know why Wolfpack. Maybe get a better sound. Okay, let's try something else. All right, I give up. I just give up. Bungie announced that Destiny 2 Monument of Triumph coming June 9, 2026 will be the game's final live service content update. The game is not shutting down. I want to oh no, what's happening? It's not shutting down. Destiny 2 will remain playable, similar to the original Destiny. Everybody remember the original? So it's gonna remain, I guess, like a maintenance mode. So it's gonna be active. You know, content development is coming to an end though. And that's after almost 9 damn years. We gotta get that one, man. There we go. Book the game. 9 years, man. I don't like Destiny 2. Great game you gotta play. I'm just gonna shout out all those who play Destiny 2, man. You know, put away Halo for a bit. And when they say we get to Destiny 2, but for Destiny players, this is the end of a real era. Like this era of Destiny is over. This was not just a shooter people played for a weekend, y'all. This is when people dumped thousands. They dumped it. But people dumped thousands of dollars into this. Destiny 2 became a routine for a lot of raid, different guns, seasonal events, expansions, exotic weapons, meeting with your friends, armor grinding, PvP, the late night missions, years of memories, man. I can tell you, I want to know about Destiny 2. I went in like everybody else. I was in. So when Bungie says the game is moving into its final service update, different for people that treat Destiny like hell no, but y'all, it's a little different. Destiny 2 is in this. It's sad. I'm sure a lot of people want Destiny 2 to continue to go on. Maybe just Destiny 3 to be right there, but no, it's not. So the bigger problem with modern gaming today is why we come back to the same talk every time. What do we actually do when we pay for digital games? Destiny 2 still won't be playable, but it's the same thing like we dealt with in all the others. This is not a full shutdown. Thank the Lord. This is not the crew situation. But Destiny has already had years of paid content. It's all gonna be bolted, changed, removed, unplayable. What's available? That's where me as a player would be frustrated as hell because you spend money on expansions, seasons, cosmetics, content, all types of things. The company still controls the long term. That's why I believe this still connects directly to the Stop Killing Games movement. The movement took off. For those who do not know, after Ubisoft shut down the crew. Now the crew was one of those games that required you to have an online connection even to play the damn thing. So it became unplayable once the servers turned. That's right. The argument that they have is that it costs a lot to run these servers. I say the argument is not that companies should update the game forever. I don't think they should update the game. That is not realistic. I don't think so. I don't expect the company to be, let's log into my account back when I was 6 and I'm gonna show you all my achievements. I don't expect. But the argument is when a company sells you a damn game, there should be some kind of end-of-life plan going into it so the game does not disappear when the publisher is done with it. Period. Point blank. This could mean offline mode. Maybe give us our own hosted files so we can host our own servers to keep the game alive. Hell, maybe we can build our own mods and add-ons to keep the game alive. This is why PC gamers shit on console gamers. Because well after a game's lifespan, it will continue in a PC world. In a console world, it does. And appreciate it. Camera quality too. I appreciate it. I enhance every, you know what I mean? That's camera quality. Every online multiplayer game must come with a single player campaign. I'm gonna pull that up because I believe that is a good point. Every online multiplayer game must come with a single player campaign. So therefore you cannot release a game that can stick you to an online only mode or a co-op only mode, which means you might have to sign into a server. And a lot of reasons for this is because in Xbox Live Gold plans and PlayStation Plus plans, they actually are charging you for that plan and then you play with others. You can't play with others if you're not part of that plan. So a lot of people pay to play. But let's be honest, that's the shitty deal from the jump. We can rewind the truck all the way back. That's the shitty deal. The fact that I gotta buy Xbox Live Gold to play what you want. That's the shitty deal. But they can buy some sort of offline support mode, private server, right? Give me some private server support, a final patch that lets the game keep functioning without depending completely on the internet or the company. That's where the industry needs to go. Period. Point blank. If you're going to take away physical ownership, you need to give us some sort of digital ownership. Real digital ownership, not a license. It should be a license to files that we can actually hold physically, which means I can then put these files on a USB drive and hold them. That's it. So if a game sold like a player should not feel like they got like rented access. Like that's what I feel like. It's rented access. And then the company all of a sudden changes priorities and say, oh god, I don't want to work. Oh, stop my server. It don't work like that. If it's just a license, say it with your chest. That's what I don't like about gaming companies. They lying to us. Just stop lying. Just say, I'll give you a license. You don't really own the game. I'm gonna be honest, the server may shut down at any point. Don't put this in the beginning in the terms, which turns out 17 pages. You need to put just that, hey, just so you know, this is a license for this software. The server can go down at any point. Do you still want to play? Get that shit. And if you say no, do you want a refund? Right, get a refund. That is how we feel like we are. Just do. We should not feel like we got rented access. That's not right. Okay. If the content can disappear later, make that clear before I spend my bucks. Because it'll be crazy if I went up to Popeyes for a 6-piece and I get it and they tell me one of the chicken wings disappeared. Hell no, the chicken wing. No, we're not going for the chicken wing. You know, it just disappeared. We ran out of chicken. No, you gotta replace something for that wing. Popeyes might give you a ticket, but you go. The business side matters too. Not okay. My man DD, what's going on from Russia? Oh man, go back like Ajax, the president. What's going on with you, man? We got Australia, Russia, Indonesia. We got a lot of different countries, man. We got a lot of different platforms. Thank y'all for content like this. Sony bought Bungie for $3.6 billion in 2022. $3.6 billion in 2022. And since then, Bungie has had layoffs. Bungie has not been doing the numbers. Y'all think Destiny 2 has not been rocking out like they should. Destiny 2 has underperformed compared to expectations. They took multiple losses. Sony has taken impairment losses. A lot of people know about them. Okay, they're shifting their focus to Marathon. That's where it's going. Forget Destiny 3. Marathon. That's what they're focusing. That's where they need to go. I think probably extra capacity. That's where gaming has gone right now. AAA companies must have these huge gaming budgets, or they will not survive. Okay, so from a business standpoint, that is what happens when numbers do not match the investment because you got way too much money coming in and you ain't making money now. You got to pay the company pivots. From a player standpoint, it feels like the game helped build you up to move you to the side to tear you down and let you know you ain't really in control. That's what I don't like about this whole situation. Now, before I move on to the next subject, one thing I want to say because this is a win for us, especially here in the States. When I look at the Stop Killing Games movement, I look for the movement in all the others in the US. And Colorado has been in the mix lately because Governor Jared Polis vetoed a bill that was very important to gaming. A lot of people don't know that. So Jared, shout out to you, man. Jared also plays games, but Governor Jared, shout out to Jared, man. He vetoed a bill that would have added a 5% fee to online video game purchases, including in-game purchases, character costumes, upgrades, storyline content, you name it. In Colorado, there would have been a 5% tax. And guess what it says? It's supposed to help on youth mental health. I'm gonna be honest, I'm all for youth mental health. But there is money that should be funded and already set to the side for these programs. We should not be taking extra money from consumers because that's all it does. We have to pay more to fund a youth mental health program. Well, my kid is not addicted to video games. I understand trying to help for their cause. I don't think 5%. I think it's just highway robbery. I don't think you're gonna use all the money. for any unit program. Like, new cartridge. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Okay. But Jared pushed back on his bill. He said that storyline content, all the cosmetics upgrades, all that is artistic. That matter. Gamers complain about microtransactions already all the time. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes it's absolute abuse. Battle Pass looking at you, but there's a difference between criticizing bad monetization and letting the government treat video game content like an extra form of revenue. Not doing that. Jared understood the assignment. Let's give Jared a big whatever sound. Let's go ahead and move on to our next one. Hopefully we got this correct. Trying to get everything. You know, bam. Y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all know me. I'm gonna go through this real quick. I ain't gonna bore y'all to death with this one. But let's change this caption real quick. For those who do not know, I'm going to take my sippers before I just celebrate. Feeling real bougie today. Y'all, we have felt the pain from Call of Duty. As a Call of Duty representative for a long time, we were stomping out every first-person shooter that came along. I don't care what you're saying. Our last franchise needs to be forgotten. I don't want anyone to remember the last Call of Duty. If I had Men in Black ink, I could flash at the camera right now, I would do it to every single one. You don't need to remember the last Call of Duty. We want to forget the name. We want to forget everything. We don't care if it's Treyarch or no, don't ever look at that. Don't ever look at that. You look at Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 4. Talk to me nice. They won't in the building. What's going on? They already know what's up. We ain't talking about Call of Duty. Hey, nice, man. They been on there with tag team back in. Let's begin. Come on. But Call of Duty Modern Warfare has officially been revealed, and this one already looks like it's going to be the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. It's going to be the most talked about Call of Duty release in years. It is going to be the Call of Duty of Call of Duties, and the game is set to launch on October 23rd, 2026 on PS5, Xbox, Series X and S, okay, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. This is sad news. It is also the first Call of Duty to completely leave out PlayStation 4 and Xbox One behind. That's true. It's gonna be the first one. That's all good. I don't care. I got Series X. I'll be blank. You know what I'm saying? But for all those which are poverty boxes, I feel free. Poverty boxes. And yes, they're poverty boxes, right? Which means we need to upgrade. We need to respect our poverty boxes because we get a lot out of it. It's not just poverty boxes. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. You do not need to download this with poverty boxes. You need to step up before October 23rd. You got a lot of time to upgrade. This first one will be which means Activision is cutting the last gen core. They're trying to push the series forward. I think that's just me. But the biggest conversation right now is not just the graphics. It's not just the platforms. It is the campaign setting. You have not watched the trailer. Take your ass after the show. Modern Warfare 4 is taking the series into a fictional conflict on the Korean peninsula. It has North Korea launching an invasion on South Korea, sparking a larger global crisis. Does this seem real? Does this seem like this is really happening? Are we making games based on real things? Okay. The story follows some new characters, including South Korean and American Marines. Right? Well, I believe they're South Korean conscripts. I think they're conscripts. I'm not too into the military terms. Okay, I'm just blocks. Right? But South Korean conscripts and American Marines. Also, going to be continuing Captain Price's storyline after the events of Modern Warfare 3. Y'all, so man, this is the best Call of Duty. Why am I still telling y'all? Get your. No, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna just tell you watch the trailer after this. So, and I'll be honest. On paper, this sounds like classic Call of Duty. Right? I know all y'all ain't Call of Duty fanboys like me. I'm a person that respects Call of Duty to the fullest. I know this game series is a big global conflict, real world tension, cinematics. Oh, but I will say this is also where the controversy really starts. The real Korean War never officially ended. Why are you playing with real war? I gotta ask Call of Duty. Was last year that bad that you say we gonna have to resort to use real? I don't like playing with real conflict. It ain't cause if somebody plays it, get real feelings and it doesn't real it's but movies do it. Music. Can video games get one off? Can Call it any franchise can get it off? Can Call of Duty get this one off? Can we not take it personally this time? Can Call of Duty get this one off? Can we not take it personally this time? Please. So as far as the Korean War, never officially. It's been under. I'm not gonna pronounce that. What is it? It's I can think of the word. It's armistice or something. I don't know. But it's been there for a long time. Okay. Many families have been affected, and the history is textbook. Like a lot of people know this. Their history terrible. I don't care. I just saw the trailer. It's the real. I've been waiting for the real. Do you know how fake that last Call of Duty? Don't speak the name. Don't speak the name. Nobody even needs to speak the name. I forget the name. Call of Duty was so terrible. We'll forget. But I will say there are people who are still alive who are directly impacted by separated families because of the ones starting the war in the first place. The guy released that game. But the video game for that. It's not so far removed. It's just the fact that we should know trolling when we see it. We should know ignorance when we see it. And you should not engage with ignorance unless you're just gonna engage with more ignorance and understand I'm trolling. You get angry. Right? When a major entertainment franchise turns into a movie or a real situation, everybody starts jumping up. Oh my goodness, there's no reason a blockbuster shooter should be telling these real bold stories around real things. Some people are going to see it as exploiting real world pain. I'm going to be honest. It is the same way many movies lean on it. The same way there's music that leans on it. How many rap albums have I heard where it's leaning on killing, and let it fly? It's number one on the charts. So can Call of Duty get one? I'll get one. Now, what else? Some other information I want to talk about as far as Call of Duty. Okay, there we go. Infinity Ward's defense is basically that real world locations and modern conflict have always been part of Modern Warfare. We've been doing this shit. I can't believe y'all got to pay this a bunch. We've been doing it from day one. Shut up. I found that later. One thing Infinity Ward's going to make a big change to gunplay. Who loves gunplay? First person shooters. I know one thing they hate about console players is aim. They feel like, man, it's like y'all away. Well, guess what? Modern Warfare 4 is removing hipfire weapon boom. You know what that is? Let me explain it. In a lot of shooters, when you shoot from the hip, right? Shoot from the hip. Everybody know hipfire is so damn good in first person shooters. If you don't know how to use it, please learn, okay? But now hipfire used to be where your bullets can randomly spread inside the crossfire area. That's how it used to be. You have a crossfire, if you hipfire and you had the crosshair on the person and you ran them up. But the randomness is supposed to simulate inaccuracy for, the spraying in a first person shooter. In Modern Warfare 4, that changes. If you ain't got real shooting skills, you better step up because the game tracks the actual muzzle of the gun. So when you pull the trigger, the bullet goes where the arrow is pointing. So that works even if you're doing anything, even if you're running, gliding. It might sound small, but for competitive players, that's gonna be a big deal. Less randomness. RNG. Competitive players hate RNG. You want more accountability. You want to know that you really did. Hit the shot. This is it. Skilled players are probably going to love it because it rewards a good movement and not coordination. But casuals, they don't see it different because close range fights are gonna be real lethal. Man, you're gonna miss your shot, but somebody who can aim, pow! So somebody can't just slide around the corner blazing from the hit. It don't work. You're gonna slide around that corner and you're gonna go boom, and your gun's gonna be pointing up here and it's gonna shoot straight up as it should. So all the sweaty players that slide around corners trying to bing people, if they rap for you, it's over. We're not doing that hit fire target. You're gonna actually have to stop aim, shoot. Another thing is last thing I want to call you. There's DMZ, y'all. Everybody knows zombies has always been the Call of Duty. The last Call of Duty, zombies. I gotta talk about the name, but this Modern Warfare 4 there is DMZ because Modern Warfare 4 is bringing back it as its major alternative to zombie. Right? So DMZ is they feel a better alternative to zombie, and I think it's a big statement to where we have come today because Call of Duty has had zombies as one of its most popular side missions ever. But now Infinity Ward is taking a step back, looking into the atmosphere and seeing that extraction shooters are where it's at. So Activision is still chasing a sandbox survival like loot where you drop in, loot, complete objectives. Now Infinity Ward, they know where it's at. We're leaning back to extraction shooters. What's hot right now? I'm not gonna lie, they did right because people do like extraction shooters. It's very popular right now. I can see this mode being popular. Now whether it will be popular in the future, they do not care because they are trying to come now. So I'm gonna ask everybody out there, how do you feel about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4? Will this actually be the Call of Duty of Call of Duty? Will it be a good Call of Duty? Will it be better than a lot of the first person shooters we've seen now? Because I can tell you this year alone, you one of the first person shooters that I have played have smoked Call of Duty. I can tell you, ready or not, body can. And a lot of people don't know about body. I'm gonna say it again, body can. Look it up. I've not played it. It is the most realistic shooter I've ever played in my life. And I'm not talking about realistic just on, oh my goodness, the people, the AI acted so real. And no, I'm talking about realistic that when you look at it, you cannot tell me the difference if that was a real person or if that was a video game. So, if you feel like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, would you like to see this? Now, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. Bam, y'all know what time it is, man. It's always the time for one. This is do I got the munchies. Yes, if you like the left hand cigarettes, if you got a fat boy snack pack, if you like to go out at 2 a.m. because you're on hunger rain, man, everything closed. This is the spot for you. We talk about some of the greatest, latest foods that are hitting to your area. And you are going to love this. So please, let's jump right into it and we'll check it out. I'm gonna miss you. But I'm gonna go before I go into it. Devin, it should come out standalone, not in a zone where all the COD are. Okay, Atrix, another one. Call of Duty could be a great game. I like the innovation you described. Hip firing, but trailers can be very deceiving and misleading. I hope we go get it expected. He's absolutely correct. Trailers have been so misleading, so much so that some video game companies have been sued because the trailer did not look. I want to say Watch Dogs 2 that actually used footage that was not ever in the game. It did not look nothing like it. I may be missing some information, but I think we're so without further ado, let's get to the first one for dude. I got the fucking munch. Yes, fucking munch. You gotta try to keep it a little bit out of it. A little bit, munch. Here we go. So I hope this plays correctly. Y'all let me know. Okay. So first up, I gotta hold on. My sound right out here myself in my ear. Let me show you. First up, y'all, this is crazy. I didn't even know about it until now, but TikTok has a new viral food trend called Kool-Aid pineapple. People are taking pineapple sphere, mixing the juice with Kool-Aid powder and extra sugar, and then letting the fruit soak until it turns like red, blue, pink, whatever color you put in there that gets the most attention online. I don't know if it looks delicious. So to me, it's like, we started juice, but it does look pretty good. I already know it tastes like. I think about it. That sugar. Let's not pretend this is healthy. Okay, let's be honest with ourselves. You're getting pineapple, which is already a sweet, sugary root. Okay, it's supposed to be a versus eating a damn Reese's peanut butter. And you now made it no longer a healthy option. At that point, the pineapple is candy.
People are so fucking retarded. God damn it.
only. But yes, there is no sound. They don't sound play over the button. You see what they're doing. They're buying, I believe, members marks. I'm not sure if they're at Costco or Sam's Club. It's Sam's Club. But they're going ahead and taking those pineapples. As you can see on screen, putting sugar and packets of Kool-Aid in there. Now we have Chelsea with a no thanks to the Kool-Aid. Momo said if you take it out, you don't put it back into the water. Bravo, Momo. You get a candy. I think that's what makes it gross sound, right? That's the part that makes it gross. When you take it out, do not put your crusty finger juice and all that back in there. It's disgusting. Matter of fact, like this right here. You see my film back in there? Right, hold on. I gotta stop it right there. That's, I'm not eating out that jar. That jar, that is your jar, first of all. And I hate people want to do this. I know. I just gotta do it. I can't stand those hairlines. Bro, I can't stand those hairlines. I gotta say, I don't know why you do the whole drawing on thing. I don't know what that's at. Atlanta something. I don't know, bro. Just take it. I hate them hairlines. And then you got those fingers in the joint. And then you got the don't me up with the knuckles coming, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna lie. The plate she got slamming, got the whole Kool-Aid joint. I know what I'm saying. Like I said, don't do it. Put some vodka in it, and it makes it hard fruit bites. My man Devin said diabetes, heart attack drink. Now look, he did it with cherry and pineapple. That's interesting. He's right. You put some vodka in it. Now I ain't gonna lie. If you make a little alcoholic drink, that's an interesting party dessert, right? Like, hey guys, these are loaded with vodka and something else. So each one you eat, vodka strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can imagine your face with vodka. Oh my god. That's the how y'all feel about the Kool-Aid. That's Kool-Aid. Things look delicious, man. I can't even lie to you. They do look delicious. Like, but I know it's a heart attack waiting to happen. I like that.
No, it looks awful.
There we go. So this one I'm not gonna lie was delicious. And
That's
Express is launching a new
a
Cantonese
little
barbecue
more
brisket. I'm
normal.
not gonna lie, y'all. My fat boy jeans kick in. All right, I ain't gonna lie. I like the real Chinese joint. You know what I'm saying? But occasionally, you know, I hit the panda for the American version. You feel me? This Cantonese barbecue brisket is slow cooked brisket, seared in a char, stew style glaze with flavors like soy sauce, fermented soybean paste, mirin, and sesame oil. I hope I got those ingredients correct. I don't know. I'm not they're saying 44 grams of protein, y'all. Which is one of the biggest items they have put on the menu. Period. And I'm interested. Okay, I'm all in. I'm not gonna brisket at Panda Express feels like it's one of those things that's either going to be amazing and you're going to say, "Shit, I've done this a long time ago," or it's going to be terrible, rubbery, not taste real, and you're going to get rid of it after. It's one of the other. It's one of the other. I'm gonna ask here, who eats Panda Express? And if you do, would you get the barbecue brisket? Right? I'm not gonna lie. I would get it. I already get the orange chicken and the beef. Okay, that's a good little mix. And I'm gonna lie. Sometimes I kick out the chicken, just get the beef. Sometimes I do double chicken. Let's keep it real. The double chicken be hitting high, but this one you get the triple entree, you get the beef, the chicken, and you get the barbecue. Oh, not gonna lie. Panda, come with it. Come with it. We got one. I tried it. We got one. Not gonna lie. It looks good. So, all right, y'all, I'll let you go. Definitely, I'll let you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate you coming on, man, and sharing with us. You know, all Devin, yes, I've got you. Ain't nobody say no. Ain't nobody say no. I'm not gonna lie. Panda Express, I'm in. Y'all want Panda? I'm gonna give you a sound. What is it? I mean, I got to do it. Let's go. You got candy. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. I'm not gonna lie. We are right now. I want to say we are 1 for 1. I'm not with the pineapples. I am in the barbecue. Let's go ahead and move on. Next one. I'm see. All right, boom. Now, oh, okay. Let's get to Chipotle is testing crispy chicken, and they ain't telling you. They're doing it sneakingly. All right, right now it looks like only one confirmed location in Tustin, California has it sneakingly. They're doing it. The chicken is ready and fried. You can add it to your bowl, burrito, tacos, or even salad. I'm not crispy chicken at Chipotle changes. Am I right? It feels like Chipotle has switched to chicken. Like, I am with it. I am 100% down. I like Chipotle. I think it's fresh. I like Chipotle. Fresh. Something that's gonna clean me out. I'm going to be on the toilet within the hour. I love this. Right? You want to clean yourself out? Get a real Chipotle. Get rice, beans, all that. You will clean that quick. All right, it goes in just fast. It goes out. Crispy chicken fried in a bowl, in a burrito, and then Chipotle. My bad, that's wrong. I gotta do Chipotle. You get the Wolfpack music. You get the Wolfpack music. Of course, that is delicious. We all okay. Chipotle is so gross now. No thanks. Chipotle. Chipotle get gross. Chipotle has been. It's been delicious. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe what's wrong with Chipotle? Maybe you know what I mean? Chipotle. Salad looks good. Or for taco, I'm not gonna lie. That looks great. That delicious. Salad too. I think your salad person having these. Even just getting on the side and adding them to your salad would be a nice plus. So we out there. You know what I mean? I'm all in with this, man. So we 2 for 1 right now. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. I got a salad. Without antibiotics and breed of artificial, come on, sounds like EU meat. Yo, my man here, man. He said that joint sound like EU meat. Yeah, man. Yo, look, responsibly raised without antibiotics. Hand cut and juicy. Breed of conservative blue. Oh my goodness, man. You're hilarious. Let's go ahead and move on to the next. Only chat. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead. There we go. So this one I'm not gonna lie. Great news because I think it's about time. Let's go ahead and get it first and foremost. Popeyes. We got Popeyes is bringing its famous biscuits to the grocery store in a box. Next, finally, Popeyes biscuits is spending time with me. The biscuits come in home style and Asian cheddar. Each box is gonna make up to 10 biscuits. I love the idea, especially the Asian cheddar flavor. But we all are going to question: is it really going to have that real Popeyes taste? Is it going to be like that, or is it going to be like a regular biscuit mix? Like biscuit, but I make biscuits with this. Also, it's going to be like that. Either way, you're going to need something to drink because we know it's going to be dry sale. Like Popeyes biscuits are now frozen. Most locations are not making them in house anymore. It is terrible. Look at the biscuits at Popeyes. Y'all remember when biscuits used to be different shapes? You got cones and all this. Every biscuit at Popeyes is the same level. It's like if you put a quarter on the biscuit, it would slide all the way down the damn thing. Like, it's ridiculous. All right, I wish we go back to making biscuits fresh. And maybe we can get real biscuits. If not, just give us the frozen biscuits. Put them in the stores. We buy Popeyes frozen biscuits. So in the restaurant, we just buy them. Like White House burgers. So how y'all feel Popeyes biscuits? And of course, I love the Texas Roadhouse roll. I love the Red Lobster cheddar biscuits. I love what's another biscuit. Church's chicken. I'm looking at you, Church's. You right now. I got access to everybody. What is the #1 biscuit in the business right now? You got a few. You go to Texas Roadhouse, slam it. Okay, roll slam. You go to Olive Garden, red, slam it. Okay, you go to Red Lobster, cheddar biscuits, slam it. But Church's biscuits to me gotta beat y'all. I'm gonna get Church's look on the oh man, am I just ghetto from the hood, or does Church's biscuits really have all those Cracker Barrel biscuits? I'm not like Cracker Barrel. But the thing with Cracker Barrel is if you did not have like with these biscuits, you think about these other ones we named. Texas Roadhouse, like bro, it's Cracker Barrel. I'm not gonna lie, Super Fire. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next. Now Taco Bell is gonna roll. For those who know, Taco Bell has single-handedly taken, I think, the creative energy and has become #1 in it. I don't think no one has been as creative with food in the market as Taco Bell being able to innovate, create instantly. I think they're and this latest is just another step. Taco Bell has brought back the shredded beef dipping taco, and that's not the icing on the cake. The icing on the cake is they're adding the new shredded beef nacho fries. Yes, the taco has shredded beef, free cheese blend, and creamy jalapeno sauce, and a crispy grilled crusted tortilla bits. Right, let's keep it right there. The fries though is what I'm here to talk about. The fries come loaded with shredded beef nacho cheese, free cheese blend, creamy jalapeno sauce, and equally. You might think it sounds messy, unnecessary, disgusting, but I'm not gonna lie, it's exactly what Taco Bell fans love, and that is what I'm going to try next at Taco Bell. I'm trying the shredded beef nacho fries. It's an automatic yes for me. Automatic yes. Been waiting for shredded beef. I get shredded beef, the cheese, the fries, the what? That's a full meal. I get the meat, I get the cheese, I get the fries. What are we talking about? Taco Bell one Taco Bell. Okay, you want? I ate this 10 minutes ago. That's bogus, man. I'm hungry too. You know what? I bet it was good. Now you said it was delicious. I know what? It looks delicious. Right? It looks delicious. You know it is. That right. Let's move on. In or out, it seems like everybody's on shredded beef taco. Let's go ahead and shredded beef taco. You won. Nacho cheese, beef fries. You won. The dipping sauce. Come on. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Dipping sauce. Come on, man. Let me that's what I got trying. Okay, let's move on to the next one. That looks so good, bro. Yeah, looking. Okay. Nothing Bundt Cakes. Delicious cakes. If you have not tried them, you must try them. They are some of the moist cakes you will ever try. Like Nothing Bundt Cakes has revealed its summer dessert lineup, and I need y'all to listen close. I think about to shut it down. S'mores made with Hershey's is coming back. As you can see, they got a couple of sneaks. Peach cobbler is coming in June. Cinnamon roll Buntlet is coming in July. Like I continue. Lemon raspberry returns later in the summer. I tried lemon raspberry. That is the most delicious one I've tried. Yes, Turtle Cheesecake Swirl is also on the way. That lineup's strong. I ain't gonna lie. But peach cobbler is the biggest sleeper out of all. Turtle cheesecake swirl sounds good. Sounds like everybody love that. But we got if this peach cobbler is what it is. Ooh, Charlotte, we talked to Another Bundt Cakes. Shout out to y'all. If y'all not tried one, they're bigger cakes. It is delicious cakes. Not talking. I'm not gonna lie. Coffee would have been nice, but yes, peach cobbler. That's what I'm saying. Peach cobbler is. I can't wait. I cannot wait. For those who don't know, I had some ice cream at Andy's and I had the blueberry cobbler. Oh my goodness, Andy's ice cream. Shout out to you. Blueberry cobbler is the best tasting flavor I've ever had at Andy's. Okay, y'all, that is dude. I got the munchies. I got to get my fast. Okay, this is too much. I'm hungry right now. I'm just gonna drink. Okay, I need something because damn, that was good. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, next one. This one's gonna be very quick, simple. Everybody, we discussed it with Joe a moment ago, but yes, we are going to be at Illinois Game Con for June 6, 2026. Yes, we will be there, y'all. I need y'all. If you are in the Bloomington area of Illinois, I need you to check your boy out. All right, we are doing multiple interviews. We are doing, you get to choose your favorite. What's the best game of all time? Worst game of all time? What's your favorite RPG? What's your favorite shooter? We are going to be questioning everybody, but we will have one long form video, which actually two. We will have the Illinois Game Con video. We will be doing finding the smartest gamer. All right, you'll see a lot of those clips. We'll have a long form video. But let's talk about Illinois Game Cons. A lot of people don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know much about Illinois Game Cons. It's my first time ever attending, so I have no idea what to expect. I'm going to pull up something and I want to see real fast. So one thing I want to do is pull up the website. You can take a look at it right at the website. So everybody know time and everything. Share. Hopefully I got this right. I just something else. There we go. Okay, as you can see on screen, Illinois Game Con, Bloomington, Illinois. This is where we are going to be on June 6th. We will be doing live content. We will be taking all strong opinions of video games. We are going to be shaking it up when we get there. So you see, it's about video game console and trading card industry, artists, free to play retro game room. We will be playing games. We'll be looking at that. There's also tournaments and more. It's going to be next Saturday. Saturday coming up. So June 6th at Interstate Center in Bloomington, Illinois. All right, we got a bunch of things. Check out tons of experience. You can go to the website. Do right here. That caught y'all car, bro. Like, yo, what's going on? Let me off this. It's just great. All right, Jurassic Great Local Food. Okay, so you see the event early access pass. If you want a lot of different things going on. That is not the main thing I want. What I want to cover is I'm very interested in this. I'm going to share the screen on this because this is the band that is performing at Illinois Game Con. I'm very curious about this band because I want to interview. I wrote them. I don't know if they're, I gotta check out, see, they're back. They did go, but Arc Impulse. They actually got to be performing. And if you notice, they perform nothing but video games. I didn't know this is a subculture, right? So we gonna hit something, hopefully. Punch Out. That is great. That's nothing. Too much. You know how YouTube get, right? They are doing the Punch Out theme music, right? Arc Impulse. Shout out to them. I'm trying to get y'all interview. I like already. You know what I'm saying? I like this joint. As soon as I see it, I like it. We're gonna be at Illinois Game Con. I need y'all to represent. Shout out your boy. You know, anything y'all want to see, let me know. Podcast listeners out there, y'all too as well. Comment, let me know what you want to see. I'll do anything, bro. Just let me know what you want me to do, and I'm gonna do it. I like that. I ain't doing crazy. Like, that's how let's get some things right. I mean, as far as real content towards gaming, we doing great. But yes, it is next week. If you are at Illinois Game Con, if you are, I'll love you. Okay. I'm gonna shout out Illinois Game Con. And yo, I want to say, do they have any? Let's see. I think they did have a video. Just so we can watch the video. I know y'all like that Illinois Game Con. I did y'all a little like, right? That was kind of cool. I did go over everything. They do have a video, a trailer. Let's play the trailer. Illinois Game Con trailer. Right? They got like a trailer. There we go. The wait is over. Here we go. So I'm gonna play the sound. Let's see if you can hear this. I'm gonna share the screen. One moment.
Whew. Well, hey there, little guys. What's that? The Illinois Game Con is happening today? Let's go! Illinois' biggest gaming convention is Saturday, June 6th at the Interstate Center in unbelievable Bloomington, Illinois. Experience a huge variety of video game and trading card dealers.
Hold up, man.
That's crazy.
Yo, he nailed the old school commercial, bro. He made that Joker look like it was made back in 1980, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that caught me off guard. He said, look how old he made it look. That was well done. The trolling, and that was nicely done. That was nicely done.
Regional artists and independent developers. Enjoy our game room with tons of free play consoles, board game library, fair style games, and VR. New this year is our outdoor stage with a live rockin' band, cosplay contest, trivia, and more. Test your skills in one of our video game tournaments or our challenge mode game room.
Ah, that's pretty. Yo, hold up. Is that a Dreamcast? Let's go. Yes, now look, they ain't got no VMU up in there though. You know what I'm saying? You could have slid a little, you know, VMU up in one of them things. You know somebody stole that VMU so quick.
Fill up with our great local food trucks, drink and snack vendors. Back again is our world famous Super Smash Summer Slam. Real wrestlers in the ring, dressed as your favorite Smash characters, ready to rumble. Check out times and ticket information on Facebook.
Yo,
ready to rumble. Wrestlers in the ring, dressed as your favorite Smash characters, ready.
My man, Pikachu hit Sonic so hard, and then you seen the rings fly, bro. That's crazy. Hold on. Can we get that?
Ready to rumble. Check out times and ticket information on Facebook or at IllinoisGameCon.com. I'm so glad we got to crash the best convention in the galaxy. Illinois ring, dressed as your favorite Smash characters, ready to rumble. Check out times and ticket information on Facebook.
Yo, the flex is so. Hold on.
Real wrestlers in the ring.
The flex is so real. I want y'all to just watch how he flexes his ass. Sonic
dressed as your favorite Smash characters, ready to rumble. Check out.
All right, man, we done, man. Stop. Illinois Game Con will be there. Let's go ahead, man. Let's move on to the last but not least. Y'all know what time it is, man. Yo, how did this get this behind you? You see my shoes, your fake hat, or something else is on. In the back, what is Dream? What is going on, bro? What is that? Oh no, that's actually, I'm not looking at that. Oh, you know what? I bet I know. It's probably on the restream side. There we go. Bada boom, bada bing. That's my bad. Look at that. The camera even better now. Damn, you say great quality. It was bad. I actually had an overlay or something. Let's for your camera. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for True. This is a segment where we give you two tough head-to-head choices, and you must choose one. You cannot be a bitch. You must pick one. You have to stick to your guns and prove the reasoning of why you pick your choice. You do not get to say I pick that one. I just do. It don't work like that. You must destroy the other choice. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to our choose your. Oh, okay. Now for everyone that's vertical right now, we'll help you out because you don't see the entire screen. Let's try. No, not this. Let's see if we can get you guys straight down. How can we do that? Maybe we can do this. No, that's not gonna work. You guys, maybe that's the way. No, you're not. Hold on, I'm gonna get vertical viewer. Let's change it to this. You know what? That's okay. It does give you. I don't like that. It works out for vertical viewers. Let's see this. That's not good for vertical viewers. What about this? That's better for vertical viewers, and it works. We should be able to see everything. Let's go with that for now. We'll try it out. We'll see how this works. Okay? Because you can see everything. I'm on the side. I don't know how. See, I like the full screen feed, right? We'll go ahead. We'll play with it. All right. Which are tougher to beat? Left 4 Dead zombies or Dying Light zombies? It's a tough one, but I think it's Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead zombies come by the hundreds. It is no stopping them. Dying Light, I know it's a lot of zombies and the way they move, take a lot of hits, and play hard mode, all that stuff. But I'm sorry, Left 4 Dead zombies are infamous for taking you out. They're infamous for you not moving ahead and getting destroyed. Left 4 Dead, you better keep moving and get to the end where zombies will win. It's one of those games where you have 4 guys who are great at the game and still lose because the amount of zombies are overwhelming. So I just have to say, regardless of how tough Dying Light zombies are, Left 4 Dead zombies, you forgot you got the tank, right? You got the boomer, I think it is. You got different zombies. I think it's an easy choice. I think it's Left 4 Dead zombies final answer. All right, now I'm not gonna lie, go bias. I love Left 4 Dead. Dying Light, I haven't played much. That's why I've seen the zombies. I haven't experienced zombies. Left 4 Dead experience. I had said. Okay, let's go ahead and chat. I go for Dying Light. I played a lot of Left 4 Dead too. All those zombies I like. That's one thing that's true. But then when you get the zombies, coming with the tank, mixed with the thing, what's the thing that grab you up, mixed with the thing that explodes, mixed with all of it. You know what I'm saying? But I feel you. But I'm with you. I'm not mad at anybody that Dying Light. I think this is actually a very tough choice. And people who pick Dying Light, actually, I'm going to be in minority. I'm honest. I think I will be in minority. I think most people probably will pick Dying Light. I think Left 4 Dead zombies, man. They're cool. They are something else. It's like what works. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down, I'm just saying that's fine. Let's go ahead. Okay, let's see this. Okay, which was more exciting? I like vertical viewers. Y'all might have to get Dying Light. I ain't liking it. Okay, y'all just might see it. Y'all just might deal with this. Okay, y'all just might deal with it. I can't switch it up. I don't know how to change it. All right. So, which was more exciting to experience? Blockbuster video game section or Toys R Us video game? So Young Bucks, I need y'all to step to the side and let tell you what it was. Y'all, this one is a tough one because both of these were very popular and very exciting to Walroo as a kid. But I think there's only one right answer. Blockbuster video game section. Multiple reasons. Blockbuster video because one, you had a higher percentage of legal with the game. Mom and Daddy was more than likely to rent you a game versus pay. For those who don't know, some of those prices $39.99, $49.99 back then, and you're still seeing those same prices today. So that shows you prices in gaming were expensive. So as good as the Toys R Us aisle was in the video game for showing all the games, they also had that TV at the top right, had to control down, you play games like this. Every kid broke their neck trying to play Toys R Us. Like, it was so much fun. Oh man, like, it was an amazing moment. Toys R Us looked better. It looked better because Toys R Us, you had the glass, you had the announcement, had instruction books, right? I just feel like Blockbuster experience. You were able to grab the game, get the game, go home, the game. You get 2 games, 3 games. You could splurge. You could feel like a billionaire. Man, come on, that's just me. Let's go to the chat. So we got Steve says, I already know. I know I'm gonna be a minority in this, bro. I understand. I know. I used to be in the Toys R Us section too. It was funny. I played Mario 64 for the first time at Toys R Us, and I remember people were standing around waiting. Toys R Us. Then if you like video game, you go down and buy bikes. Remember the action figures with G.I. Joes and all that, man. Super Soakers on there. Devin, Toys R Us. I know I'm honest. Yes, I mean, I think Blockbuster. I was more excited. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, you could accidentally slip up on the Blockbuster card, right? It was Blockbuster card. Oh, it's like I need 17 games today. The Blockbuster goes, you can't go to 5. Damn it! I tried to steal this. This is a tough choice, but I feel y'all. You don't have a blockbuster. Okay. You didn't have a blockbuster, yes. So blockbuster choice was a lot further. That was another thing. So maybe that could be proximity. Nonetheless, that was, that was tough. Let's go to the third. That was tough. That actually was one that I had to think. Ooh, which is easier to survive in? Rapture from BioShock or the USG Ishimura? I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't even know what the hell that was named. I just know this is the easiest. I don't think this is tough. I think this is a no-brainer. I think people like Rapture. Of course, Rapture is easier to survive in. Rapture, at least I can go hide in the corner, just come out when I need some food, stay close to a vending machine. All I gotta do is listen when Big Daddy come around, I go around the corner. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Stay to myself. I get a room and lock myself in that room, have food, everything. I'm good. On the USG Ishimura, things pop out the ceiling, pop out the ground. You're not safe nowhere. You're in the middle of space in a spaceship. Bro, ain't nothing scary. I would rather be underwater healing like not underwater. Than to be in a spaceship feeling claustrophobic, not knowing if I'm going to be food. Very easy choice. It is a lot easier to survive in Rapture than it would be to survive on the USG. Period. Okay. Damn it, BioShock. I agree now. I think it's flowing in Rapture. For those who don't know, Rapture to me is one of the most beautiful worlds created in a video game. It's very hard to create a world and to create something new and to make it feel real. Very difficult. BioShock to me, best game, single player first person shooter of all time. That is me. I'm one. I hope I'm not the only one. Underwater city, then in space. I agree. That's kind of I am. Underwater city first, space is the next thing. Like that's the next year. That's just kind of how it goes. So hey, we got to get good. All right, man, got to get good on that. Let's go on to the next thing. I don't think that one was too bad. All right, let's go. Hold on. What the heck is going on? Oh, I wonder why Sean did it. Okay, there we go. So, okay. Under the sea. Oh, you're food. This is a tough one. Who wins in a battle? Pyramid Head or Silent Hill? Mr. X. Resident Evil. I'm going to try to take some things into account. Mr. X is a super abnormal strength being. I don't think Pyramid Head is going to stand a chance. But from my understanding, Pyramid Head cannot die. And also for that fact alone, Pyramid Head wins. Can't die if we all don't have the blue one. So if Pyramid Head cannot die, my mind has to say Pyramid Head has to win this battle. If we're talking about supernatural, right? If you want to X out the supernatural, cool. Go ahead and put Mr. X in there. Actually, we talking about who they is. Pyramid Head. And big shout out to Peter, man. That me up here. Nothing on, man. But follow me. Everybody, everybody follow show content. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I'm on platforms. We're live on platforms. I'm going Pyramid Head. There is no way that Pyramid Head is going to lose this battle. Mr. X. Pyramid Head is going to get beat to a pulp for a long time. As the demonic entity that Pyramid Head is, will be allowed to come back and will continue to fight. Mr. X will eventually become weaker and weaker after these fights, after he takes a couple hits, and eventually Pyramid Head will win. That is my what y'all every so that Pyramid Head gets me. Mr. X is smarter. I like every bone in me wants to pick Mr. X. Like I know it was hard for me to answer that one with the heart, okay? And versus the mind. Like I was really struggling. I was just going Mr. X. Mr. X beat the hell out of Pyramid Head. But Pyramid Head can't die. And somebody can correct me on that if I'm wrong, but Pyramid Head can't die. Pyramid Head is strong too. We might have Pyramid Head weak, but Mr. X is just a beast. I ain't going this way. Mr. Beast. Wow, let's move on to the next one. That's how you know Mr. Beast's name didn't call on accident. He got too much shit going on. You stop. Tasty. This is very easy. I shouldn't have to read this for everybody to have the answers. Y'all should have your answers already to this. Which is a better buying experience? Steam digital storefront games. GameStop. Very easy. There's nothing better. And I'm going to challenge y'all better than going to an actual store, seeing your game. Back in the day, we used to be able to demo our game, right? We used to be able to learn about the game from the person there, and we used to have comparison games. We also would know about games coming out in the future to know if we need to buy a game currently. There's a lot of things that do not get talked about in the experience of buying physical media. It doesn't get discussed. And this is one of those things that don't get discussed. I agree. I can tell you if I'm at Steam, right, and it hits midnight, I don't even have to move a muscle. I've already purchased the game. It's already set to auto download, or it has re-downloaded, and I literally just hit play the moment it hits midnight. That is a beautiful thing when you want to game right away. But for those who just want to go and purchase a game, I think it's much better to go to a GameStop than to go to Steam Digital Game Store and go to the search and go, what's the better one? When you're searching through Steam, it's difficult. It's not the same search. You just don't have the top games and that's it. You need to know about the game on Steam. So I think searching is just different. Now, if you want to talk about pricing, yeah, being able to play a game at midnight, you lose a game, you still got it. You still got like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a PC gamer now. I got more Steam games. I have purchased more Steam games, and I have actual physical games. I am part of the problem. I am part of the community doing this shit. I will admit, okay? But the reality is, I still miss going into GameStop and purchasing my games. It's just now you get better deals. So like, what's the point? They're pushing you. The only thing is to keep yourself and go ahead and get it. GameStop with no line. I ain't gonna lie, that's a problem with GameStop too. GameStop got a line. You know, GameStop spend time, right? Unless they just, you know, some of these GameStop don't know about games. They just bring you up like, okay, you know, you got a discount. You want to purchase a game, you know, game form subscription and game form. What do you do now, GameStop? Like, honestly, you don't have game form, right? Like, what's the deal? I think you should just spend everything on bringing stuff and we'll buy it from you. And you just become a new buy and sell business. You partner with eBay, all right? And then you expand GameStop. I think that's your best thing. You can lean into retro games, right? Start leaning into Android devices and all those things. Like, you can totally pivot and be fine. So I just think you're stupid by going the way you're going. Like, you are so dumb. GameStop, I just have to go rant for a couple seconds. The way you are going is so stupid, and you will do nothing but go down. You've done nothing new. There's nothing you're doing that like. I mean, you don't even really throw tournaments for games. What do you do? Local mom and pops do way better than you do. All you have to do with GameStop, if you're a manager of a GameStop, throw a local tournament, charge $100 for the winner. People will show up. Okay, like you can do many different things. Why don't the CEO just speak with eBay, right? And link up. Why don't you merger? Better yet, why don't you just speak to Amber and other places and come up with a deal where they can get their devices in there? People who want to play retro games, it's a huge field right now. They can lean into that and go into a GameStop versus having to go online. Buy Amber, right? Like these are things you can lean into. People don't have to order devices from overseas. They would love to get it right here, and you could be the staple front for that. But you're not going to do it. You're going to do nothing. That's what you're doing. So nonetheless, that's fine. And that is to the y'all killed it. And I will say this fire show. We will be putting for the podcast listeners out there. I'm gonna have this episode up by tomorrow, so I want you to tune in and listen. Okay, for the new podcast episode. Also, for all those on different platforms, I'm going to explain my plan for YouTube. We have a lot of videos posted already, but our goal is to bring more long form content. We have short clips. We have that covered for all platforms. So any platform you don't have to worry, we got clips for. That is one thing. But YouTube, we are doing a lot of long form content for YouTubers. For Facebook is now allowing longer videos. So our videos can now be uploaded to Facebook as well. We're planning on bringing all our videos to Facebook in segments. So when we do the whole entire show, we'll be doing each segment. Bring those Facebook. As far as Twitch, we have a lot of games that we're going to be playing live. There is one game that I'm being urged to play, right? So we have to play that. Dreamforge gave us more credits to create some more AI games in there. There's a lot going on for Twitch. Twitter giveaways still have to do. Other platforms. TikTok live flash real soon. Like, I got too much going on. So Angel, Blue Chips. They know about the Blue Chips. They don't know about the Blue Chips. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, man, appreciate the hell y'all think y'all being here. Anyone in the world right here. That be up here. Shout out to my dude Devon. Shout out to Angel, Chelsea, Petrix, Steve. I mean, Joe came in, broke down some tips. Thank you, Joe, for that. Who else I forget? I don't forget everybody. Shout out Ab. Shout out Momo. Shout out I think shout out Felix already. Right? Nate Mo was in the building. Shout out Nate Mo. Cheesy Macaroni. He said BMW or Toyota. I don't know where. Cheesy Macaroni. Shout you out. Ant. Shout you out. DJ C Money. Shout you out. I put the link in there. DJ C Money. You ain't right there in the chat. You ain't coming on what's going on. DJ C Money. I can't wait all day. D. Shout out to you. Who else? I got everybody. Ronnie Wrong. Shout out to Ronnie Wrong. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Craig. Don Mega was in the building. Shout out to Don Mega. For those on my board, go back. Shout out Head. Everybody on Twitch right now that is creeping. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Shane over in Australia. All y'all know what it is. It's your boy Nick Moses. Oh, motherfucking bye.
Well, let me see this one.
What's your major at MIT?
614, computer science.
Okay, do you think you can answer 5 questions every CS major should know?
Probably not, but I'll try.
I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. Each one will get harder if you get it right. What is the difference between a text file and a binary file?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'll give you a different one. What is an API and why is it important?
Something interface.
Yeah, good job. Application programming interface. Okay, I'll give it to you. 1 for 1. What is the difference between authentication and authorization?
Authentication's like making sure it's like right, and authorization's like allowing something to happen.
Perfect. Yeah. 2 for 2. What is a deadlock?
I'm not sure about that one.
Okay, 2 for 3. What is the difference between horizontal and vertical scaling?
For horizontal.
Scaling
it's like
is an
more on
aspect
like the same
ratio.
level of vertical is like more like in a chain.
Yeah. Perfect. Good job. 3 for
Aspect
4.
ratio
Okay,
of
last
screen
one is
or
the
what?
hardest one. What is a Bloom filter?
Yeah, I don't know.
Again,
Okay,
image.
that one is a probabilistic data structure that tests whether an element is a member of a
okay.
set. So you went 3 for 5, and why are you
I
studying
thought
computer
that's
science?
above auto visual stuff.
I think it's like
As in video
pretty
editing,
useful
image
in
editing.
you know, with AI coming up, and like I'm doing that with like finance as well. So I think that's like a good combo. So yeah.
Nice. So what do you want to get into after you graduate?
Probably something on finance. Maybe get on Wall Street and
Yeah,
make some
man.
bag and go from there.
Nice, cool. Thank you so much for your time, bro. Appreciate it. You killed it.
I don't know about that one. His head just started.
What's your major here at MIT?
614 computer science.
Damn, that's a little. Yo. Yep. Damn. Damn. Oh. Computer science trivia.
Asus ROG. You stand accused of creating a flagship gaming handheld with slightly loud face buttons, no TMR joysticks, and a mere 7-inch display. Worse yet, it's not even OLED. How do you plead? Then I have no choice. In spite of your sponsorship of this, I sentence you to... Wait, Scott! The ROG Xbox Ally X20 changes everything. Charges dismissed. It has a 7.4-inch OLED display that hits 1400 nits peak brightness with Dolby Vision, and that's only the most obvious change. Asus has added rubberized grips, fine-tuned shoulder buttons, support for ludicrously fast storage cards, and a completely redesigned PCB to improve airflow to their newfangled OLED display. And with a fully torn-down unit here on hand, they're being uncharacteristically transparent about this thing for an unreleased product. By the way, pun fully intended, have I even mentioned yet the awesome smoke black translucent housing? So let's dive in for a look at what kind of handheld Asus would build if they were celebrating the 20th anniversary of ROG. Obviously, we have got to start with the display. It jumps from 7 inches to 7.4 inches in the same size chassis, which means markedly smaller bezels for a way more modern look. And inside those bezels, it frauds every other handheld that I've ever seen on specs, posting 600 nits peak in SDR, 1400 nits peak in HDR, with base HDR True Black 1000 certification and Dolby Vision. Now, a big compromise with previous generation OLEDs was refresh rate or support for very low refresh rate. Well, guess what? That's covered off too with support for FreeSync Premium Pro from 30 to up to 120 Hz refresh rate. And it's topped with the same Corning Victus glass with DXC anti-reflection as the original ROG Xbox Ally X. And that's not the only thing that you have in common. The X20 isn't so much a sequel as it is a refinement to the regular Xbox Ally X. So the bulk of the specs aren't really changing. Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme processor, 24 GB LPDDR5X memory, 1 TB storage, USB 4 with support for Thunderbolt, Wi-Fi 6E, and an 80 Wh battery. All that stays the same, but that doesn't mean that this was a simple panel swap. It was anything but. Asus provided full teardowns of both units, and the first thing I noticed was that the PCB was pretty much completely redesigned. Now, some of the changes were pretty obvious from just reading the briefing. The new hybrid metal dome switches give the D-pad a much more satisfying and tactile feel, but the reason for some of their other changes was not as obvious to me. Here's one that jumped out. The USB 4 ports are surface mounted now rather than being in plane with the board. That made me wonder, hey guys, did the old way have reliability issues or something? But no, according to Asus, this was actually done so that they could shift the position of the motherboard a few millimeters this way while keeping the thickness of the device unchanged. You combine that with upgraded pins on the fan and the heatsink, and this provides a channel for additional airflow over the back of the OLED panel, something that wasn't needed for the old LCD. The all-new board, not to mention the switch to translucent plastic, also necessitated completely new tooling for the outer shell, and gotta say, it was worth the additional work. The same ergonomic handles are back, but now they're rubberized for even better grip, and the smoke black plastic with subtle gold accents, both inside and out, is just nearly everything on the face of the device has also been upgraded in some way. The AVX wire designed to be slightly more tactile, but also quieter. The joysticks are now TMR with Asus boasting reduced power consumption and a tiny 3% dead zone for finer control over everything from your crosshair to your racing line. This is a welcome upgrade for a flagship device. And each stick is also flanked by 4 LEDs rather than 2, so you can program cool effects as you move them around. Me personally, I just turn them off for better version, but hey, it's an option. The Xbox button is now backlit green, of course, to align with Microsoft's return to their old school branding, and the D-pad gets probably the biggest upgrade of all. I already talked about their dome switches. You can even hear it. What I haven't shown you is the party trick. If you're all about fighting games and you want better diagonal control, watch this. Click. How cool is that? That puts your diagonals right in plane with your up, down, left, and right. When you're done, and you just want to play a retro RPG or something, you just rotate it again, and you're good to go. This is easily my favorite new feature other than the display. Shoulders are slightly realigned to improve ergonomics based on user feedback, and this is another one. The micro SD card slot is gone. It's replaced by micro SD Express. Yes, they're expensive, but commodity micro SD Express cards can reach nearly a gigabyte per second, making them a great way to expand your game library without cracking open your chassis. Now, Asus isn't making any claims about battery life at this time. This thing isn't launching until holiday of this year, but depending on how high you crank the screen, it seems like they're expecting it to be roughly in line with the original. One place where we get a small downgrade is actually in the weight between the reinforced plastics, because transparent plastics are not as good, and the larger screen being about 50 grams. But I gotta say, I don't really notice it thanks to the rubber. Now, a big question in light of the current state of the market has got to be price. Asus is staying tight-lipped on that for now. It's probably wise, but they have said the screen upgrade means that it is not going to be coming in at the same price as the Xbox Ally X. With that said, in the meantime, they have committed to working hard to keep pricing as low as possible for the current Xbox Allies that are in the field, and they're also working on a new lower-priced dock for all Allies, new handle that's going to communicate better with your TV, allowing automatic activation of ALM and game mode. No word on CEC support for now, but if that's something you guys would like to see, hey, let Asus know in the comments, because I think that would really elevate their game. That's not the only new accessory, and this one is more for the folks out there with a less limited budget. Right now, these anniversary edition Ally X20s are going to be bundled with the new ROG X Real R1 glasses. These offer up to a 171-inch micro OLED display up to 240 Hz and 3D capabilities, and it's all powered directly off your Ally with a single cable for both power and display. These are very similar to the ones I showed off on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon a couple years ago, except high refresh rate. They're a great way to game on the big screen anywhere, but Asus is not quoting pricing other than expensive, and I assume at some point maybe you could buy this without them, but we don't know that for sure. But we do know for sure. And if you guys enjoyed this video, you may want to check out the one where I used these to build a PC in the third person, like I had camera behind me. I could only watch myself build it. It was really hard and nauseating, but fun.
I've got a lot to say about Michael, because it is a bit incredible. Even though we didn't see it opening night, it was clear that it was an event-type movie. Theater staff were dressed up in like Michael Jackson's, I guess it was the costume, I'm not sure which one it is. One of them was allegedly able to do dance moves, but we didn't meet that guy. And there were a bunch of people. When we saw it on like a Monday. It seemed like everybody in the audience was taking it pretty seriously. I walked into it not really expecting it to be a great movie because I know my taste. I saw the trailer. I'm not really into biopics in the first place, let alone ones that already have such an infamous reputation. I didn't hate watching the movie. I didn't have like a get me out of here experience, but that was mostly because it was so fascinating. It was bad in many ways, but not in ways that made it boring, except maybe I guess kind of closer to the end when things kind of felt like they were stretched out and dragged out. First section of the movie covers Jackson 5, Holman Domingo plays his father, he's in a lot of makeup. You know, he gives a good performance. I like him in everything I see him in pretty much, except he was kind of bad in Running Man. Overall, the performances were not like terrible throughout. Child Michael is not a terrible child actor, but during the most serious scenes and moments, there wasn't anything about his performance that made it so that I was able to take him seriously. It wasn't quite there enough. It was missing something. If you're a huge Michael Jackson fan and you're only watching this movie to just be entranced into this fantastical narrative, you might not be bothered by it. I guess not everybody's bothered by that child acting in the first place. From just that section of the movie, I probably would have given it like 5 out of 10, but not bad. But as soon as it transitions into adult Michael, then it starts becoming very, very silly. Pretty much immediately. This movie, as you you've probably heard from many different critics already at this point, is not a movie that's interested in telling an actual story. It's not a movie that's at all interested in getting into the character of this real person that existed. This movie has no interest in doing it. None whatsoever. It's literally just telling a mythology. This isn't Better Man, where it's done to such a fantastical degree where they've CG'd the character as like a fucking Planet of the Apes. And even that felt like it had more character and probably more truth to it than this film. But the fans of Michael Jackson, yeah, maybe like casual fans, but the fans of Michael Jackson, they want to deify him. They are treating this film as though it's like biblical text. They're treating it as Christians watching Passion of the Christ or Prince of Egypt. Like you can't just say, oh, I didn't connect with the movie and here's why and here's the critical reason. They'll be like, no, it's because you're hating God. The degree to which this film flashes Michael Jackson, ironically, is actually insane. For the most part, this film was funny, but what really actually felt disgusting about this movie is that the filmmakers know for a fact what an unhealthy parasocial fan relationship is with an artist that they're treating as a deity. They know that it's an unhealthy thing for one's psyche, but they profit off of it. They encouraged it throughout the entire fucking movie. The way the lines are in this movie, it's like they're fucking winking at the camera while they say it. It's like they're literally preaching. Oh, the fans are my real family, and I heal through my music, and I'll heal the world. And there's a scene where he's like flipping through channels, and he sees a news report. Again, like the preachiest fucking script I've ever seen. Newscaster goes, the gang violence is hurting the youth. Bloods and Crips, they're against each other, and they wear the different colors, and they kill you, and the drugs are bad. I got a perfect idea to save the world and heal through my music. He gets Bloods and Crips together. What heals them, what stops their feud, is the star power of Michael Jackson himself. They're like, oh man, can I get your autograph? They're like, this Blood is just like one of us Crips. He also wants an autograph. We would like that as well. That's how it fucking portrays this shit. I guess what we really learned is that Michael Jackson is a deity. He does solve all conflicts through his music. He probably should have went to Israel, Palestine, and had a conversation with them. That would prevent a lot of stuff that we're seeing today. The way that it shows Michael Jackson in his creative process is also incredibly dishonest. The same thing has been done more or less with other music biopics. The average audience member doesn't have any proper understanding of what actually goes into creating music, whether it's the writing process or the recording process. You can kind of just make this weird fictional version of it where people are like, I see this thing and that's a good idea. And then it's like in there at the moment I was constantly wondering like, okay, did these backing tracks that he sang to just fucking appear? No, of course not. There were musicians at some point that played the instruments in the backing tracks. There were people that composed the music. Did Michael Jackson write the part for every single fucking instrument? I don't think so. He was very talented, but he was working with producers. He was working with fucking Quincy Jones, legendary composer. Quincy Jones was an important part of the production of the music. It would have been nice to see part of that. The only reference to Quincy Jones we had in the movie is just at one point they're like, oh, Quincy Jones. Again, this film is trying to create a narrative. It's trying to say that Michael Jackson was responsible for like literally fucking everything. Even in a scene where they're filming the music video, Michael Jackson is micromanaging to the point where he's essentially directing. Sure, there's a crew there. But essentially the film is just showing Michael being like, oh, camera move back so you can see the feet and the dancing. And that's all it shows of the creative process. Never any kind of collaboration, never any kind of Michael needing advice from someone else or happily using ideas from someone else. It's not an honest portrayal of any art form that involves more than one person. He didn't make everything himself. He did a lot. He's obviously very talented. He was the voice of the projects that he was on. Even if he did make everything himself, the way that the creative process is presented in this film, it's still just a fantasy. It's not how things are made. The guy who Miles Teller is playing in this movie, the best friend lawyer who goes up to Michael and he just says, well, you're the best. And Michael's like, I'm working with you. You're the only person that understands me. Yeah, I know you're the best. This man produced the movie. If you're wondering why this man has such a, I'm the only person who ever understood him and I was always this way, and I knew immediately. There was never a doubt in my mind. The moment that I smelled Michael Jackson, I knew that he would be the most talented and I'm a talented person for recognizing that talent. I'm a lawyer. The reason why is because he produced the movie. For the same reason that the Jackson family outside of Joe is portrayed in such an unrealistic goody two-shoes and everything's a fairy tale. It's because these are the people who are making the movie. Jafar Jackson, if you didn't know, is Michael Jackson's like what, nephew? He's related. He's part of the Jackson family. So that's very fun. During recording sessions, the film cuts away from the recording session just to show him helping children in the cancer ward while the song plays over top. Because, oh, I just like to help the children. I just like to help the children. That's actual propaganda. It doesn't matter if he did that sometimes. The choice to show that and only that as the extent of his character and the extent of his relationships with children is incredibly dishonest from what we already know, from what is undisputed by even Michael Jackson. The choice to show that and not show anything else is dishonest. They actually filmed a bunch of shit and had an entirely different third act. After the movie was already finished, the Jackson estate was like, oh wait, oops, we actually can't include that because legally we agreed to never say anything about that person as a part of the settlement. Which is why when you watch the film, it feels as though there is no third act. That kind of inflated the budget. But who cares? It's gonna make $1 billion, probably making several $1 billion if you include the profile of Michael Jackson and how much money the estate's making from his music now being back in the mainstream. Now, if anybody wants my perspective on this, since I am fucking radically nuanced, I have no trouble saying, hey, what there's no evidence for, we don't know. But unfortunately, that's something that Michael Jackson stands have a lot of trouble saying. Michael Jackson can be a very talented artist who was tortured and had a terrible upbringing. Things were stacked against him, but he persevered and healed people through music. That can be true while also saying that he did inappropriate things with minors.
Is it really appropriate for a 44-year-old man to share a bedroom with a child who's not related to him at all? That's a beautiful thing. That's not a worrying thing. I should be worrying, and I'm on the phone sleeping. Do you ever sleep in the bed with them? But I have slept in bed with me too. I sleep in bed with all.
Is it entirely possible that there are people who are lying about abuse from Michael Jackson to try and capitalize on it? Yes, that is entirely possible. There's nothing to suggest it's not possible. Doesn't mean it's 100% true. That we know. The nose job is the closest that they ever got to addressing or attempting to explore any part of his real character. Like that was his biggest flaw presented in the film, was that he was like, I have to be perfect. That was like the extent of his entire character flaw. Michael Jackson's real voice is not, I want other children. This is not disputed. Even Michael Jackson's fans will admit to this. A lot of his fans and stands have looked into it, and there's no way that they can deny it at this point.
And his voice is deep as shit. Jackson and I had a little moment outside the courtyard one day. He sort of growled at me in a big voice and gave me a slash across the throat and get out like that. And I was stunned at how deep his voice really was.
He says it like a black man would say, damn, I thought the motherfucker's gonna leave. He got out and walked out.
See, this is what Mike. Spike, this is Michael Jackson. Don't. See, he used to do that. He had a deep voice, and he would use it. Well, get out of line. He's trying to get my attention.
Why so much criticism?
If you're a movie critic and you're complaining about the stuff that, you know, all this other stuff, but the movie has 88 and stuff you're talking about, accusations happen. So you're critiquing the film on something that you wanted, but doesn't work in the timeline of the film.
The accusers, the timeline was taking place before the film ended. Ignoring the accusers, what was publicly known and undisputed were some weird things that he was doing with children also. Third, the question was not even specifying anything to do with abuse allegations. The question was, why the criticism? That's a very general, vague question. And I think the overwhelming majority of critics are mostly complaining that it's not an honest character study or representation of a person. We're perpetuating the myth of the brand and selling it to you with the premise that it's about a person when it's not. That appears to be what everyone is saying. And you were a person that said previously, Michael Jackson doesn't use his real voice. I can attest and confirm to that. I worked with him. And now you're like, people who don't like this movie are asking for weird shit. You know that wasn't an honest representation of portrayal. You know that wasn't authentic. You know that.
Allegations came post. The film has 88. So people said.
Their defense to this is often, why would you tell him how he can portray his voice? If he wants to do that for his stage persona, he has the right to do that. Sure, he has the right to do that. But if you're making a film that's allegedly about him and not the mythos, then that would be something to include. And there are many reasons why one would do this. A potential reason would be because of the culture at the time and his struggles as a black musician in racist America. As the film even correctly portrayed, I mean not accurately, but correctly brought up, it was unusual for black musicians to get the same respect and airtime as white musicians. They didn't want black musicians on, and there was a struggle to even get proper fairness and the ability to broadcast your talent. Part of the reason why they had to maintain a squeaky, clean, family-friendly, fun image is because of that racism. It's not far-fetched to imagine a scenario where either Joe or Michael or anyone would think it's a good idea to artificially change your voice so that you came off as less threatening, right? In the case of Michael Jackson, where the movie is now saying, my fans are my real family. If you're bringing a fake version of yourself out to your fans, and then your estate is now encouraging very harmful, unhealthy, parasocial attitudes. That's kind of a contradiction. It's not, oh, you're my real family, but I'm not going to show you what my real voice is. More importantly, if you're going to do a fucking biopic and again have the illusion that you're doing an actual character exploration, why not talk about the voice shit? If he didn't talk like that around his family, then why are there scenes where he is with his family and he's talking directly to Joe, being like, you're not allowed to tell me what to do, when he apparently didn't talk like that unless to the media? There's plenty of justified reasons for him to be doing a fake voice, and that would be an interesting thing to explore character-wise, psychologically. That's the whole point of a fucking character study, is to explore and learn. But instead, this movie is not even interested in even admitting that he has a fake voice. It wants to create a fake version of him to sell to you. And people just eat up stands of Michael Jackson. Why are you okay with them presenting a fake version of him that they know is fake? They were his family. They're the ones making the fucking movie. If you want a propaganda movie and you're a fan and you just want a celebration of his music, you can still do that without having a dishonest portrayal of someone's character. You can still do that without creating a false fictional fantasy narrative. You could be self-aware about it. You know, have the film explicitly, well, not explicitly, implicitly suggesting that it is not real life, that it's not attempting to portray a character. You could have a celebration of his music by doing like a pseudo documentary playlist type thing, like Moon Age Daydream with David Bowie's music. It wasn't going to make as much money as this movie ever, and that's part of the problem. Is that the Jackson Estate and the producers of this film realized that playlist movies that are just like, we're going to show you his music again because you love it so much. Those don't do as well as actual biopics. Biopics have the facade of exploring a character. They masquerade as exploring a character. But ever since Bohemian Rhapsody, which I guess everybody's crediting as popularizing this trend in biopics, is that they're now playlist movies that are masquerading as character studies. They're character examinations in premise, but they don't actually have any interest in doing it. Because people are there for the music, a lot of their fans want to hear the music. You want to have a scene where they're recording the song you like. You can't do that unless you have permission from the rights holders of the songs, and those are people that are directly benefiting from the portrayal of said musicians in those biopics. So Bohemian Rhapsody, the rights to those songs were the band members. They had glowing fucking portrayals in that film. I would never touch drugs. You go do your degen stuff, Freddie. These films don't exist to tell a story or explore a character. They don't exist with any respect for the actual human being. They exist to make money for the people that are capitalizing off of their legacy. The Jackson Estate is currently exploiting Michael Jackson in ways that the film was like, my family members exploiting his dad. But the film itself is doing that. This is about them making money, and they know that the best way to make money is to have the facade of a biopic and for his image to be squeaky clean. There was nothing he did bad ever. And again, we don't need to show him doing something to a child. We can just show something kind of interesting. So his nephew, DeFar Jackson. A lot of Michael Jackson fans are essentially treating him as like the second coming. They're treating him as like a successor. Your voice is amazing, young king. Bro, you did an amazing job on the movie. So literally it's The Weeknd. Useless, generic, speaking about nothing. Play with control like Nintendo. And this one, also very evocative of Michael Jackson, as though they're intentionally evoking similar feelings. He still sounds like The Weeknd. Not quite there for the choreography or punctuality of the timing. Everybody's screaming themselves over like, oh, they recreated a lot of the same things. DeFar Jackson did such a great job dancing. And like, yeah, he's talented as anyone would be growing up with all of that fucking money and people putting you in all of the talent classes. But he doesn't quite nail the timing, the intricacies, the detail. He really doesn't at any point throughout the movie. There's always something just a bit off. Michael Jackson was way better. I mean, you're not gonna be able to match that. Michael Jackson was an incredible dancer. He got the Jackson voice, Jackson smile, and Jackson dance skills. I must be living in a fucking crazy version of reality. If everybody else seems to think the DeFar Jackson singing voice sounds like Michael Jackson's voice and not just The Weeknd. Every generation needs a Jackson. Now this time for DeFar Jackson. Like I said earlier, they want an heir to the fucking throne. Dog them Jackson genes are strong. You sound like his uncle. Jackson's love Brazil now. I'm curious about this. The channel name being Genius doesn't help.
It was the 30th anniversary of the Jackson Estate from New York, and that was the only time I've seen Michael before. Just seeing the fans' reactions and everyone's the energy. That really inspired me to want to be in the music, even though I was in golf at that time.
So you were in what? In golf? Like you were doing golf professionally, like as a child? 30th anniversary
of
the Jacksons. Okay, hold on. He was 5 years old. What do you mean he was in golf? Are these audio subtitles? They're English. These are captions. In golf. Thank you. Fucking Christ. Thank you so much.
Even though I was in golf at that time.
He does say in golf. In golf might be what he meant to say, but he does
I'm
say.
gonna
He might actually be serious. He might literally be serious because he was in golf at 5 years old. Rich people that are that
Let's
rich
see if
live
the
in literally a
VPN
different
will
world.
work.
Like an entirely different world, but they don't even understand like what social expectations are for like normal human beings. Like they literally live in an entirely different site. All right, here we go. Discover the Rising Star Project. Oh my God. Regicide Greg, thank you. Greg, thank you so much. From his website, I'm going to his website. Discover the Rising Star, born July 25, 1996 in Los Angeles, California. Despite initially aspiring to become a professional golfer, starting his music journey at a young age of 12. They're literally talking about him at 5 years old, pursuing golf professionally. Do you hear what I'm saying? They live in a different fucking reality. 2001 concert, September 2001, New York, 30th anniversary in New York.
The 30th anniversary of the Jackson Estate from New York, and that was the only time I've seen Michael.
The only time. DeFar Jackson, age 29, born 1996. He was 5 years old. He's talking about when he was 5 years old. That really inspired me at the age of 5 to want to be in music, even though I was in golf at the time.
Inspired me to want to be in the music, even though I was in golf at that time.
They don't understand what the normal human experience is like. This is normal for these people. He was literally talking about golf at the age of 5.
I'd be in the music, even though I was in golf at that time, but
I was trying to become a professional golfer at the time.
I knew it would lead to that eventually.
I knew it would lead to that eventually. At the age of 5, you knew? I don't like that people are inevitably and already projecting the hardships of Michael Jackson's upbringing onto this individual who was a professional golfer at the age of 5, shifted career goals at the age of 12, and then had a producer making music for him in 2019.
I'm on my way to you.
The Weeknd.
So glad you called my phone. You had this crush. You've been thinking about it all day.
So relatable.
Waiting for the moment for her to call you. It finally does.
First of all, the premise of this video on this channel is to get someone to explain their lyrics. Did this song need explaining? Let's listen to the lyrics and then we'll explain. I'm on my way to you. So glad you called. It's about when you're like glad that she called and you're like on your way to it. Like, you're just repeating the lyrics.
Got me singing dum dum. Got me feeling dum dum.
Got me feeling dum dum. I like that the dum dums are on screen because this actually makes more sense. Got me singing dum dum. I like it when artists reveal things about themselves in an unintentional way, and I like how it spells F. I like how it says got me singing dum dum, got me singing dum dum, because this is the perfect encapsulation of what song he wrote and what the lyrics are. This is actually perfect art, and you didn't even know it. F. Got me singing dum dum.
Got me singing, got me feeling part of the track on the hook. The feeling of after you meet your crush, you have that date and you're so excited, just in your mind, you're like, wow, I got to see her, I got to kiss her, and you got butterflies or something. Like butterflies.
The dum-dums are like butterflies. This is on here when the single was released in 2019. So literally, like him even being treated like he wrote any lyrics that are worth anything is literally just a result of him having the Jackson last name and fucking nepotism. They all have the same stuff. Oh, he's just like MJ. Both after the Michael Jackson. That Jackson gene is so strong, it kills me. This generation needs a Jackson. He's most definitely a Jackson. That voice unmistakable. Anyone hear the Michael trailer, he truly sounds like Michael Jackson. He has a great potential to explore the world. May God help him. He got that MJ energy. We're talking about how fucking shitty lyrics are. What is this? This is Perry Love. Great voice. A lot like MJ. Sounds so like his uncle. Are these butts? Like every comment says he sounds so much like Michael. He doesn't sound like him at all. The music he's producing sounds like The Weeknd. It doesn't sound like Michael.
I'm on my way to you. So glad you called my phone.
It's so surreal, isn't it? It's so surreal. They're repeating it like the fuck. This is an identical talking point to it's not computer animation. It's live action. Everybody's just saying he sounds like Michael because he's singing in a higher register than the average male singer. Is that the only? Is that how people's ears work? This is Michael's voice. It's so surreal. It's so surreal. We are wasting resources on people with fucking nothing to say, artistically, emotional. What's the point of art? Excuse me. Even Michael Jackson believed art can heal the world and change people's minds. This fucking art ain't doing that. Excuse me. Fun real artists.
I'm on my way to you.
Nope.
On my phone, it's on my mind.
Without the production, he sounds way worse. When he's on this fucking radio show and they don't have all the sweetening, he sounds way worse. Holy shit. Started like fucking flat, not really nailing the vocalization. It sounds like whiny and weird. Like unconfident, not projecting your voice well. He sounds just like Michael. If the comments are still saying that on this one, we know that it's insincere platform, right? He sounds like Michael. He's got that golden voice. It has to be. There's no way this is real, right? Sounds like his uncle. Oh god, he sounds like his uncle MJ. He has that blessed voice. My jaw hit the floor when he opened his mouth to sing. That's his uncle Michael's voice. No way this is real. People are insane. Okay, a real comment. Thank you. He's not there yet. He appears nervous. Thank you. A real comment. Thriller vibes. Thriller vibes. Fuck you. This is what. Boy, do I hear Michael in that voice? Can't wait till 2024 when he plays Michael Jackson on the new Bionic. MJ has blessed him from the grave. Maybe it's not that it's like bots or paid people. Maybe it's a bunch of people that want to believe it so bad. Because that's essentially what the movie is, right?
What's your favorite song last year?
Last year?
Oh, what's your favorite song in general?
Favorite song in general. Misty by Johnny Mathis.
Can you sing it for me?
How does it go?
What do you mean? Your favorite song and then how does it go? That's your favorite song.
How does it go?
Just a line or something.
There's so many different versions. There's.
It's your favorite song! What is this? It's your favorite song, bro! And then all the top comments are still just saying he's just like Michael. He's just like his uncle. The way he smiles and laughs is just like Michael. Wow, he looks exactly like MJ in his voice too. I love animals, just like his uncle Mike. They're not gonna talk about the fact that he doesn't remember his favorite song.
I can't think of it, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
It's your favorite song! Okay, there's a few different versions. Only one version by Johnny Mathis. This is the most obvious fucking lie in the world. Look at his face! This is a I fucked up, I got caught. This is a you got me.
And there's many artists that have inspired me. Just Frank Sinatra, Johnny Mathis, Sam Cooke.
Wow, you just listed like a lot of like really fucking classic old artists.
I listen to a lot of music. Which is your favorite speaking of the song? Isn't she lucky? Never sing a voice.
Please, second time. Forget it. Favorite Stevie Wonder song. Oh sure. Oh, this is the second time. This is the second time you've done it. He learned a better excuse other than there's so many different versions I don't remember. Oh my god, he learned a different excuse because he fucked up the first time. Making music with crypto, tokenizing new album.
Really, what we want to do here today is shine the light on, the social impact of it, the utility of it.
Explain to us how it's not just a dumb gimmick.
It's the open and transparency of it. Number one.
Of what?
Number one is decentralized. It allows any communication communication, the collaboration, and the innovation to be open and free around the world.
The fuck?
What do you mean? Is your album an NFT? They say it's tokenizing the new album.
The opportunity is to use this new technology to connect with people around the world.
What do you mean?
To share my vision and passion for humanitarian causes.
To share my vision and passion for humanitarian causes.
Jafar, we would be remiss not to ask you to, just like sing for us a little bit. Sing us out here on this level.
He's gonna have another excuse.
Can you do that for us?
I think it's I.
He's already he's saying no for him.
You'll definitely be the first to know.
This is the third time.
Yes,
Like,
so
Michael, I
that's
was looking at interviews with him
worse.
because as I was watching the film, I got the impression the entire time that like Jafar's vocal impersonation of Michael was sweetened with digital auditory processing effects.
Tracklist, visuals, sensation.
I got that impression watching the film, and I've been looking up interviews trying to find a single example of him using that voice, like in an interview or anything. I can't find one. I'm not saying this footage doesn't exist. It could be something that I just couldn't find. Maybe I spent another like 30 hours with it. I don't know.
Can you not relax for me, please?
The voice you're hearing, that's actually him with no filter. Where's the source? Where's the source? Where's the source? When you say that's actually him with no filter, where's the source? Any audio you hear from any movie is not no filter unless it's fucking Dogma 95. And even those, there's an argument to make that it's not. Yeah, no, it does sound like a made-up story, Martin, which you should expect for a movie that's as big as this, because it happens in movies that have nothing to do with Michael Jackson. It happens in tons of movies where people will pretend like we use no CG, or everything that happened in Frozen was real. Like there's tons of dumb marketing bullshit in every movie. Don't believe the weird anecdotes.
And also, I've seen Michael before. Just seeing the fans' reactions and everyone.
The tone of his voice that he's doing right now, this sounds like, from my best guess and interpretation, my feeling, my gut, this feels like what he must have been doing on set, and then it was like sweetened with audio editing to get to the higher register. Because it sounds natural. Whereas like if you try to do this, unless you've been doing it your whole life, it sounds like a fake, weird mystery voice that might be too comedic. There's a scene where they cover the Pepsi commercial where his hair gets lit on fire. The editing in that scene is very, very funny. It goes slow motion, and we hear him like kind of echoey, and like it was so weirdly sensationalized and overdramatic and insincere. And of course, they make sure to include like the only reason he didn't do that Pepsi commercial is because his dad made them. But after that takes place, more than once, they use specific language saying, "You almost died," and Michael says it when he's in the hospital. That, I almost died. I'm not a doctor. The top of your head got burned. Burns can get infected, right? Like there's serious complications that can happen from burns. I don't know if almost is the right word. I think saying you could have died is more appropriate. Regardless, they use this language. They repeat it multiple times. And while Michael Jackson is on his hospital bed, his manager or lawyer, I forget which character, is like, "Are you sure you want to continue doing the tour right now? You almost died." Yeah, I almost died, but I gotta continue the tour for my family, my fans who are my real family. And again, it encourages and facilitates this weird fucking religious myth that he's literally fucking Jesus. He almost died for your sins. He's doing it for you. He's everything for you. You're his family. You keep buying his shit. You're his family. Are you lonely? Well, Michael Jackson's got you. By the end of the movie, it felt as though not much had happened at all. They introduced the conflict obviously early on between Michael Jackson and his father Joe Jackson, who obviously abused to make perform. He was like, "I'm like money." That feels like a part of a narrative. But at no point did it feel like that would be the one and only arc of the film until it was apparent that the film was ending. Oh my god, that CG crowd shot looked horrendous. It's legitimately the worst CG crowd shot out of any major theatrical release in the past 20 years. You know, everybody was making fun of PS3 graphics in the Flash. It was like imagine 50 of those characters on screen at once, and it's even in the dark where you should be able to like hide it better. Worse than the Bohemian Rhapsody crowd shot? Yes, way worse than that. The movie's already like a very heavy playlist movie in the sense that like most of what happened was you heard Michael Jackson songs. Even at the end, they're like, "No, we guys do like 4 or 5 in a row." Like this is the climax of the movie. Essentially, it's like we're getting several in a row, and then he like walks past his dad. He's like, "You know, let's do this anymore. Goodbye." And that's like the end of the movie. But it seemed really fucking anticlimactic and underwhelming for what is allegedly the climax of the film. And then big title on the screen: His story continues. A very, very big thing to say that has the Michael Jackson fans using that as you can't criticize this movie for not talking about anything real because there'll be a second movie and they might do that movie. I don't know, they released it as a movie. We're allowed to judge the things we've seen and not include things that don't exist yet. I think that's a fair thing to be able to criticize. So, yeah, he will return in Avengers Doomsday. Well, who knows? Here's the thing. I think that his estate probably knows that they make more money by having his image sanitized and whitewashed. Remember when Leaving Neverland came out? They started to like pull some Michael Jackson songs from radio play. They tried to memory hole the Simpsons episode where Michael Jackson theoretically did like a guest role while being uncredited. There was some shit that was hurting the Jackson estate. People are very not nuanced human beings. People don't like to think about things between 0 and 100. So it's difficult for people to be able to watch something with him or appreciate his artistic contributions if they believe that he is not a perfect human being. So considering that, I don't know if we're actually going to get a part 2. I don't know if they're willing to take that risk because right now they're at a safe and comfortable spot. With the amount of people watching this movie, with his music now being back in rotation, everybody's got Michael Jackson fever again. And it's the year 2026. I think they're happy with that. Why would they want to risk having that being jostled? I feel like it's very likely that we're never going to get a second film. And if we do, I'm going to watch it because that sounds crazy or hilarious. I would love to see a sequel. I would love to see the whitewashed, sanitized version of reality that they have to present. I would love to see them continuing to pretend like he talked like that for real and didn't have a real deeper voice. I want to see more of it. It's crazy. There's a really funny scene where Joe Jackson is behind the stage while his kids are performing, and some record executive comes up to him and is like having this really, really basic conversation. I think maybe a few words were exchanged. She was like, "Man, really talented, huh?" Yep. She says, "I'm from Sony Records," or whatever she said. "We'll be in touch." And just hands a card to him and then walks away ominously. Like, it was the weirdest conversation. Very cartoonish, very bizarre. Funny thing to be in a biopic. And then one more thing I want to add: no matter what excuses that we have in any direction about the content of Michael's character and any controversies, we can all agree that he lived a very unprivileged life for his childhood and that he was exploited and that was wrong. I'm trying to understand why we as a society are not at the point where we're all saying, "Hey, let's just stop having child celebrities." Can we not all agree that that's really fucked up and it opens the door for abuse? And it seems like most of it is abusive, like the overwhelming majority of it, if not all of it. We have laws against child labor. Acting and singing for money is labor. Why do we have an exception for child labor? Literally, why do we have an exception for child labor? It doesn't make any sense to me. I think that the entire concept is predatory. I think it sets up children for, at the very least, terrible psychological issues. If they do well and then they grow up and all of a sudden they're not cute anymore or whatever, it's gonna be most of their experiences, if they are successful, is not retaining that success as an adult. The parents legally get the money. That's fucked up. Yeah, you're not going to be able to have any kind of normal childhood or upbringing, which again is the excuse that the Michael Jackson fans use to justify him being weird at the very least with children. So why don't we all just collectively stop it at the source and not have those situations where we would have to look at adults who had their childhoods robbed from them and start making excuses why they should be cuddling children in bed with them? If we just stop it at the source and say, "Hey, exploiting children is wrong, even if it's financial, even if you put them in a movie or make a pop star out of them or whatever," like the whole thing is just absolutely decrepit. It's a system that sets up abuse to be inevitable, and I don't understand why there's no calls for that to end in society. And I'm giving this one a 3 out of 10.
Due to feces. Hi, I'm Genevieve. I'm 24 and I have 4 brothers, and we have 1 mother, but 2 fathers who happen to be brothers, and we're all members of the Jackson family.
Oh, what? She was fucking both brothers and has kids with both of them? Is this a commune?
Hi, I'm Genevieve. I'm 24 and I have 4 brothers, and we have 1 mother, but 2 fathers who happen to be brothers.
Happen to be? That's a lot of information to just throw at us in the first fucking 2 seconds of this. And the top comments still just say, top comments still say he sounds exactly like his uncle. Wow, what the fuck? It sounds like just like Michael Jackson.
Seriously, Mom, we need to fix that accent. Yeah, sorry.
Seriously, Mom, we need to fix that accent. Cool. When the Michael Jackson fans inevitably call me racist, I want them to answer for that quote. If this documentary doesn't go into what the fuck led you to start dating your ex's brother and then having children with him, then it's not a good documentary. Look, if Michael Jackson fans don't stop, then we're starting to call it on my channel, and I'm Princess of Canada, and nobody can say otherwise. These people are insane. They're like actually mean and rude.
When they ask you to sing a song, what do you say then?
Why couldn't at that time?
These people are fucking evil. I would leave this interview.
One more song from you. Anything which you like.
He's like, one more song from you. Like, we're demanding this.
We'll take one more song.
We will take one more song from you. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. These people are literally idiots. Like, they're social idiots. You're lip syncing right now. This is not you singing like.
We went to New York.
All of this?
We went to New York.
What was the concept for this?
My microphone.
Hi, pandas. I love you. Like, what? This is like a Tim and Eric song. Oh my god, this is great. Jafar really sounds like Michael. Stop cutting. Fucking, what are you talking about? He sounds like Michael. Everyone's saying the golf. This is the most consistent part of the story. What? I thought since he was 3. I love that we got a picture. Oh.
Funny. Wait, what? Oh no. I think was a mistake to enable the VPN if it's not even gonna work for the geo-restricted video. There's one in specific. Oh well, I just don't have to be on the other side of the border. No, I'm gonna deal with this. I'm gonna disable the VPN. Oh well.
I love that we got a picture. Oh.
Oh, no. Dios.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newsweek. We have a big week of gaming reveals ahead of us with multiple shows, and I'm sure some pretty big surprises and shadow drops. So wouldn't you know it, for the last few days, more things have started to appear online, seemingly leaking out ahead of these different presentations. We'll sort of do a quick roundup of some of the big ones here today. Also, we're already talking about a significant delay that's hit Microsoft, but we kind of look at their current release lineup and for GTA 6, it does kind of make sense. And then we have more handhelds from the PC gaming space that's showing up, and while the prices are high, I'm kind of hopeful based on some of the big players that are entering the scene that maybe you can start to challenge AMD a bit. But overall, guys, who enjoy these videos, check out like most of the time. If you're new here, just make sure you subscribe down. Well, guys, we're everything AMD's not going over the world gaming news, so we try to keep updated. You don't necessarily see notifications. Just know there's probably a video here to check out in the morning. We're going to start today with Asher Sharma and Xbox, because there's a little dust up over the last few days when it comes to Xbox showing other company logos at their big showcase that's happening next week. And as Matt did confirm that yes, you will see PlayStation logos or Nintendo logos if those games are going to those platforms. Seems necessarily the best online. We're not frustrated with the idea of removing the focus from the Xbox itself and its own presentation. And in fact, Asher Sharma actually responded over this, so we can see this is over on Twitter. Asher says seeing the feedback on logos, it was a miss. And we're talking about how we adjust for future Xbox shows. So obviously, the show that we're going to see this upcoming weekend from Microsoft has probably been in motion for months now. Most likely preceding Asher Sharma took over at the top of Xbox. And that is the game's been developed for quite some time. Also targeting PlayStation 5, PlayStation like Halo. We'll see with Gears, but there's going to be a number of games that are multi-platform. So I think the idea is the presentation and taking the focus off of the Xbox itself. Does it really matter at this point for Microsoft when they themselves are taking the focus off the Xbox Series? They're already talking about Felix. No, but it is worth at least taking feedback from the community. I will say Asher Sharma doesn't have to respond to every single thing out there, especially on social media, because he lets social media run the platform for really any company. They probably exiting faster than the Dreamcast did back in the day. Also, not to get people's hopes up if you're someone who's really invested in Destiny, wants Destiny 3. There's a whole push right now around the idea of logging in, say on June 9th. People are going back and forth. That's going to make a difference. Well, you can see this is over social media from DMG04, the principal comms manager for Destiny. But they've been making all kinds of different posts, like Gentle into that good night. Over 1 million impressions on this, and people were hyped up around the idea of it. This is like a rallying cry for people to try to make a stand here for Destiny. And I mean, I said, look, the petition is one thing. So I think I might at least get an eyebrow raise out of it. If you, a lot of people log in on June 9th and somebody goes, fuck, that's a lot of people. I mean, look, they can always read Destiny 3. I think that's possible. And sure, you can attempt to sway them. That's probably the best. Is logging in and showing that it's not just like clicking a button and putting your name there, your actual name. There's people just typing whatever to sign and say a digital petition. If you take time to download 180 gigabytes of Destiny 2 and then log in all at once on June 9th, you can play it. They'll see you as someone who's actually participating in it, and yeah, okay, maybe this is worth pursuing Destiny 3. At least that's the hope. When you have rallying cries like these, that's how we have it at least. Oh, we have some big news for Hollow Knight Silksong fans. Something I've been waiting for, a physical copy, and we can see this is where the Monsters this game has announced a physical edition of Hollow Knight Silksong on PS5, Xbox Series, and Switch 2. It's going to launch October 16th. It'll be $40 on PS5 and Xbox Series. It's additional $5 for $45 on the Switch 2. I will note though that the Switch 2 version is the Switch 1 with the upgrade pack built into the cartridge. So really, you're getting the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 games. That's cool because yeah, you buy it and you're only on the Switch 1 right now, and you're thinking about bringing download or something. It'll still work there, and you get the benefit of the new hardware. But this comes with the manual 32-page game manual and a poster for the 90s. So I will absolutely be buying this. Yeah, and I pick up on the Switch 2. And you know, we'll do a whole unboxing for it because there's a manual in there. That one's here, and that's one of the opening up. But yeah, a lot of fun to check it out in October. I think that's something let's get into the stuff. Let's start right away with what should be a jam-packed week for gaming announcements and lots of surprises, I'm sure. And so it's already sort of getting out there at this point. And so I was going through them, just making a list of rapid fire these. I'm sure even by the time this video, probably more stuff as it tends to happen. We'll save play tomorrow, and then a Summer Game Fest to close out the week, and then we'll right into the weekend with the Xbox event. And then most likely the following week, Nintendo Direct. Maybe there are already rumors going around that Direct will be happening before Summer Game Fest. That sounds kind of crazy. So it's going to go State of Play, Direct, Summer Game Fest, Xbox Show. That would actually feel like a jam-packed E3 week. And you know, I'm kind of here for that to happen. So otherwise, you know, next week for the Direct, it's probably probably 100 something games getting announced over the course of the next 2 weeks. So naturally, you start to see some stuff up. As Sony goes and puts up an entire countdown for their State of Play, Call of Duty 1 or Black Ops 1 and 2 get rated in South Korea. This one I saw and I was like, hold on a minute, is it possible that we will see a remastered collection of some kind? And we've seen this happen with previous Call of Duty games, but usually when it does happen, it's just a campaign. The campaign for Black Ops 1 and 2 are still very memorable and awesome. And who knows, maybe they tap into zombies as well as a mode. That would be really cool. You get online zombies along with the campaign. Yeah, I definitely pick that up. So it's a remastered collection of Black Ops 1 and 2. I think it would be very interesting to see, especially if it does come over to something like the Switch 2. So they release across all different platforms now. So we already have the reintroduction of Call of Duty to Nintendo platforms with Modern Warfare 4 happening this year. But if they have Black Ops 1 and 2 remastered, that would still be working up and revisiting all over again. The only problem I have here with these ratings is we've seen it before classifications for previous Call of Duties and nothing happens. I don't know if this might just be a regulation thing, like boring paperwork that has to happen every now and then, but something to at least keep in mind. Nothing we saw in terms of words over on Peggy. We did have Ace Combat 8 rated, and we're kind of expecting that now. By the way, it's coming out later this year, and we have a run of different events. So I would be shocked if it was at State of Play or at some Game Fest, and we do see a full release date for it. I'm gonna say sooner rather than later because it's getting packed as we get closer and closer around GTA 6. A lot of these publishers are trying to get released in ahead of November 19th. So I'm hoping that we get say Ace Combat 8. Honestly, as soon as August, it's gonna be a pretty quick turnaround. Now that would be better than coming in like a week or two before GTA 6 releases. So last week about Rayman Legends Retold, but there's another Rayman game that should be announced this week, and they popped up on the Xbox Store Warrior 64. They get a screenshot of it, and it's $2,000. I mean, you know what? Not hardly this time. I guess it's a placeholder, so it's probably $19.99. It popped up on the Xbox Store 4K 60 FPS, modern enhancements, including all the features. And so here's what happened. This one, and then Rayman Legends Retold over on DLabs. They had the entire release date, pricing, everything set up for it. So we're looking October 1st for this game to come out. There will be a physical edition for PS5 and Nintendo Switch specifically. And we're looking at the price point $4. DLabs is expecting the announcement no later than June 2nd because the computers are live. So actually, State of Play announcement maybe even also the entire Rayman Origins Enhanced Edition that event as well. I think what we'll see is Rayman Legends Retold announced as coming out of the year. Then Rayman Origins Enhanced Edition releasing right then there as a shadow drop. So not a problem seeing Rayman game actually announced in the computer release. Actually, a lot of fun. Now on the Nintendo side, there is this interesting episode going around Fire Emblem Fortunes. Nintendo can be pretty angry about this stuff. Anytime someone shows you itself, you can check out Nintendo. And this is coming off of Resale first of all, and this is a art club for Fire Emblem Fortunes. We've seen this before with some previous games where there's art club league that happened and people got trouble with Pokemon, this whole thing. However, Genesis is something we're getting closer to getting into manufacturing and release, and we're expecting Fire Emblem to come out this summer. And we're not something that Fire Emblem August release, and that would be cool. And I assume we did it at a direct, so we're expecting Fire. There's also this account over on Twitter, ACF, and people have been tracking them because they had, for example, the logo for Rayman Legends that popped up, and they're talking about the code name for it, and then several other early announcements that were leaked out. So they mentioned that when we showed the sword drops on September 26th, that here's the Tycho, and then September 20th. But they said after it went out that September 26th is a Saturday, so I'm just putting it in there because we should see a release date here this week. That's how working to set up Coursera, the holiday season with that, maybe some DLC stuff as well. IGN has their IGN Live events later on this week, starting June 6th, and they accidentally leaked Chronos Lazarus, right? And that's, I don't know if that's DLC expansion, a whole new Chronos game, but they just kind of put it out there. So there you go. Ranked Monsters with a world that was rated, and we should see a release date for that probably as well this week. So that's expected later on this year. So a lot of stuff happening. I'm sure more stuff will happen as we start going to State of Play tomorrow. More stuff happening later on the day. So anything that's out there, of course, all you guys know tomorrow. Very excited. Should be a lot of fun stuff happening this week. Of course, going next. Next, also got a major delay that hit Microsoft again, and that's with Fable, which is another delay for the game. But you can see this is over on social media account saying that this is here. This year is, but here's an incredible game for Xbox players. We're doing a campaign of all years with EA, all the Modern 4, Resident Star Wars, Black Racer, Rainbow Six, North Plan, our game launches as well. It's going to be the rest of players. We're moving
February 27th, so have the dedicated moment deserves. We're excited to be giving players a major deal with Fable as our next Xbox game showcase on June. Of course, a lot of discussion around this because Fable has been like multiple times, and Fable was originally announced years and years ago. Hey, let's play around day typically when things like Forza Horizon 6 awesome games work out very well for them, and so then shifting over to this action RPG open world style game, still using that Forza engine. I got questions maybe also need more time, of course, to smooth out any bugs. And I will say they're not wrong when they go over the release line. All right, they mentioned Halo Campaign, we're expecting that in July. Here's what we did. I think that's gonna come out. I'm gonna say September, early October. That's the latest. They do have to wait Call of Duty, which is at the end of October because they're trying to also wait for Grand Theft Auto 6. They have Minecraft Dungeons 2, and I'm kind of wondering if that's gonna be an August release for them. So they start to line up all these releases, and you think it will be a big thing. You start to have a lot of time to slide in, so they release that point, and the fact they are trying to push their subscription service. Fable should be there to help hold up as a big quarterly release. I don't know why you overrun things here when you can push it out a bit longer and you'll get a little more time to iron out any bugs or issues having pursued launch. Dropping February. They should be a rush to launch it. They have all the stuff ready to go. I think there was a Grand Theft Auto 6 here, and they could slide Fable in and say, we're going to notify this not cards, and how can we push out in December? Indiana Jones, and I don't know how well that worked out for them, but those December releases typically are they get out for the holiday season. I feel like those ones are usually very awkward spots. So I think moving to February is the goal. Also, that means the expectations for the game continue to rise, and it's already kind of challenging because it's Fable, so the story franchise from yesterday they want people have one return. So that's good, right? So it works out. We'll have to wait February to find out. And also, there's something about handheld for the PC gaming market, and this one's interesting because Intel they have had handheld release chips in handheld chips inside the wall. They continue to work on it. And this is something I was really cool to see. Intel starting to match up pretty well with AMD because like AMD they are working to develop their chipsets that work for handheld. Also, kind of looking more AI, and I do think that's where a lot of attention to the chip. We're kind of left with this Z series Extreme chip. Longer than we need because there's still a lot of work that's done on the efficiency side. So enter Intel with their handheld, yes, also a chip that could work to I think really push competition into lower power states. Right? So this is over on VideoCards.net, and they detail MSI EX handheld. Now using RGB Extreme SoC 14 CPU cores and clock 4.7 gigahertz. Our 390 graphics. It's 80 watts maximum power. That's ridiculous. So a lot of people are interested in the idea of going down to say 12 watts. And actually very favorable things like AMD's Z2 chipset. As it shows us a lot in all kinds of slides. The games next. It's a video by watch like 90. That's Intel's path here because it's so expensive. It's 30 GB LPDDR5X memory. That's favorable. So maybe manufacturers they want cheap handheld stuff that happens. Team, you got SSD 8-inch 19 by 12 for 1 touchscreen display. 80 watt battery. It's expected to come out June 23rd. So that's release. We'll launch. The price is expected to be $1,500. So no, not cheap. Here's the thing. I want to see what else Intel can do with this chipset as we go along. Because that's the thing. Intel has always been in my mind just dating back for decades now. Always been CPU first, and it kind of has integrated kind of enough of this slate. Now you started to build out as we go along. The Iris line of the others. So always big CPU, low GPU. Now you see like Panther Lake and some of the other issues they have. Where it's like big GPU and like medium CPU. Now you're seeing here with their chipset that's going to be handheld. So working on the power efficiency side, but also on the ability to push visuals in games. And I would just like to see the handheld game space continue to evolve. And they mentioned like RAM is expensive. It's like investing now for say 5 or 6 years in the future. We have a chip that is very capable. And then DRAM prices have stabilized or come down. Now you're thinking of like very compelling hardware handheld for the price. That's how like investing for business. It seems like that's the strategy. So when you check out what it's called handheld, much more in the future. And sometimes how you have these big companies and they talk about their own like ARM-based chips shipping up here today. See the three companies, AMD, Intel, and they like before it comes to the bullet course yesterday. Last time, all the price. What do you expect to start? So over the weekend there's also like an update where they have a screen welcome screen that was added in like behind the scenes for updates. And we're expecting this any time now. I know they use chips that alongside Apple. Maybe it's possible you can see the leading S here 64% $1,000 more. It makes sense at $1,000. I don't know why they come up with them. I mean, I'm pushing that controller and the controller. I think the game extending Fable 500 $560.
The longer it takes, the more the higher the speculated price gets.
Or of course they do the thing where you can pick and choose what you want to install, but no doubt Call of Duty will be getting 264 the worst controller I've ever used.
Instagram's built because check-ins failed. Instagram was almost never a photo app that we have today. At first, it was something completely different. It was a complicated app called Bourbon, built by Kevin Systrom. They had check-ins, plans, locations, basically way too much stuff. Now, originally, almost no one used it, but the ones that did used the one feature, which was the photo app. Yes, that was the only thing that most people cared about, so Kevin basically deleted everything else except for that one feature. Then he had filters, made posting ridiculously fast, and ta-da! Suddenly, Instagram exploded, and of course, evolved into the app that we use today. So, what do we learn? We learned that sometimes growth isn't adding new features, it's deleting the ones that are essentially wrong.
Now, I know most of my videos about Microsoft tend to be a little bit more nitpicky or making fun of a situation. Like, look at this graph right here. You see how it starts off at pretty much 0, and then just in the last year, completely exploding. Well, what is this graph? Well, this is the Google Trends for GitHub alternatives. Normally, I'd make a video and we'd all, GitHub, whoa, they suck. But this time, this video, it's a little different, okay? I want you to take a look at this picture. I know, anime waifu, some of you are pretty excited. Calm down. This is not an exciting topic, okay? This picture right here is nothing but distilled fear from Microsoft. For you, probably something different. Distilled something completely different. But for Microsoft, absolutely the most terrifying image they've seen in years. Now, if you're not chronically online, and I'm your news source, which a lot of you say that, if that's the case, then this image, you're probably going, well, what's so scary? What's so scary about a little anime waifu? Because we all know what happens when you see an anime waifu, right? Either whatever's coming up next is going to be just single-handedly the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your entire lifetime, or from the most cracked engineer you've ever seen in your lifetime. Well, it turns out it's the second one, okay? It's very, very cracked. Because what you're seeing is the Nightmare Eclipse account. 6 0 days in 6 weeks and 1 big grudge. This individual is releasing 0 days that are absolutely devastating. Once a week for the last 6 weeks, they have been banned off of GitHub. They just got done being banned off of GitLab. They are losing and being deplatformed constantly by releasing huge 0 days. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably go, okay, well, like releasing 0 days, that's bad, right? I mean, I'm not a huge security guy, so I can't tell you a lot about security, but I can tell you that it seems bad, right? Releasing out stuff that potentially just your average hack or have some assets. So yeah, that sounds pretty bad. But when you start learning about this story, when you start learning about Microsoft, I think you're going to be a little bit surprised, and maybe you'll go, oh, this story is a business. Now, before we get to the next, so first let's just like learn a little bit about kind of the backstory of what's going on. And we're going to see some of the reactions which is going to make you kind of have a 180 about what's going on. So first off, Nightmare Eclipse, Nightmare Eclipse is a malicious actor who has released 6 Windows 0 day exploits in early April 2026 in what mobile researchers describe as escalating retaliatory campaign against Microsoft. Eclipse doesn't immediately into traditional intelligence categories. They don't appear to be seeking profits, advancing a social cause, or pursuing geopolitical objectives. In other words, just pure chaos. Like they're literally out there for the love of the game. They appear to be a single series researcher driven by personal vengeance, deliberately unleashing dangerous exploits that others are now using in real-world attacks. Defenders and researchers should respond to Nightmare Eclipse as seriously as any other threat actor, even though they operate alone and outside the usual ecosystem. And of course, the list of exploits: Blue Hammer, Red Sun, Undefend, Yellow Key, Green Plasma, Mini Plasma, and several of them unpacked. If you're interested in more in kind of some of the backstory and like how they're coming up with the names, you can check out the link in the description. But the part that's pretty interesting is that the actor identity is unknown. But people believe this is insider. They believe it is a former Microsoft employee. Nightmare Eclipse also alleges that personnel directly read them from Microsoft Security Response Center. I was told personally by them that they will ruin my life, and they did. All right, so that's kind of like where we stand on what we know about the situation. And so for me, I was, you can see there's some sort of personal grievance or vendetta going on here. So I still kind of feel bad about 0 days being released, just proof of concept right into the wild because people end up getting hurt. Granted, that's still true. But now I'm starting to learn a lot of things about Microsoft Security Response Center. I think you should probably know about it too. That's my dealt with Microsoft Security Response Center. I found a command injection vulnerability present for a decade in context menus. Not highly critical, but still exploitable. MSRC did not reward the bounty, nor did they attribute a CDE to this finding because it doesn't meet the criteria as vulnerability that requires an immediate security update. However, it was fixed a month later in Windows 11. Canary was taking credit and pretending like it's not a big deal and not paying. The last submission to MSRC was for a Vanguard bypass. I learned my lesson from prior Toronto submission, so I included a 90-day window this time. MSRC responded saying that I met their bar and they would asking full disclosure for another 90 days because they needed a few extra months to fix. I agree on the condition that they issue a CDE to which they agreed after the agreed upon patch Tuesday. A few months later, I couldn't find any mention in the CDE list, so I reached out to MSRC to inquire. It turns out they changed their minds, deciding it did not meet their bar for servicing, get patched anyway. Since it didn't meet the bar, they didn't issue a CDE. MSRC strung me along a few extra months to keep me quiet and then broke their word. So again, they effectively strung somebody along and didn't give them credit, refusing to pay. That seems like a little bit of a recurring thing. Last time I dealt with MSRC, responded to close an issue with a lazy author allowed me to spray passwords at redacted endpoint and avoid smart lockout. Received an email 5 months after initial case opening. Doesn't meet the bar for servicing. Microsoft silently and closed the case. Yeah, it's almost like you're starting to see a pattern. And if you check out VX Underground, apparently there's maybe a little bit more that we don't understand. It turns out that Microsoft Security Response Center is actually somehow the center that is just really disservicing the security researchers out there. They're completely ignoring them and or they're taking their work silently, fixing it, not responding, doing all sorts of stuff that just massively destabilizes the entire security research world. And it's been going on for years. It's been going on for so long. Now look at this right here. This is in August 2023. This is 3 years ago. Last week, Senator Ron Wyden sent a letter to the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Agency, the Department of Justice, and Federal Trade Commission asking they hold Microsoft accountable for repeated pattern of negligent cybersecurity practices, which has enabled the Chinese espionage against the United States government. According to data from Google Project Zero, Microsoft products have accounted for an aggregate 42.5% of all zero-day discoveries since 2014. So that's been going on for years. They are negligent habit. The government has been getting involved now, and people are just absolutely fed up. So whatever has happened to Nightmare Eclipse, obviously there's probably a bigger backstory than we realize. And we may not get the entire story, but we know how Microsoft is going to respond. They share responsibility, protecting customers through coordinated vulnerability disclosure. In other words, you need to do these kind of responsible disclosures, or else anything is going to happen. And they obviously are acknowledging this Eclipse vulnerabilities that have been happening. And recently, several zero-day vulnerabilities have been publicly disclosed. So if you go down here, you can see that they list out a couple of those right there, including no links to green plasma or mini plasma. But even further down right here, look at this line. Our digital crimes unit will continue bringing cases against these actors and those that enable their criminal activity, coordinating as needed with law enforcement around the world. In other words, if you don't responsibly disclose, they're going to bring the long hand of justice against you. They're actually out there being like, yo, it's actually a crime. We're probably going to completely disincentivize people. We're probably going to take their work. We're probably not going to give them credit as we have on multiple occasions. We're probably not going to give them money. But you know what? If you don't do right by us, then that's actually evil, wrong, and deserves to be punished, and you should be thrown in some sort of concrete box with metal bars because you're the bad person. You know, me, just being like a complete novice. I'm a complete novice. I don't know how. I one time found a vulnerability that was super massive, but that is like I don't last backwards into it. Completely biased. I've never really done any sort of serious researching, so I don't actually understand the world that's out there. But for all the private messages I have received about this specific topic, Microsoft has been hands down dealing people dirty for over a decade. It appears at least. If I'm to believe all the stories I've been told, and some of them are from quite credible people. Anyways, I want to make this video because I feel like it's just super unfair how they're reading people, and I don't think a lot of people even know that this is happening. It's honestly, it's a pretty responsible disclosure thing we can do to let people know just how bad this organization is. Okay, I'm doing this for the love of the game. Okay, the name is just too good.
The fuck am I watching? Hold on, what? What the? Anyway. What am I looking at? Okay, skip.
Not the original name that became a movie. I'm talking about the movie that became a meme. When the background film released on the 29th of May, it clearly saved that place for a theory adaptation of one of the internet's biggest narratives constructed by the collective digital hive mind. As a result, it tracks it to become a topic of discussion after every critically online does Wendy Garcia, and that discussion has resulted in millions of edits, clips, and trends all referencing the backrooms. How do we get I found this room is full of rules. Coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's just so great. In fact, it feels like this film is single-handedly reinvigorated the backrooms mania that blew up while Strike became Boston's was making its amateur found footage videos back in 2022, as it was this year that it seemed to went truly mainstream as a concept. However, whilst remaining an icon of meme culture, the backrooms sort of fizzled out over the past couple of years in terms of its mainstream appeal. Sure, there's new videos here and there, but it wasn't attracting the same levels of attention it once did. Then cue the teaser trailer dropped for Kane Boston's A24 adaptation, and suddenly it was massive again, and backrooms content began popping up everywhere. And now that it's officially released, the influx of memes has exponentially increased, making this film a suitable topic of discussion simply due to the manner in which it was influenced by the digital landscape. First of all, when it was discovered that Robert Roxy is in the backrooms film, artists immediately began making memes about what kind of entity might be involved, as the tall actor is famous for playing creatures such as the offspring from the 2024 Alien Romulus film. Then the fact that there seems to be two opposite reactions to the film become a meme as well, with some absolutely loving it and others absolutely hating it, claiming that it's boring and has no substance because it wasn't resolved in a way that satisfies them. The movie is a substanceless movie, no ending at all, and zero value throughout the entire movie. Plus, it doesn't adhere to the backrooms law of the infinite levels, each with their own quirks and entities, which honestly is a choice that does make sense. The backrooms has no official law except perhaps the original name from which it was born, in which it is simply described as nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background of
Exactly, there's nothing. The whole point of the movie is to have it pretty much deserves to be an A24 movie. It's supposed to have nothing in it. An A24 movie back
so. A lot of people have this kind of myopic view of Gemini. Like, anyone says, oh, Gemini is shit, just remember, they have too much of a myopic view of how the world should work. I guarantee you, whoever says that, what they're really saying is that, hey, I tried to use Gemini for coding and it wasn't good. I don't think Gemini is designed for coding. I think Gemini is designed for search. I don't know if you've seen this, but they are going pretty dang hard on the old search thing. So if I come here and say, tell me about ponderosa. There you go. Obviously, you can see the whole thinking answer. But if you show more, it now turns into a chat window along with advertisements right in there, or links. Sometimes it's advertisements, sometimes it's links. That way, you follow up questions. Like, this is designed for the normie. Google's not trying to get 10 million software developers. They're trying to get the 3 billion people to go through their AdSense/linking thing. Like, that's what they want. They want the money. They don't need developers. Developers put huge strain on the actual on the actual infrastructure. They use literally 10,000x more than the average person.
Um canal chamado Vampire Robot. Eu inscrevi no canal dele lá, canal gringo, que ele, pelo visto, tinha câmera. Lá em 1990, 89, então ele conseguia pegar câmera do pessoal, filmagens do pessoal que tinha, e postou bastante na internet. Os vídeos são novos, tá? Eu fiquei até olhando pra ver se não era inteligência artificial muita. Hoje em dia, alguns enganam bem. Não é mais inteligência artificial, não, tá? Vocês comentem pra gente, eu tô pagando líquido. Então, esse aqui é de um fliperama nos States, em 1990. Eu achei interessante que a gente vê nos filmes que eles mostram os fliperamas lá dos States, principalmente esse filme bem mais recente, que mostram, que se passa lá nos anos 80, nos anos 90, sabe? Daí tem aquela idealização, coloca um negócio cheio de neon, cheio de luz e tal. Olha só isso, né? É um bar, um galãozão, cheio de máquina na porta, tudo mal espaçada, vê aqui, né? Que essa tá mais juntas, essa aqui tem um espaço meio outra, né? Então, assim, não é dos lugares dos sonhos do jeito que a gente vê nos filmes, isso aqui é mais real, assim. Aí tem o cara aqui que tá só olhando as máquinas, né? O cidadão que vai pro fliperama, o fichinha, acaba o dinheiro, aí fica o resto da tarde olhando as máquinas, né? Aquela apresentação e eles estão jogando. Senador do futuro, o Senador do futuro era uma da hora, verdade. Aí olha só, velho, a fileira de pinball que tinha aqui. Nos anos 90, aqui em Curitiba, já não tinha tanto pinball mais assim nos lugares, era os arcades mesmo, né? Mas tinha, os caras, tipo, do centro lá, de Islândia, que era uma das maiores que tinha na cidade. Tem umas 5 máquinas mais ou menos, mas um paredão assim de pinball não tinha não. Aqui, ó, agora os pinball que era pra ser separado. Então tudo socado lá, né? Os pinball que tinha que ser separado. Caía aqui se matando no jogo de beisebol. Outra coisa que eu achei bem interessante aqui, tá? 90, já tinha uns jogos bem canudos aí. Tinha uns jogos que eram um pouco mais antigos, mas ainda a gente imaginava que eram populares. É como Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Donkey Kong, né? Aqui, do jeito que tá vendo, eu vi um Donkey Kong aqui, pô, 90, quando eu já tinha 8 anos, tá certo? E as máquinas, a maior parte dos jogos que eu estou jogando aqui, eu não faço ideia de jogo que é, não faço ideia. Esse aqui, não sei o que é. Daniel Vitorino falou que tinha no plasma, paredão de pinball. Ah, isso aqui era câmera de segurança. Ficava indo de um lado pro outro. Pois é, nos 90 o pessoal não tinha celular no câmera no bolso, assim, como tem hoje em dia. E é difícil conseguir filmagem. O cara perdeu isso. É difícil ver essa filmagem, sabe, da época. Quando aparece na internet, é ouro. O da esquerda ali parece especial, é Arcanoide, sim, parece Arcanoide aquele, porque o carinha tá de pé. Caralho, velho, mano, que é isso? Meu Deus, tá caixão, você tá louco? Olha o tamanho da rosa ainda. Que é isso que tá jogando? Esse aqui, ó, é o controle de bolinha. Mas, cara, o tamanho da bola, né? Você jogava girando. Você é tipo o mouse, né? O mouse antigo, o mouse analógico, né? Com bolinha. É tipo aquilo lá, só que você ia girando na mão inteira daí, tá? E, olha, consegui jogar isso aqui na unha. Brabo, hein? Vou jogar não nada, jogando com a bolinha.
It's just centipede. Millipede.
Olha o cabelão da tia. Olha o cabelão da guria. Tá parecendo o Axl Rose no começo dos Guns. Caramba, é estilo, hein? Estilo mesmo. Olha só as porradas lá. Aqui, volta lá. Uma, 2, 3, as porradas pra descer do capital da moeda. Não entendi aquela. E aí nos States, parece que tem lugar que era por ficha, tá? Eu já vi algumas coisas lá, o pessoal falando que tinha fichinha assim, mas na maior parte dos lugares era com moeda de 25 centavos de dólar. 25 cents, né? Quarter. Que daí era, dava crédito na máquina. Aqui sim, ó, maluco tá jogando Final Fight. Aí, Final Fight de 89, né? O cara joga com o dedo assim, ó. E é, pô, normal jogar com 2, ele joga com o dedo só. Olha lá. E a máquina, essas máquinas dos Estados Unidos, elas eram as máquinas, vamos dizer assim, oficiais, né? Então, o gabinete, o decalque que faziam, né, a decoração, era tudo vinha da fábrica, né? As máquinas eram customizadas para os jogos, a maior parte deles, pelo menos. Então, dá pra ver que o gabinete aqui é o Final Fight mesmo, né? E eles só tem dois botões, Por que isso, né? Porque as máquinas aqui no Brasil pegavam em genéricos, né? Eles montavam uma máquina lá de qualquer jeito, e daí colocava a placa dentro do jogo que queria. Às vezes trocava a marquinha, era a parte de cima, mas só. Isso era mais as máquinas da Rockstar. Mas as máquinas do Final Fight tomavam 3 botões aqui. E aí tinha um macete, e você podia pedir pro dono do estabelecimento lá, habilitar pelo Deep Switch, né? Pelas configurações da máquina. O terceiro botão, muita gente não sabe que tem o terceiro botão do Final Fight. O que faz o terceiro botão? Quando alguém te agarra, o Android te agarra, você aperta o terceiro botão, o Android solta. Era isso que fazia, facilitava muito a vida na máquina. E aqui, na original, não tinha esse terceiro botão. Aí, ó, os dois dedos lá fazendo giratória. As porradas da máquina. Por isso eu acho que a inteligência artificial, velho. Os caras estão muito, mano. Botão pra soltar agarrando, sabia? Eu também não sabia. Isso aí eu pensei pra começar assim. No definição dos jogos, eu sempre conto essa história. Foi lá na. Como é que é? Praia Grande, no superando e falar, pô, o dono lá, colocar, ó, a máquina comprado. Aí aqui, né, do lado de fora, o Neuzão chamando de Broadway Arcade. Chamando pra dentro lá, pra um cartão, estabelecimento assim. Aqui nos anos 90 já era fliperama, tá? E tinha umas máquinas bem mais carnudas que a maioria dessas que estavam jogando nos States. O que tava bombando em 90 antes de chegar o Street Fighter aqui, o Street Fighter 2, foi Street Smart. Nossa, era um jogo que o pessoal pirava, assim, que era os bonecos grandes, luta, ficava piscando vermelho, ambulância, as mulheres de baiô lá, comemorando, velho. Street Fighter era o canal mesmo. Aí outros também que eu lembro bem, era do Dragon, né, o 1 e 2, o Golden Axe e Tartaruga Ninja. Era os que bombavam no meu pai. Antes do Street Fighter 2, tá? Só que eles eram tudo falhados, tinha um lugar assim, né, com várias máquinas. Esse aí abriu depois, o Alpirana na vila, né? Aí abriu um sobrado, quadradão, tinha umas 10 máquinas lá dentro. Mas olha, o Alpirana aí, ó. O Alpirana e a máquina formada de carrinho de balança. Essa aqui balança, que legal. E aí eu fiquei meio surpreso com essa dos States que os caras tinham uns joguinhos assim, bem mais sei lá, não falo que os jogos são ruins, mas não eram os jogos assim mais avançados que aqui no Brasil a gente tinha, sei lá, não parece decepcionante, né? A gente vê lá nos filmes, o negócio cheio de neon e galerinha tudo colorida e cabelão e cheio de cera, a única que tava no estilo era a moça fazendo caixão lá, a única. E no resto não apareceu os fliperama de bairro aqui no Brasil. Era isso aí, Daniel, obrigado pelo superchat da guria Sentibed, flipper de cartão na boca, olha só, Sentibed. Esse aí eu não cheguei a ver, conheço pelo nome, mas é quem conhecer alguma marca pode falar pra gente. Opa, dentro de uma loja eletrônica em 1988. O cara passando Miguelão lá na tia pra levar a TV da casa de gira aí dos botões, pra tocar de canal e tal.
Meu Deus.
A Rochelle ali, ó. Vendo o preço, vendo como é que vai falar com o Júlio depois pra colocar a TV. Aí ela, os videocassete, $429, mano. Caralho, 599. Porra, é a grana, viu? Olha só aqui, o tamanho do aparelho de CD. O tamanho. O meu pai, quando comprou, primeiro, tinha comprado um som inteiro, né? Com caixa de som grande e tal, toca-disco, no LP, e o CD, toca-CD. Parecia um videocassete, ficava um pouco parecido. Era o tamanho de cassete, tamanho assim, parecido. Aí o toca-CD e não tinha o som dele, né? Tinha que ligar no aparelho, tudo lá e mandar as caixas. Era isso. Aí, olha o tamanho da criatura. Aqui o cara tá tocando reggae. Estéreo, cassete, receiver, o pack de Slayer. É isso aí, o pack de Slayer, cassete. Isso aí tem cassete, isso aqui seria cassete. Ah, é, aqui, ó. As bolinhas pra colocar os cassetes. Isso é gigante, negócio. CD aqui e cassete de 2 duplex. Mais um aparelho.
It's a novelty, right? I get it.
O Mega CD, você lembra do Mega CD? Então, eu pensei em CD um pouco antes. E agora? Caramba, velho. Tinha carro shit. Esse carro só fui ver depois de 95 aqui no Brasil. Era, tipo, poder, o ápice da tecnologia. Nossa, bota o play CD lá e gira e troca CD sozinho. O ápice. Aí vitrine, os caras fizeram telão com TVzinho ali. O Rick Ash, como é que é ele mesmo? Tomou o Rick Roy na live ao vivaço. Isso significa que AI controlado. Será? Pô, esses foi AI, eu desisto do YouTube, desisto da vida. Lojinha dos anos 88. Esse a gente só via lá no Todo Mundo Odeia Chris.
Now you created a really problematic structure, which is really common, which is that you use your negative emotion to keep you protected. You create this persona, and now you're sort of in this like really toxic fuel cycle, is what I call it. Where like you beat yourself up on your days off, and that's good because without those negative emotions, you wouldn't work as hard as you work. And this is what really a lot of people don't understand. People think that you're motivated by positivity. That's not true. People are motivated by negative emotions way more powerfully than motivated by positive emotions. Negative emotions, like if you think about, let's say, I'm dating someone, they cheat on you once. I could love this person for 5 years. They cheat on you once. 5 years of love gets washed away with a single day of betrayal. Does that make sense? This is why it's so useful to motivate yourself by negative emotions. They're actually way more powerful than positive emotions.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? Today, welcome to today's episode of Fucking Host of the Today, we're going over a couple browser extensions that we're found to not only be keeping track of and selling data on your browsing history, but also exfiltrating your ad chats. So this means that if you use these browser extensions and you're on ChatGPT.com, it's actively sending information on your chats to the company browser extension, and they also have privacy policies that they sell your data. Now, what makes this practice particularly disgusting is if you go over here, I take a screenshot of the wiki, you'll see that their privacy policy is separate from what it shows in the Chrome store. So when you go to privacy policies, categories of personal information, we collect, disclose, and sell, and there's all these different things that they disclose and sell. Then when you go to the privacy policy on the Google Chrome Web Store page, when you actually go to install the extension, it says that they don't sell data to third parties. And one of the requirements for being on the Chrome Web Store is that you don't collect or sell data that is not related to a user-facing feature. And when you're talking about a web extension whose sole job is to allow you to restyle a page, you don't have to collect all the personal data of my chat in order for me to change the CSS on the website. That's absolute bullshit. Many of these extensions were caught by a gentleman named James Arnott at MIThome.com, so I want to give him a chance to come on the channel and talk about it. He has a really interesting page where he goes over and reverse engineers how this stuff works, and he shows you exactly how it is these browser extensions are collecting all your data. Now, what I found very interesting is that he said that he had contacted the Chrome Web Store after finding all this. Even if you weren't interested in going to the code because it doesn't work, you could simply look at the terms of service in these different extensions and see that they say they're selling all this data that they then say on the extension page not, which is complete false advertising, and Google does not take any action. Sometimes Google will take a bad way from the extension, and what the extension will do is literally just change the name of the function. So instead of collect AI chat, it'll change some random shit, and the extension gets back the exact same spying functionality. I find this disgusting. You hear a lot about how in Switch manifest feature, manifest feature, this is not protect your security because there are all these browser extensions that are able to collect your data. Yet when you are manifest feature, it's more difficult to have an ad blocker, and you have all these extensions on manifest feature that are actively collecting fucking user data. Without further ado, James Arnott. Thank you so much for taking the time. Here I am with James Arnott of MIThome.com. It's a great site with several products and services for Intel, and he has figured out that a bunch of browser extensions are spying on you, and I just want to talk about this a little bit and help you get enough people to understand the issue, reporting the issue, and get the Chrome Web Store to take action. Thanks for taking the time. So the first thing I want to go over here was just a very base level explaining like 5 explanation for people that don't know basics for AES 56 applications and all that. What are these extensions doing that is wrong, and why is this, and also how are they stealing your ChatGPT chats and the knowledge we're doing for
Yeah, so stuff. The things that are doing wrong is a lot of these are collecting full URLs. So every URL you visit gets sent back to some remote service to essentially be sold off for. But the problem is you don't know what the database is. It's just someone else has access to every URL you visit. And the issue with this is that might include like Google Sheets, Google Docs, password reset links, anything DocuSign, for example. And you don't necessarily want to share all this data. And of course, all your browsing history. And then what they're doing to kind of obfuscate what they're sending off is that some of them are using quite advanced obfuscation. They are putting these URLs, also ChatGPT chat messages or Google AI chat messages through a bunch of obfuscation before sending it off. So in case they had 5 different steps where they would go through and wrangle this data to get very difficult researchers to agree. And including the Chrome Web Store when they're doing a review, they can't really tell what data is being sent off to this.
Okay, now what I find interesting here is that there's a contradiction inside the privacy policy where it says the company sells personal data, but if you go to the Chrome Web Store, listing for it, there's a large font claim on the homepage that does not sell your personal data. So are these extensions outright saying one thing on the Google Chrome Web Store page and then something else in their actual privacy policy?
Yes, that's really are. It's interesting because they at least admit to selling personal data. The Chrome Web Store doesn't allow selling personal data. So they get all the developers to say, yeah, I'm not selling any of this data, and they make them sell all the data that they're collecting. The problem is, it doesn't seem to be working. It doesn't seem to be very well enforced.
The Chrome Web Store user data FAQ says that a product collecting browsing activity for any non-user-facing purpose is not permitted. So you're not allowed to collect user data for something that's not user-facing, and grabbing all of your ChatGPT chats is not part of making the web browser look nicer for that user, unless they're trying to figure out what emotion, like what color they think you like page to be based on every piece of information in your personal life, which is obviously how it could be. Now, what I find interesting, I can understand if they said this and we don't have time to do the code for every single fucking browser extension taken down. But if they're saying on the Google Chrome Web Store page that it does not collect your data, their own terms of service explicitly that it does collect your personal data, and you report them. What the fuck? Why is this extension so loud? It doesn't even require code review. It just requires looking at the false advertising on this.
Yeah, it's not brilliant. And you know, I haven't personally reported Stylish what runs I have reported, and it was pretty clear that they were exploiting a lot more data than they should do, including all URLs and all AI chat messages, which was created by remote config, and I reported them. They had the feature badge taken away for a month, and then they updated and they renamed their data collection endpoint from Flex AI chats, something along those lines, to something more generic, and that was reapproved, and they got their feature badge back. So
they didn't even actually get rid of the tracking code. They just changed the name of the function to some degree so that the person reviewing it wouldn't see the same thing there.
Yeah, essentially they just changed the name of the endpoint to say instead of Flex AI chats, it was something more generic. So it's just yeah, it's like I think they might just gone away with it because they have remote config to say as the server decides what data they want to collect to stay access in this case, but it could potentially be more dangerous if the server says, yeah, let's take credentials, for example, or any sensitive data.
I find this interesting because there's a result that have about Manifest 2 having a lot of issues and moving Manifest 2 creating more difficult for ad blockers. And all that was done because Google was the primary reason they were saying remote code execution, the ability to collect user personal data. In other words, Manifest free extensions that over 700,000 users, some over a million users. They're actively collecting people's data. They're claiming they collect your data. It's live on the website, they don't, and when they get reported, they say so. That's just thank you very much for that.
Yeah, it's not great. Manifest be free to help with security, but they didn't need to take away the APIs that Apple was using. So it's decided going back. It's not great.
Now, what I want to show users here is there's certain users that I like. There are people that use it to try and unshiftify devices that have been shiftified. Manifest is really cool. Where somebody with a $25 cloud subscription for $100 for a full cloud subscription. We're using this to get rid of limitations that they had already. And you were using AI to find all this stuff. Could you explain how you were using it to find out that these extensions had these types of vulnerabilities and collecting user data? For all the negative shitty stories which there are many, and deserve to be told, I want to also show people that there's actually some upside in how these tools can be used.
The way I'm doing it is I'm essentially scraping Chrome Web Store, keeping an eye on all the updates, and giving the go-to LLM to go through, get a bunch of tools to search DFSA and see what it's actually doing. And then from that, it's I make mistakes. So I give it over to samples where it actually runs the extension to see what it's doing. So if the first step has decided, okay, we think it might be scraping AI chat, we get no, then the second step can go on and actually run the extension to see actively expressing this data, and then it kind of packages it up into a nice report. So it's easier to understand. Like, realistically, no one's going to be able to manually look through a bunch of compressed code. It's just not feasible. So this does actually help.
Can you just tell me a little bit how you started making.com? What kind of services do you offer? What do you do? And how do you get into this?
I just got laid off again from another YC startup. So I thought, I want to do something more meaningful with my time, and I just decided I was going to start looking at my extensions to see what they're doing because I didn't really know. And it turns out I had one install which exfiltrates AI chats and URLs. I sit down with many vulnerabilities which I can't speak about unfortunately, and I'm doing this full time.
Thank you so much for taking the time again. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we can have some of these extensions get taken down, or at the very least get users who are using these extensions to understand the various shit they're doing. So do me a favor, if you're watching this video, it would be great if you go to the consumer rights wiki page that covers this. If you can scroll down to this table, find these extensions and report them for what it is they're doing, along with the link to the appropriate corresponding consumer rights wiki article and MIBeing.com blog post, so we can hopefully get some action taken on these extensions and have them taken down. So far, within the world, the people that steal all your data and do all the fuck up shit usually win. That's the fun of this channel. It's the fun of this entire community. I point to moving to what you can in your corner and try to think about it. Let's see if we can do it. Today, as always, hope you learn something. See you next video. Bye.
Several have tried to create an absolute moment for PC, but NVIDIA might be the first to pull it off. They just announced the RTX Spark, a superchip that combines a 12th core on CPU to create a system that can do it all. Heavy creative workloads, gaming, but of course the star of the show is the ability to handle on-device private agentic AI with 600 GB per second link between CPU and GPU and large memory capacity. You can do everything from image generation to accelerating workloads or even just help you organize your to-do list. I'm also excited to say we'll give you 50% off using code LTD.
Hey everybody, my name is Valeria Rodriguez and I voice Venture in Overwatch. Today I'm going to be presenting Venture's Adventures, the Deep Sea Deception. Let's do this. Sun shining, there's a cool ocean breeze. Feels like the perfect day for Hey everybody, my name is Valeria Rodriguez and I voice Venture in Overwatch. Today I'm going to be presenting Venture's Adventures, the Deep Sea Deception. Let's do this. Sun shining, there's a cool ocean breeze. Feels like the perfect day for another Venture's Adventures. Today, I'm at the Atlantic Arcology, the coolest self-sustaining nautical bastion of science there is. The Wayfinders got a tip about a lost collection of valuable artifacts trapped beyond our reach in an undersea bunker from the Omnic Crisis. Can you believe it? All those relics stuck underwater instead of nice and dry where I can study them. Sorry for the interruption, Dr. Proximani, but that archaeologist is here. But nothing, Pelek. Our allies in Discovery have come for aid, and we will answer the call. And again, please, call me Niran. We've known each other too long for such formalities. Well, our history-obsessed Wayfinder isn't very patient for the present. They seem like a lot. Fantastic. This world already has enough people who make themselves smaller just to fit in. In my experience, the world is a better place when those blessed with such passions share their joy. I can't believe how big the Arcology spire is. Total future relic alert! The Duravidro is so... and the colors are all... I'm trying to sketch it, but I definitely didn't bring enough glitter. I'm confident you'll capture our home's beauty, my wayfinding friend. Niran Proximani, at your service. I am... Are you a hugger? Well, I'm not one to turn down a... Oh. And our super coral expert on this afternoon's treasure hunt, my better half in science, Dr. Palak Nathani. They're not a hugger. Oh yeah! Gonna be a couple of they-thems causing mayhems! Mayhem is actually the last thing we want on this expedition. Whoa. I know what underground means, but this is a whole new kind of deep. I figured we'd use my handy-dandy drill to break in, but apparently that's a no-go because a supercoral colony has completely overtaken the vault. Supercoral is designed to absorb pollution and support ecosystems. Its coralite structure is nearly unbreakable. So, no, Mix Cameron, you can't, and I quote, let her rip. Gotcha! Get the artifacts without being a photo fishies. One question, how? We do it with a little care and a lot of finesse. That's amazing! Can you even imagine the genius to envision living light, medicine, agriculture? Niran's work will revolutionize how we live. No wonder Vishkar is so determined to steal everything from him. One of the most powerful corporations in the world, stopping at nothing to define his future. And he still finds the strength to sow his own tomorrow. You look at him the way I look at a really gnarly mummy. I don't. Or, wait, what? For the record, I really like gnarly mummies. It doesn't matter. He'd never be interested. Niran is someone special, and I'm just not. No way. It's mega wrong. People like us were born being told there's only one way we can live. We said that nonsense can go kick rocks. It's not just that. I'm his research partner. Our work is too important to risk over a crush. Well, seems like you're both perfectly capable of digging your own paths. And if you ask me, those paths are headed in the same direction. No way. Is that the Agorian bejeweled egg? It's completely intact. And the scepter of Alsace. The helmet Kenji Dosan wore into battle. But this was stolen just a few years ago. How did it end up here? Oh dear. Is my little puppet starting to see their strings? Items from my family's secret archive were expensive bait, but well worth it to attain the true prize. Talon troopers, capture Deer, deluded Niran, and eliminate the others. Oh, Vera, has the High Queen of Vishkar really stooped so low as to work with Talon? All these schemes to take the Biolite. Have you ever tried saying please? I don't ask for what is already mine. Talon again. Hey, watch the artifacts! If I had an artifact for every time these bozos wrecked a historical site, I could open a museum. Have no fear, Palak. I won't let them hurt one hair on your lovely head. Why does Vishkar have to always hunt you? Why can't that damn corporation just let you live? Because Vishkar is rigid, smothering the world in rules and structure. But we are saplings, breaking through to face the brighter dawn. Grand words for a runaway gardener whose only accomplishment was delaying the inevitable. Do educate me, Niran. Just how will you reach that ridiculous future of yours? Oh! You'll never see it from your ivory tower, Veda. All you know how to do is cling to the same brittle order you want to force on the world. But I've sought my own truths, and I found things far greater than wealth or power. Invention, acceptance, love, and strong friends. Heads up, Forearms! You imbeciles. Now I must kill perfectly good henchmen simply because you couldn't see sense. You and your precious relics can drown and be forgotten. I'll return for the biolite when the ocean is finished with you. Dominate the Talon Sub 1. Fire every torpedo, now! Did she just deactivate the teleporter? There's debris blocking the way to the submersible. Nidan, I don't think there's any way to escape. After everything we've been through, Palak, what a pity it would be to end it here. No. We will do what we have always done in the face of challenge. We rise. Hey! The Talon guys are getting away! Let them go. We'll give them a chance to choose a better path. I suppose having compassion for your enemies is always admirable. Then it's fortunate Vishkar gives me so much practice. Nidan, I know your path is dangerous, but I want to walk it with you. If you will be my light, dear Palak, then no danger can darken our way. Another adventure fit for the history books. And I learned that even when things seem dire, there's still a future waiting to bloom. Rocked and rolled. See you soon in Overwatch.
Real men don't cry.
Oops. Is that a short? Oh, I probably just missed that one. Alright. Yeah, that's a short tutorial film. Short. I doubt the volume is very loud. Alright.
This cute little guy has the coolest dance moves.
No.
I am trans, and being trans is a huge part of who I am. The journey to realizing I am trans was a long one. I've actually only been really confident in my identity for about 2 years now. Before that was a roller coaster of doubt, guilt, and fear. I want to tell this story to let others know that it's okay to not know who you are yet, whether you're trans or not. Finding who you are and your identity is different for everyone, but all that matters is that you're happy and comfortable with who you are. Don't let others try to tell you it's wrong to be who you are. Growing up, you'd never expect me to be trans. I didn't expect it either, or know what it was, but I feel like the feeling was always there, lingering and growing. Even though I couldn't name it, I was aware of it. Socially, I had tried really hard to fit in with my gender. I would watch what they would do and try to copy it, even if I wasn't fully happy with it. But I also found myself wanting to be one of the boys. When needed, I could be the girliest girl you've ever met, but if I didn't need to be, I would rather play sports with the other boys and try to fit in with them instead. I wasn't really accepted by both groups, unfortunately. One thing I think a lot of trans people can relate to is the alienation and isolation you feel from not fitting in with everyone. I would be labeled as weird due to me not being able to fit in, as if it was just human nature, as if it was easy. It made me feel very insecure, and I developed a lot of social anxiety from it. I could feel there was a problem, but I didn't know what. When I was 11, I met someone online who I later started dating. They were the same gender as me, but I saw no problem with it. And later I found out I wasn't straight. I did some research on it and found out I was pansexual, but I also found... When I started high school, I've gotten a lot more comfortable with myself and got more out of my shell. And I feel like in high school, I really started to question my identity more. I started to realize I didn't like terms like she/her being used on me, or I didn't like being perceived as a woman. I don't feel like a woman, but I look, sounded, and presented as one. I'm not too sure how to describe it properly, but it would feel like wearing a mask, and people are only able to see the mask when I want them to see behind it. But I couldn't take the mask off. Although these feelings and thoughts were getting stronger, I still hid it away from people. I had tried testing out terms surrounding the trans umbrella, like gender fluid and bigender, but it felt like I still had to keep the option of woman being a part of my gender. I was happy using masculine or non-binary terms, but I still felt off using feminine ones. Throughout high school, I met a lot of other queer people. Being in theater club, a club where all the weird kids unite, I found a lot of people who were already well aware of who they were and were comfortable with it. It made me feel seen in a way. I had begun to become more comfortable and accepting of me liking masculine and non-binary terms, and started to tell others about it. I guess I'd assumed no one would really understand or respect my feeling, but people who care will accept you, even if you don't fully understand it or if they don't fully understand it either. And it made me happy. I was still not fully comfortable with myself though. I really wanted to understand myself, to understand the feelings I was feeling. I didn't want to just flat out say I was trans. I was extremely worried I'd be wrong. I wouldn't be accepted or I was just faking it. There had to be another explanation for my feelings being so conflicted and different from my mind and body. But it seemed like every door I tried opening to a new solution just led to the one thing I was hiding from. So I guess works with what I had. I decided to stick with the term non-binary and stick with they/them. I was content with it. It was really hard to be 100% comfortable with myself, but I didn't know what else to do. It was so hard to accept the fact that I could be full-on male to female. The thought scared me. I didn't know how my family would view me, how I would even transition into it, what name I would pick for myself, or how it would conflict with my religion. When I saw others talking about their experiences being male to female, it didn't fully align with my experience, so I believed mine wasn't good enough. However, I don't think anyone's experience is the same. Even now as I tell the story, my whole experience of being trans from my childhood to now is not like how others would describe it. But does that make my experience lesser than others? Does it invalidate my feelings? Would it invalidate others who feel similar? Before my 18th birthday, I've had enough with the back and forth of my mind and heart. I had known for quite a while now what I was hiding from, and chose to accept it. I had opened a door to the world I was so scared of before, and took a step in. Accepting a part of myself that I was rejecting was a little hard. To this day, I still believe I may just be faking this all, or that I'm lying to myself. But I also feel like I found a piece of myself that I was missing, and it felt nice to fully be put together. I have lost a lot of people due to this. I have been disrespected and made fun of due to this too. It does hurt losing people you love simply for being yourself. But I'd rather have people who love me for who I am, rather than hiding part of myself to keep people around me who don't love me. I have met so many people who accept and love me as I am, found so many people just like me, and even helped others be comfortable with who they are too. It makes me happy, and that's really all I wanted, was to be happy. To look in the mirror and be happy with who I am. Because despite everything, it's still you. You know, I've never played Undertale. Hi everyone, I'm back. I mean, I've been here, I just haven't had time to work on my videos due to work. I feel like I could have worded this video a lot better. I had rewrote this script like 50 times because all of them were like 1,000 pages long, and I didn't want this video to be so long. This was this was the best way that I could describe everything in a more like compressed way. I'm sorry if it makes no sense at all. For those wondering, I am non-binary trans mask, both being under the trans umbrella. Non-binary is an umbrella term in which someone's gender is not aligned with the traditional binary, the binary being male and female. People who use this term could feel like their gender is mixed between two or more, fluid, or not at all. In my case, it is none. Trans mask is also an umbrella term in which someone who is usually assigned female at birth identifies with the masculine gender identity and such or expresses their gender identity in a more masculine way. With the masculine gender identity and such or expresses their gender identity. Trans mask is also an umbrella term in which someone who is usually assigned female at birth identifies with the masculine gender identity and such or expresses their gender identity in a more masculine way. People who use this term don't necessarily identify as male and don't always use he/him pronouns. In my case, I do not identify as a male, and I do use he/they pronouns. A lot of umbrella terms here. I have seen a lot of comments of people asking for my gender and pronouns, so here you go. I feel like this video had made no sense at all, and I was just repeating stuff over and over again. I'm sorry. The whole trans thing is really hard for me to put into words. If you made it this far and understood anything I said in this video, thank you. On another note, my Discord server is open again. It's been on hiatus for some time, and I'm finally ready to open it back up again. The server is now 16 plus to chat, but you can still join to get updates on my videos and see posts of me drawing and stuff. For those who are younger, I'd love to see you there. And that's it. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Welcome back to Slot. Today's topic, you're probably familiar with the videos Pokemon scalpers going around these days where grown adults fight over children's cardboard. Well, this recently happened on the live stream from a streamer known as Young Fika, who regularly streams himself checking out Pokemon vending machines in hopes of finding a couple packs to open, and he regularly even gives the packs away to people waiting around. For some context, if you're not familiar with Pokemon vending machines, basically in order to combat scalpers and stop them from just emptying the entire machine, Pokemon vending machines will restock at random times during the day. But of course, because scalpers have no lives, no jobs, and everything in between, they will just camp outside the vending machine for hours on end hoping to catch a restock. Well, anyway, Young Fika walks into the store and sees 3 people loitering around the vending machine. He slides past them and manages to score 2 packs from the machine while they complain that that's for them, and one even threatens to fight him.
Oh, nice. What was that? Yeah. Why don't you test you guys? Oh, come on. It's a kid's game. Come on, chill.
Okay, we're actually sitting here. We're actually going
Jesus
to
fucking
for 10
Christ.
minutes. It gets a better refresh.
Okay. If you catch that, basically the scalpers have convinced themselves that if they leave a pack in stock on the machine for 10 minutes, when the machine refreshes next, they'll get a bit of restock and more products. They're essentially camping outside the machine, trying to stop other people from even using it. Also, you got the guy saying we're actually doing something, as if standing in line hoping for shiny cardboard to appear is something of note. This guy even inserts himself in between Fika and the machine to stop him from ordering any more, though no more packs appear. Anyway, unlucky.
Yeah, let me just get the packs and then it's all yours.
That's it, bro. You already got one.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you enjoyed that.
On his way out of the store, he told them there's people outside the machine ruling, and shortly after, they actually ended up tracking him down in the parking lot after they also managed to find his live stream.
What?
He then hands them a job application and drives off.
Here you go, bro. Everyone.
And one of them even stuck around to type in his chat saying he was scared, bullying everybody in chat a keyboard warrior and complaining that he cried to the store manager. They truly do just somehow get more pathetic every time. And at the end of the day, what sort of loser would be into collecting children's cardboard anyway? Thanks for slopping up.
Anyway. Oh fuck. Why? Why? No, don't do this to me. And
I'm going to talk about some pretty heavy topics today. Like, for example, KSI might have cancer.
KSI has cancer. Do you want to link all the gift cards down below?
If you don't want to deal with something so heart-wrenching instead, you can watch my main channel video that's out now. We put some real effort into it. There's 2D animation, 3D animation. You don't care. You probably already skipped over the video. Just please watch it. Please watch it. So, unfortunately, I do have to break the news. KSI is leaving the Sidemen. A lot of people seem to think that he has cancer for some reason. I'm not sure why. There was a scam account several years ago lying about him to fulfill a gift card giveaway. But no, this seems to be actually serious. He uploaded a video titled I'm leaving the Sidemen. And I get it, right? Like, you know, YouTube saturation. I'm going through a bit of a hard time, guys. Something's happening because I can't talk about, and the title will be incredibly catastrophic, only to realize that the video itself is just nothing. It's zero. But no, it seems that KSI is actually leaving the Sidemen, like his main group of friends. And again, when the video came out, people immediately assumed that this would be some kind of joke or prank. But if you watch the video, he is completely dead serious. So he opens up by saying that this is one of the hardest videos he's ever had to make.
This is honestly the hardest video I've ever had to make in my life. I've gone back and forth on this decision for a very long time. I've spent months trying to figure out what the right thing to do is. After a lot of thought, I've decided that I will no longer be doing Sidemen videos.
I'm going to be honest, I respect the amount of dedication the efforts put into the boxing career, his financial entrepreneurship, all of that. But at the same time, when I scrolled through his channel, I was immediately reminded of the kind of content that him and his friends made. Sidemen. It's like he's crying about it, and then it's just Sidemen last to pee.
So basically, he said that he does not have the time to make Sidemen content anymore. Obviously, he spends a lot of time reminiscing of what like him and the group ended up doing together.
The Sidemen have been such a huge part of my life, 12, 13 years. For almost half my life, the Sidemen have been my second family. We've grown up together. We've traveled the world together. We built something that none of us ever thought was possible, especially back then when we were making random videos together and playing GTA. I still remember those early days with no idea that tens of millions of people were going to be watching us on the channel.
Now, I know there's a lot of memes going on about it at the minute, but at the same time, he is genuinely tearing up. This is obviously a huge emotional thing for him, even though, again, like, I go on the Sidemen channel and I just see the last one to P wins. Like, but when the video came out, a lot of people assumed that this was like a bit or a joke. People in my chat were actually assuming that this would be some, like, you know, I'm taking a break to release another song where I attack Dan TDM. I even had in my stream a compilation of people that were just assuming who is going to replace KSI as the leader of the Sidemen.
I find it hard to make time for the people I love. I realize that something has to change. The Sidemen deserve someone who can give 100%. And right now I know I can't do that. I just want to be fair on the boys.
Who are they going to replace him with? Like Angry Ginge or like Pieface or something? Deji is replacing KSI. Oh my god, that would be the holy timeline. What are these suggestions you're saying to replace him with? Carby Lame? Are you serious? Kevin Hart? How does that make any sense? They should get Mr. Beast. Now, for some reason, not really sure why, a lot of people in the comment section were convinced that he lost an Arsenal bet in the 2026 Champions League final, and they lost the game on penalties. But again, this really isn't a bit because the Sidemen accounts actually posted a statement following his departure. Even Vicstar, renowned DJ, who's trying to currently overtake David Guetta, said himself that this is not a prank. This is actually happening, and he's leading the Sidemen entirely. And then what happened? A lot of people wanted answers, so people started to dig up this recent clip of KSI speaking at this Baller League, where he said something kind of vague, like things might change in the future, but all I'm thinking of is like myself, my family, which if anything reminds me of the fallout that KSI had with Deji, where Deji uploaded this entirely unhinged rant video on KSI. You've probably seen the one. You know, the one where he goes like, you're an idiot, you're an idiot, you're pissing me off. And even then, there was an article on the BBC from a spokesperson confirming that, yep, he's leaving. This is not a bit, it's not a prank. He is completely done with the Sidemen. But it's very obvious that, you know, he's made his money from boxing, he's made his money from Prime, anything else he does, what's the point? Like, he's made his career, he's made his multi-millions. He obviously wants to focus on his family, settle down, and just kind of move on from this kind of content. And I think a lot of people have a very difficult time getting to grips with this. Like, wait, you can't be 70 years old and still uploading? What? You want to move on? What about us? And I totally get that. I get the audience frustration, but at the same time, it's like, you can tell the guys burn out. Again, Sidemen video, last one to pee. What fucking producer came up with that video idea, man? Oh my god. No, he's crying over spills, So earlier this week, there was some bizarre news that Logan Paul apparently tore his tricep. He said that he wanted to get surgery when he was awake and not under anesthesia because he wanted to feel it all. And he was told that he had a 6-month recovery. And obviously, of course, he made sure to plug Prime. Also, the tweet of him talking about this, by the way, is tagged with Made with AI for some reason. I also really like this comment, by the way. Bro said, I want to feel everything during surgery. Like he's a Viking warrior, not a YouTuber, selling radioactive Gatorade to middle schoolers. And then the very next day, he uploaded a video talking about what happened. This was an injury during his WWE Tag Team Championship match. Right after, he's like pointing to his tricep, saying that he got his arm pinched. He goes to sit down and then basically says, guys, I think this one hang okay. No, he doesn't say that. He goes, I can't feel my muscle anymore.
Ah, man, I can feel my muscles not there anymore. Oh, it sucks.
Also, by the way, during this entire procedure of him getting his arm wrapped up, he doesn't add for his Rickets company.
I'll be honest with you, all focus right now is on making Rippet the best collectible platform in the world. Listen, I got a lot of time to build this platform, so y'all better be ready to rip some packs. Digitally, Rippet.co, we are so close to launching.
He also bizarrely shows footage of someone trying to take his WWE belt.
Taylor just said, yo, I need that.
So, Logan Paul performative? Yes. Logan Paul in thumbnail for Tube Film? Good. So, I talked about this a little while ago. There was like this Trump state fair called the Great American State Fair, and the White House announced it. There were loads of artists that were set to appear, and then pretty much all of them were like, you know what, this might be a bad idea. And leave because they dropped out one by one from either them, their manager, or them not even agreeing to play in the first place despite being announced. So, out of the 9 artists that were announced, there were only 3 that didn't drop out. This was Milli Vanilli, Flo Rida, and Vanilla Ice. So, Trump made the grand and brave announcement to say to himself, you know what, fuck this, I'm doing it myself. He said that he's bringing in the #1 attraction anywhere in the world who gets as much audience as Elvis in his prime, the GOAT, Donald J. Trump. And then the Freedom 250 Instagram account announced that Trump himself will personally kick off the American State Fair. And then their website has a list of performers. You've got... Could you get Tyboy Digital? Okay, you know what? If they put... Wait a minute. If they perform Has Been Hotel at this... So it seems that yet again, Kanye, unfortunately, is in a lot of hot water. So obviously, Kanye has really been trying to do like a comeback tour, despite his shows being cancelled in France, Switzerland, Poland, and then getting completely denied entry into the UK. He still managed to draw crowds elsewhere in the world. He performed in Istanbul's Olympic Stadium in Turkey, where he apparently broke the record for the largest stadium performance of all time, and that had over 100,000 attendees. He also scheduled to headline in the Helwat Festival in Italy as well, and that has a capacity of just over 100,000 people as well. But his and Travis Scott's shows were cancelled due to security concerns. Reportedly, this was due to the city's Jewish community. Also, anti-fascist resistance groups, trade unions, and politicians calling for Kanye's performance to be entirely cancelled. However, apparently, the festival themselves posted a statement basically saying that they're actually trying to get Kanye to appear on the show. Also, this is totally unrelated, by the way, but Kanye met Playboy Max, the streamer, had this really awkward moment where Max accidentally calls him Kanye, even though that's his name, instead of his new name, which is Ye.
Hey, but Kanye in the chat.
Fortnite. We all love Fortnite. That is until someone we don't like gets announced as a Fortnite skin, which is recently that's happened with the Burnt Peanut. So Fortnite just released their full reveal of Chapter 7 Season 3 Battle Pass, and people noticed that you can have the Burnt Peanut as a sidekick. The initial response on Twitter is just to be expected at this point, man. Epic Games and Fortnite would rather add a problematic homophobic cosmetics during Pride Month than bring back Rainbow Royale, an event that they have to yet bring back since 2024. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, he's got an entire thing called Slur Saturday. Wait, what? He has a... Why does he have a subcategory called Slur Saturday? What? And then, of course, we have the live reactions to the announcement.
Oh my god, skin.
Oh man, I hate the internet.
Why does it look like false coffee in the Backrooms film? And obviously, the amount of people on Twitter love, absolutely adore the Burnt Peanut. He's received a lot of lovely fan art, and apparently, it got so bad that a Fortnite employee ended up leaving. Just because of the amount of harassment the community gave Fortnite over the announcement of the Burnt Peanut skin. And let's also not forget that over 1,000 people got laid off from the Fortnite team. You can tell from the recent skins, it's not looking good.
Just try too hard to please everybody. Just end up not pleasing enough people. Just turn it into not just product. Hey, whatever. Whoop. Whatever. Let's check on this one. Wait, actually, put like this.
No, I did not just get out of the shower, and I didn't just walk in the rain. I am actually just this greasy. This might be the greasiest you've ever seen me. I'm like a cryptid caught on camera right now with all this oil surrounding my flesh and hair, and the stench. Let me tell you, it's a Methodist that could make a warthog puke and die. But that's not what we're really here to talk about. I can go take a shower whenever I want. It's just, I've been grinding some seeds on the gaming channel, and I had a long 4-hour session after the gym. Grinding seeds on a 4-hour session in the gym. But and now I just want to yap about something, because I once again dove down a rabbit hole that we discovered last night on stream with my Lost Media Challenge. Some of you who've been around for a while might remember. Quite a handful of years ago, I issued a public Lost Media Challenge with a bounty of 25k to anyone that could somehow recover the hundreds of videos I deleted about a decade ago. When I was a young lad, I had hundreds of Gears of War montages and 1v1s and a bunch of other gaming videos like Devil May Cry 4, some Rainbow Six Vegas, all kinds of stuff. Some of them camcordered and some of them with my Dazzle Platinum capture card. And in 2010, I made the decision to vaporize those bitches. I started deleting them, and I kept deleting apparently all up to 2012, which I didn't remember if I did them all in one fell swoop. Hundreds of videos for a variety of reasons. One, some of them I was pretty embarrassed of. They were pretty not good videos, and then others I deleted because at the time YouTube didn't have the same system it does now when it comes to copyrighted music. So people would lose their YouTube channels if you played like popular songs in them, and some of those videos had very popular music in them. So I just played safe and started deleting anything that had music in it, which was actual hundreds of videos. And I've been very regretful of it ever since. I've always wanted to see those videos again. I also had like AMVs as well. I didn't have any on this channel. It was on a separate channel, but I don't think that'll ever be found because I don't remember the name of it. But it's just videos I made when I was a kid that I'd really like to be able to look back on and see. So I issued that challenge to anyone that could somehow recover them. But even though there was a big effort to try, it was ultimately a failure. It's impossible. Not even YouTube can recover any of those videos. So I assumed it's just been a dead end for years. But actually, there's been a massive discovery in regards to recovering lost media, where a big glitch has actually been found. And I learned about it last night on stream, and there's a very real, actually pretty decent chance that anyone that watched those videos back in 2010 all the way up to 2012 may still have them on their computer without even knowing, because Flash, RIP Flash by the way, that's 6 feet under, that's in Valhalla now. Flash had a problem, or not even really a problem, had an oversight where it would actually store these videos if you would ever watch them at all. I'm going to show you the video that goes over it in detail in the tutorial on how you can access them, as well as I went down a very nostalgic trip through memory lane last night on stream, so I'll show you all of that, going over some of the old videos and such. But to fast forward, there is a way to access those videos that have been stored on Flash, even if it's been 18 years since you watched it if you're on the same computer. It's pretty fucking wild. So if anyone's been around the channel for over a decade and you've watched any of those like old Gears of War videos of mine from back in the day that I deleted 15, 16 years ago, you might be able to recover all those videos and get yourself a nice paycheck here, because I will still obviously honor this $25,000 bounty for recovering these videos. That's for the entire team Google. What I've been doing for like the community that's still actively hunting them is I've been giving them like pieces of it for finding like thumbnails and data and stuff like that. But like recovering videos, I'll probably do it like on a per video basis, because I imagine it'd be very unlikely someone has all fucking 300 to 400 however many it was that I deleted back then. But if you do, you get the whole 25k, but I imagine that probably won't be the case. So it'll be like depending on how many videos are recovered this way. Anyway, so go ahead and show you what it is. It's extremely fascinating. Even if you've never watched any of those, I think it's very interesting to watch and learn about anyway in the description. I'll the same video. There's the one in your DM links to the same thing.
In 2018, a small group of data scientists came across a list of 100 million YouTube videos that was made back in 2010. Taking the opportunity to study how YouTube videos rose and fell over the years, they wrote a script to go through them automatically, but quickly noticed an unfortunate pattern starting to form. If you've never found yourself trailing a faint memory of a YouTube video from 15 years ago, consider yourself lucky, because 50% of those videos were deleted.
God, it's such a shame.
There are still people out there who are determined to give you options. The Wayback Machine, with their damn near infinite determination and storage, managed to recover 5% of these deleted videos. Absurd in the grand scheme of things, but realistically not making much of a dent. So when a deleted video pops back in your mind a decade later, maybe even growing in infamy to the point where searching forms, there are usually only 3 avenues to take. The Wayback Machine, like I said earlier, are re-upload or contacting the person who uploaded it. When all of these routes fail, that's usually when these sorts of cases are considered cold. One search got too big to stop there. That's when the meta started to shift. This is Super Mario 64 Big Star Secret. Back in the late 2000s to early 2010s, this video posted up as a tutorial.
Wait, so does this explain? I mean, it must explain the glitch. Is this how they found it? Is trying to find this one particular thing, the Big Star? So it's crazy how much ties back to Super Mario 64. Like the fucking Vertasium video and stuff with like the sun and everything. It's incredible how much gets tracked back to Super Mario 64 in particular. Unbelievable.
Unlock some vague dark secret in Super Mario 64. Most people given the culture at the time thought this was going to unlock Luigi. Over 700,000 people tried to keep up with this ridiculous, unorthodox tutorial where Mario's blue and every text box is swearing at you, but right in time for the grand reveal, this video pops up.
Oh, classic.
Videos that incite a riot in the comment section don't tend to stay up for long. Not to mention the audio being swapped up to some happy-go-lucky EDM and the jump scare being needed along with it. The whole thing got turned into a bit of a hospital for himself. So for 100 different reasons, it got wiped out by the end of 2011. But anyone who's been faked up by fake tutorial or fake game trailer or entirely fake game knows that those things stick with you. So in 2020, everyone decided that a decent subset of those 100,000 viewers started thinking back to the first time they got jump scared. And every single one ended up in the same forums writing news with the same sentiment. They couldn't find it. One witness in particular, one with the background video production, started tracking down all these users to make a short password project about this jump scare video. And through some ridiculous source of fate, people found it interesting. So interesting, in fact, that the founder of the last video wiki took the opportunity to kick off a community research for it and its multi-thousand member Discord server. Things started to move fast. Someone found the title, then the uploader. They managed to track it down on PSN and other places. Using the Discord server.
Super Mario 64 Big Star from Lotus Man. So they found a screenshot of it and then reached out to them through the PlayStation Network. Jesus, the last video is crazy. That's so deep.
The internet archived in a year. Within 2 months, the hunt was clear. Okay, so all 3 routes failed. Next, in the late 2010s, Adobe announced that they'd be killing out Flash Player by the end of 2020.
Such a shame. Such a shame.
Ultimately, Husk for himself, and Adobe chose a new direction. One Flash developer, Blue Maximum, realized you only had a couple years to help run the store. So be free to Flash project to preserve as many Flash animations, games, and websites as possible. Use the same formula that most online.
Sunny 2, a classic. Oh, I got a banger there.
Their growing popularity gave them an advantage. So when you visit the website and the page has a load of other file like an image of the or a Flash game, you rather temporarily store that in an area that most people call the cache. For the next few days or so, whenever you visit that website again, you might notice it loading a hell of a lot faster because everything needs is already on your computer. The developers of Flashpoint knew this better than anybody. Armed with a list of long lost Flash games, they pioneered a new outlandish technique to find your. If someone played one of these side games and managed to leave their computer alone just enough for the files not to delete, that game would be sitting in the cache. Everyone was like years ago. If they could get the first to any subset of a huge audience, then they might be able to find one. So they worked in.
They're basically tracking echoes. They're literally hunting like the ghost of the machine. So this is what Archive was telling me. The reason why this falls into like the Lost Media Challenge I issued 6 years ago now, finding like hundreds of videos I deleted back in 2010 is because if anyone from back in 2010 watched those and I guess kept it around long enough, you can still access that data, which is what this all ties into. So there is somewhat of a glimmer of hope that the old videos from back in 2010 that I banished the shadow realm are recoverable.
By the end of the crime, when Flash was finally dead and buried, the results showed for themselves. Out of the list of 32 lost games, Flashpoint had found 6 of them. Naturally, the people looking for Big Star Secret ended up hearing about the miraculous launch of only one video on their mind and no large audience to check. The consensus came
Didn't someone try to scam me by saying they found one video? That was a really good scam though. Legit, that one was a diabolical scheme. Yeah, there was some ne'er-do-well who, when I did the Lost Media Challenge, heard how I described one of the videos as well as the title of one of the videos, and he recreated it with like a camcorder on his own Halo system, on his own system to make a Halo video to make it look like mine. So I thought I was seeing my old videos until I noticed that the names were wrong. It was really smart. It was so brainy I couldn't quite see the names. So for a while, I almost bought into it. Actually, almost got scammed the second time I shut it down. True, and the archive protected me from that apparently. Yeah, Archive like my guardian angel on this Lost Media journey.
It's impossible. So that video past design was doomed to sit with hundreds of other equally unimportant Lost videos for the rest of the time. That was until 4 years later. One searcher, after exhausting every other option, decided to check back in with an old computer from 2011 just to see if he had
any. And actually, think about that now, it's even work for him because he really did go through a lot of effort. He had to play the game the same map and like do the theater mode the same way I described it, and he had to put in the same music. And it really was pretty impressive actually. Like I can't even be mad at it.
That's when he realized something strange. In a hidden folder meant for temporary storage, he found 50 very large files with seemingly random names. After further investigation, he realized that these were all videos spaced out over the course of 2 years. Now you have to back a little bit of the video what's going on. Whenever you watch a YouTube video back then, the video will be copied to 2 places: the browser cache and Flash cache. The browser keeps track of everything in its cache, so there's very little that can stop it from clearing. But Flash Player only keeps track of what makes a single session from startup to shutdown. Here's the issue with that. Shutting down through the menu is fine, but if your computer is shut off in any other way, like holding the physical power button, pulling the plug, or having a power outage, Flash Player will forget to delete a copy of the video.
That's so cool.
We're showing what the fuck? This is not off the table. So a small team for them will contact everyone who's seen the video. Some managed to pull up tens, if not hundreds of videos using the newly coined cache method, but none were the marks here. And they have 25 hours. One witness was pulled out of the comment section with an interesting anecdote. This was 1 million accounts. Shutting down is one thing, but it's more likely than not someone who didn't grow up with or around computers would rely on intuition to turn out, or more specifically by using the physical power button. This could be it.
It's just like it's raw drive, raw drives. There was a raw drive.
The hard drive was corrupted, 0 bytes were able to do it, and top 5 would do it. 10%, and 40 seconds later, like, guys, this is it. This is full, unfiltered footage of Super Mario 64 Big Secret.
We got it!
Go! The last video with Peter was checking through his old browser cache as Adobe activity, not having the video on his mind, and found it. Unfortunately, he clicked off early, couldn't have the video off, but the interesting thing about this is that he clicked off. He closed the tab, there was no shutdown, stopped the doing so. How did he have it? This is where the scene completely falls apart. Peter had 5,000 videos sitting on his hard drive uncleared for 17 years.
Oh my god, the
code! His browser was broken. Everything that you ever seen on the internet, every image, every video, every game, every little soundbite was all there. The index file that kept track of everything. The only thing that could mark all those videos for deletion was gone. So logically, everyone ran a Flashpoint to see if anything.
Holy shit, this guy's got the Library of Alexandria. He's the chosen one. His Midichlorian count is something we've never seen before.
And they had it, but that's not to say it was uncommon. The standard, universally accepted program that Flashpoint used to check people's cache relied on that missing index file. If someone with Peter's blood ran their square, it would say they have nothing in their cache period. And you might jump to say that their chances could have been better based on how new about this, but this whole conversation led to another revelation. When Flashpoint as a whole uncovered 6 games for internet cache, this was not from 10,000 creators. I'm sure you've seen that, but it didn't even touch the thousands. In fact, the amount of people who checked in with Flashpoint, the total number of people who went out of their way to see if they had anything important in their cache did not exceed the double digits. Peter's glitch was far from the only thing that could stop cache clearing. The reason that so few pieces of lost media haven't found their cache is not inherently because it's unlikely, it's because people think it's unlikely. So let's really try to put these odds into perspective. Peter is one of the admittedly few people out there who would know where to find their cache, how to interpret it, and how to find YouTube videos. Not only that, but these traits would also have to overlap with him being aware of this relatively niche lost media. Because to be clear, Peter did not remember watching the video. The way all these odds line up for one of the most prized YouTube videos of all time is almost too good to be true, to the point where it's clear to me that this isn't as much of a miracle as we might think. If cache recovery as a concept could be justified to a mainstream audience, the amount of stuff that could get found is frankly ridiculous. So this video is ultimately a call to action.
It's so cool.
Search your cache for you, frame by frame analysis against the
Oh, look at Gears of War videos in there. What the fuck? That's so classic. That goes crazy. Who's I wonder. Never mind. Imagine these are just mine. This dude's got my old gear shit that I deleted. The main thing I've been trying to relocate for the last 60 years. I deleted this shit back when I was like 15.
Or 500 lost YouTube videos that were deleted as late as 2021. If you had a look at your, if you had an audience that might be interested in this kind of stuff, please consider reviewing this. This is a huge number of people's last chance and there's money on the line.
Oh my god, legitimately, he might be flipping through some of my videos. I made so, that's literally my video, by the way. Devil May Cry 4 boss battle number 6. That's one of mine. I did a boss battle video for every Devil May Cry 4 boss. Yeah, I gave him these. Okay, thank you. That makes sense. This is absolutely just some of my old shit when I was like 12. I was gonna say. It's crazy. I still recognize the thumbnails.
The line. I spent hundreds of hours.
Yeah, these are literally all these are mine. Okay, that makes so much more sense. So, great from guys. These are the videos. You were able to find the thumbnails plus the titles, right? Yes, thumbnails and titles. Okay, I thought so. That's so fucking cool. Oh my god, I was doing Army of 2 achievement, guys. Did that video already have 41K views? That would have been one of my most viewed videos. Holy shit. Is that accurate to the time period? The mission was getting like 100, 200 normally, what I remember. Yeah, I went through so much data to get this right. That's fucking crazy. That shit must have popped off at some point. I don't remember that. The one I remember, like the first video I had that actually did numbers was Halo 3 Hayabusa armor tutorial. That was the first video I ever made 200,000 views, and then YouTube did it because it used Il Nino when it cuts. So I had to change the music out. I don't know why I changed it to. It ruined the video because then the second half is all completely empty. In terms of audio, just quiet silence. 100. Oh god, this had almost 100K. No way. There's no way. There's no way. Call of Duty 4 on top of the map block tutorial old school. You're telling me that had almost 100K views at the time of deletion? It did with the archives and data to back it up. What the fuck? Wow, man, I must have been like really on some shit back when I deleted these. Do you know when I deleted them? Like the year archive, it was 2010, right? It was 2010 to 2011. Because the reason I did it was one, some of them out of embarrassment because a few of them were quite cringe, and two, I used copyrighted music at the time. There wasn't a strike system, so I had friends that would upload montages. If the song got hit, they just lose the channel. So I didn't want to take that risk. So at the time, just after the Ray William Johnson thing happened, I went through and just fucking wiped it. It was over 2010 and 2012. You did it in batches. We were able to figure out the dates by looking at archives on your social blade page. You can see the deleted. Wow, that's super interesting. I thought I did it in like one fell swoop. I don't remember doing it in batches. That's so interesting. Man, I didn't know this shit was cooking either. Stranglehold final level, so good. 23K. I see the Foundry ones there.
Please consider reviewing this. It's a huge number of people's last chance and there's money on the line.
I think the bounty is still live, by the way. I'm still fully open to honoring the bounty I placed 6 years ago, whatever it was. So right there, there's money on it. If somehow anyone had any of this cash back in the day, absolutely, that's definitely still honoring that bounty on it. Was that Rainbow Six Vegas? Yeah, Rainbow Six Vegas 2 glitches, secret room on 3 Kings Casino, baby. That was the chaotic glitchers era. I tried to make my own glitching plan, but no one wanted to join, so it was legitimately just me. I really tried to make that brand take off. And the glitches that I find were fucking awful. So the secret room here, Fiber Right was literally just included in one of the walls, like so fucking cool. $50, nice. No, it's the Warriors Olympics leading. The bounty I put up, I think it was for 2020K, right? For the whole thing to go to find videos. That right there is about the thumbnails. I paid out 50 because I found my thumbnails. Is what it was. So like getting the actual videos is like the big bounty. I think that's what it was. It's been a while since I issued that. I thought for sure this was dead in the water. Holy fuck, man, this is so cool. It's been Call of Duty 4 glitches, bomb walk glitch plus tutorial. Oh my god, this one was such ass. This one I didn't find though. That one I just slapped the chaotic glitchers logo on. Gears of War jetpack tutorial, standby live switch. That was big time game. Edited in Pixel Studio by the way, with the Battle Platinum capture card. Outside Foundry, I remember I found that one. Oh, some of the montages. I didn't remember deleting this one. I thought this one still up. This one has Red Hide. I think is the song I set this one to. Oh, on top of pipeline. This one is Intershikari Time for Plan B is the music I used for it. No, I remember all of this shit so clearly. It has been 18 years. Yeah, 18 years since I made these. I still recognize the thumbnails. I still remember the music I used in them. And this shit popped at some point, bro. I remember I was making those. Like 100 or 200 at the time. No, I made these back in 08, 2007, 2008, and I kind of took a break in 2009. I went more into montages. I lose them. I delete them. They just like vanish. Oh, this is so fucking hype. There's actually a chance. My first Gears of War 2 montage, no bots. I didn't remember deleting this. It's also not still up. I'm pretty sure this is the one that I set to Scars Remain by Disciple, or this might have been a pillar one. I remember all the. I really thought that a couple of these actually were still up. The first Gears of War 2 sniper montage, no bots. The first Gears of War montage. See, these are I remember 555. I think maybe what happened is after the Ray William Johnson thing, maybe there was like this big boom going to like old shit. Like, oh, what else did they do? They watched fucking Call of Duty 4 on top of block, right? Just glitch out of the map and sit there listening to metal music. That must have been what happened. I just never noticed. Like 1000%. Like this was on the higher end of things I used to see. Maybe the radio with the last videos. Yeah, toss it over. The second Gears of War 2 montage, nice. Oh, the blind fire montage. I was so proud of this one. I put so much editing into this. This one I remember is set to Dance Gavin Dance Living Ring Time. I put a lot of effort into that one. I don't remember this one super well. My 7th Gears of War sniper montage. Can I cook though? Okay, my 8th one. Zero on the come up. They always say you're hitting your peak montage when you're in your 8th year. 8th bout. Oh, this was the trailer I made for it. Oh yeah, this was a big deal. When I was getting the 8th one cooked up, you know I had to drop the teaser for it. It's like a Modern Warfare 4 reveal. That shit was the Avengers Doomsday of Gears of War. I had to let them know. You made a trailer for your own montage. You bet you sweet the idea. People had marked on their calendar, but I had to know right around the corner. Sleep in fear. Don't play rank. You don't want to go in Gears of War rank. I'm working on my 8th sniper montage. It's not safe. Where'd you send it? Here's thank you. Hold up, just a second, I'll finish the video.
I analyze hundreds of possible edge cases where potentially break. If this doesn't work, then I genuinely don't know what will. If you have any last
video. So my Halo 3 glitch videos in there. Halo 3 glitch kills also kills were amazing. This one was set to Chevelle's the clincher. God, some of these are so, oh my lord. I haven't thought about some of these in so long. This one is by far the probably worst video I ever made in my life. Halo 3 glitches on top of cannon on the Arc tutorial. I actually referenced this when I recently went through my Halo marathon on the gaming channel. Halo 3 on the Arc. In the very beginning, there's these two big cannons that are inaccessible. They're really just too big. And I found a way to get on top. Only it turns out like the actual talented glitchers were way ahead of me. They weren't just getting on top of these. They were getting on top of like the entire map and going beam to beam. So I was over here like in the fucking Weenie Junior Titty pool, like celebrating getting on top of this fucking cannon through my methodology, which was brain dead. I set this one to a song called Inhale by Edgewater. I remember that. Oh my god, this is so cool.
I genuinely don't know what will. If you have any last videos you want the programs for, you can submit them on the website. You know, this is your last chance too.
Huge banger video from Syndex Mon. So what you have to do is just the cache scanner on the GitHub. Okay, let me pull up the index now. I want to see some of the other old videos and metrics. I've been watching here like an OG viewer, and you might have some of these old videos. The bounty is still live, like 20K if you get the videos, so that could be a good payday. It's unbelievable that there's still a chance that the lost media challenge could be completed here all these years later. But anyone who's been watching for 18 years, great opportunity for you. This is big. We gotta get the GitHub, I guess, the cache search, how that goes. So all the way to 2012. Okay, so I guess it 18 years, it could be 14-ish years since I deleted the batches apparently, which news to me. Oh my god, you know what my channel was for? Holy shit. You got the data on for the rappers that I was uploading. So before I started uploading my own content, I was taking unsigned rappers and posting their music into my channel. Oh my god, this is huge. I thought it was gonna be like the next big label. Holy fuck. I did all of them. I posted one of Soulja Boy's earliest works, report card. This is all of them. I remember I'm fresh though. These are all known videos. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Fuck, that's so cool. This music video. This one's been found, right? This one I think this one's out there. I'm pretty sure this one is set to I'm fresh, isn't it? Oh, this one I think they did find a piece of it. It's right here. It's linked. I think I put this up on stream or something too. Yeah. Oh yeah. What is it? Vintage YouTube video. I was cooking. Even had the cats. Yeah, 2007. I would have been 12 years old when I uploaded that. That's June. I turned 13 in August, and I grew up. I turned 13. I said, no more of this pussy shit. No more of this baby stuff with like memes set to unsigned rappers music. So I went making my Gears of War videos. We don't have the earliest ones, unfortunately. So it looks like those haven't been able to be found. But I went into camcorder Gears of War videos. So I had a couple of those as well as like Rainbow Six Vegas. I was making camcorder montages. I really hope that this actually works with the cache. It looks like you don't have the data on those. Those are looking pristine though. The camcorder I set up on a little step stool with my parents, and I would record it. And you can hear me talking. And I'm genuinely a toddler, so I'd be talking shit when people were talking shit to me. It was vintage shit talking back in the day. I was active on comms. So like somebody was insulting me like you're calling a bitch like an 11-year-old. And I remember it was on Fuel Depot. I had like a nice play. I popped in. I was like, yeah, how's that for an 11-year-old now or something like that. Oh man, I wish we had this. Sorry, I wish we had those in here. That was my separate one drink. You know, these views are more accurate to what they were at the time from what I recall. 339. That's what the Gears community was like at. It definitely wasn't up in here.
genuinely think that was probably like after Ray William Johnson, what must have happened, people went back and checked the shit. So like 28K on this, that definitely wasn't how it was. That's 1,000% where that came from. I wonder what happened to some of these rappers though. Anyone know about Epic, aka EP, or Kid Tel? They blow up? Are they on the scene by any chance? J. Cole's old name, imagine. The only one that blew up from the rappers that I was uploading from was Soulja Boy. Oh, whoa, baby. I remember I used to start uploading some of my friend's stuff too. There should be Dark Venom in here as well, so Cruel Data, Dark Venom. Yep, there's Dark Venom. Description. My friend Dark Venom did some cool crap. Damn, I was dialed in, bro. I was dialed in. Oh, it's Guitar Hero. Okay, I don't think I played much Guitar Hero though. It was never very good. I remember I tried the document the Halloween event, Halo 3, Halloween Maryland Manson description. This is cool. Enjoy the video. This one was pretty big for me at the time. The Incredible Double Splatter, aka Ninja Warthog. Back in the early days of YouTube, they experimented with something called What's Being Watched Now. It was on the front page of YouTube, and we were on the homepage. It was this infinitely changing, constantly scrolling ticker of what was being watched by anyone on the platform. And this actually, for some reason, became like a bit of a phenom up there. And it actually had like a place that people were watching constantly through that. So I kept seeing it up there on the homepage. I was thrilled because actually, like, these views probably were accurate at the time. It blew up the video. This was back when YouTube had like the most viewed for the day, the most viewed for the hour, stuff like that. They also tried what's being viewed right now, like the current one. And here's the block one, and that shit popped up. So I claimed ownership of it as well. I found this glitch. It's really easy to do. Okay, cool. Yep, here's the bomb walk. Yeah, I did not find this glitch, but enjoy the video. Hope the tutorial helps. Oh man, this is cool. Oh, did you not find any of my old 1v1s or 2v2s in Gears of War? That's where the bulk of my deleted videos come from, by the way. I had basically daily, sometimes multiple posts a day of 1v1s in Gears of War, as well as 2v2s. So I was constantly doing these with people like It's Milkbone, No Lungs, Remix. Like I was doing these every fucking day. It was such like a hostile, like back and forth environment. I was always uploading. It had to be like 200. You couldn't find any thumbnails or anything for it. That's crazy. That was the bulk of my deleted videos. My brother swears he 1v1 in Gears of War years ago. He probably did, but I was 1v1 your fucking people at some point. I was actually taking any old scrub off the streets and beating their ass on canal and uploading on the channel. I was actually 1v1 anyone with a pulse. I remember going through some of the older videos back then after watching commentary with popular ads and let's plays. Hey, pick it up and see if you have any videos cached. Big payday for lost media challenge. If you've gotten to win those 1v1s. Yeah, but even posted my losses too. So one of the big things that came for some reason like code of honor in the sniping community on Gears of War was if you only post your wins, people clown on you because you're like hiding from your losses. So I also posted all my losses as well. But I had like a positive win-loss ratio. I was kind of a monster out there. This one's a little outdated. This is better for visual. The second sheet I said you had more videos like the 1v1s. Oh, okay, cool. You're that. Oh, yeah, here we go. Where's some of the 1v1s? Oh, here's some of the glitches down here. I should get one up as well just so I can see the thumbnails on some of these. Not that one. That's also not that one. How did I just lose that? Let's reopen it. Where were we? Here we go. Okay, where's some of the 1v1? Oh, here's some of my Devil May Cry videos. Do you find all the boss battle videos? Did you find any of the Dante Must Die stuff I uploaded? That's a shame. Turok Serpent Battle. This is to help people who are having trouble defeating the serpent. I don't know how many people are struggling with the serpent battle in Turok. I'm gonna be honest. Hopefully I was of service. Okay, here's a little something. Devil May Cry 4 Nero vs. Toad, Sparta. Okay, so you got like one here. Oh, my 400 subscriber celebration video. Let's go. It looks like what you didn't find is the video I posted like a week or two after this where I had a call to arms. If you weren't interacting with my videos, please unsubscribe. So big thing back in the Gears of War community was if you had more subscribers than views, you got clowned on. So I was posting my 1v1. So like here you have me versus Killer Kill 76. Holy shit, Killer Kill 76. What a fucking name. Jesus Christ, that's turtle gamer. Back in the day, if you had more subscribers than views. What happened to the Gears of War community would endlessly fucking clown you on it. So like, well, please, if you're not watching the 1v1, get out. Get out. Something out. I posted the whole video like, get the fuck out. Not with my actual voice. I was literally 12, but like text. So here's me versus Killer Kill 76, and here's me and Gak Colossus doing somebody. Like, these are the only two you're able to find. I had hundreds. Fuck, I would love to see some of the old names in there. I wonder where they all are. Some of the people in the Gears of War community are still active. Like they still transition into the modern age. Like they're still out there streaming, creating stuff like that. Here's another one. This is me versus Sooners 18, XX Sooners 18XX. Yeah, but this is where I would stop doing it. When Gears of War 2 came out, I stopped doing 1v1s for the most part. And all the stuff out there. Good list though. Here's all the writing sources. Oh, nice. Oh, for the dead links and stuff. Fire. Oh, that's so cool, man. I really hope that somehow this cache strategy works out. Even not for my lost videos, just for some like classic lost media. That is extremely exciting. Here's the high chance. All 108 are in there. Here's hoping. That's not all of them, but if we can recover 108, I'm a happy camper. God, I wish we could find fucking 1v1s and 2v2s. I use such good music in those two.
My generation was the first generation to really grow up with real games. Counter-Strike Running Offense, witness hate crimes and Call of Duty lobbies. Sinking 1,000 hours into a game called Big Bass Fishing because you that found in this town. It's actually really good. You see how to grow up, right? I witnessed this thing I love playing. Go through a transformation. It's with this monumental growth. There's been some incredible things and some less incredible things.
Those games might not be as harmless as you think they are when it comes to Cyberpunk 2077 refund. Other costs of driving, use GPUs to go up. AI data centers are eating not just the RAM, they're eating storage, they're eating PCB projects, like literally eating everything out there, right? And all this can sometimes be a bit depressing. There's loads of videos going through the coin, and it can be kind of confusing. Why is this happening? By the end of this video, it all makes much more sense. Once you understand the market mechanics that are creating these outcomes, and you might feel a little more hopeful, as gamers aren't just sitting back and letting the thing they love die. They are actively organising and fighting back. So today we will explore what went wrong with game. Come on in, it's almost another world here in the video arcades of America. A billion games are played every month. A quarter each for Escape, which can last a long time if you're skilled.
Okay, so when you analyse any industry, it's films, it's fashion, it's really important to understand how the financial incentives of that industry shape the final product that you get. In the early days of gaming, it was all arcades, right? In the 70s, the only people who could afford to pay for video games were the arcade owners. The technology was young, the machines were expensive, they buy these machines and put it in arcade. And it's not most kids run all over them and smack their quids in. So what that gives us is a economic model called pay to play. And pay to play creates a very specific type of game, Tetris, Pac-Man, Street Fighter. These like short, fun, very competitive games and very addictive. They're built on basically giving you just enough of the game to get away. Oh, this is fun and bang, you're dead. We see a big with the rise of home consoles where this dynamic would completely change. We go from pay to play to pay to game ownership changed everything, right? Because now game developers would directly market towards those not those kids. You reach out control all you want, but just keep buying games. In this context, we have to keep going down the machine every few minutes. It creates space and incentive to make games are richer in story, characters, ideas, mechanics. Because effectively, if someone's really great game, he's going to tell his bikes, and that's going to end up on Christmas wishes. And that's the market logic of the game industry from the 80s until into 2000. I know people got on the way, but buying market is absolute abuse. We go from Super Mario Bros, Legend of Zelda, Sonic the Hedgehog, the rise of PC gaming, Half-Life 2, Quake, Counter-Strike 1.6, with some reason I have no idea why. But basically, games got better, the market grew. More people heard about them, went to their friends' house, paid them, and then went to buy their own consoles. So with that, money came flooding in, investment came flooding. All this money, developers go, what can we do with it? Let's just make the consoles better. Invest in technology, better graphics, big budgets for big games. Now we get robots, Transformers, Crash Bandicoot, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and just keep going. And these games just feel big, they feel enormous. So much characters, so much life, Archon Rose, like we damage our brains in those. Basic, right? So all this was happening down in the deep dark depths of parents' basements through the mist of Doritos dust and the stench of urine balls and corn. Slowly, by brand new economic model rights, pay taxes.
Beyond the gates of mighty kingdoms lies a vast, unexplored world. The world of Warcraft.
So this game, right? So we up to midnight and saying Pokemon on release day, and holding the physical game and you hold it, you own it forever. World of Warcraft is quite like that. Now you pay the money every month for subscription to access. And if you stop paying, then you stop paying. Like, this was fair, right? Because most games, RPGs, they required far more infrastructure. They needed online servers that were physically based in a location. These are like massive machines. They cost money to run. You need to moderate the games. You need to update, you need to fix things. The games were an ongoing service, so obviously paying ongoing was fair. It made sense. But you see, that makes a fucking shitload of money. My God, that's big, right? World of Warcraft, around 2010, 2011, they had roughly 12 million monthly players, which roughly works out to about 2 billion a year in revenue from a single game a year. And you just stress that a year. This isn't just a one-off spike on release day, which then dies down. That is, it just keeps coming. Lifetime sales of World of Warcraft here is estimated around about 15 billion US dollars. So if we compare that to other games at zero, if we look at Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which came out in 2007, which was a massive hit relative, that only made $716 million for its lifetime. By 2016, World of Warcraft had clocked more lifetime revenue than every other major game, becoming the most profitable game ever. A few older arcade titles costs. In 2012, WoW's yearly revenue was third on the most profitable titles list, outpacing games that had been released that year. Remember, this is a game in 2004 technology. And let's look at this list, right? This list is very important. If you understand the modern game we're in right now, this list of games that are most profitable, tell you everything you need to know. Very easy to recognize. FIFA, Borderlands, makes sense. What the piss is Crossfire? Now we're going to fly over 2010s when South Korea and China just flying between these nations are relative to Europe and West, majors a lot, and like Western consoles, the Xbox, so these are quite too expensive. The only one still have it. What we're seeing was more PC cafes. You see, over there, video game piracy was massive. Like, instead of fighting the losing battle, which is trying to stop piracy, the market just wouldn't have the money to pay for £40 new releases. 50 Korean companies come along, Nixon and NC Soft, and they started to develop a new economic model. Don't fucking worry about piracy. Give them the game for free, but then allow players to buy cash in the game, and then spend the money in game on cosmetics, character customization, advantages in the game, and like in-game item lotteries, microtransactions. You need to understand about the free-to-play monetization. It's like, you don't expect everyone who plays the game to spend money in the game. They understand what you want. They rely on what's called the wheel, not the way on. So that was like a high-spending player. These players can spend genuinely thousands to hundreds of thousands. They spend so much money on random bullshit in a video game that it subsidizes the whole game for everyone else. This is a strategy that's borrowed from, you guessed it, the gambling industry.
This game is a Star Wars themed online casino designed to rotate things spending money, etc.
Do you see these free games pop up? Lineage 2, Crossfire, games that no one in the West has fucking heard of. And they make so much money, they blow these Western games out of the water. Like in 2016, Crossfire, which is a game that looks like this, its lifetime revenue was $6.8 billion. Lineage 2 was $5.74 billion. For comparison, FIFA in 2014, its lifetime revenue was $6 billion. Halo was over $5 billion in 2015. So you might be like, I get the money, some money, but why are they so good at making money? How do they make so much money? Well, the reason is very simple, friends. It comes down to a little thing called behavioral science. One of the very underestimated parts of behavioral mechanisms in video games. Games have become like social spaces. It's a space where young people spend considerable amount of their interacting with their friends on. So in this environment, where your friends are giving you like cosmetic items on your character become a way of signaling status or expressing your cool individual personality. I know that might sound weird. Like I play video games, have skins, and I really want to think about it. You have to bear in mind, this is just a new iteration of what's always been done. When I was young, it was about owning that as a whip. If you owned that bad way, you would have some questions. You decided to play football and win.
Oh my god! Oh, a fucking whip! He has a fucking whip!
If you got a little bit further back, it was about who owned the Pokemon edition of the game. Or like, I'm sure if you go further back when kids were working in the mines who had the money trying to pickaxe. So now what these games do is make it so that your ability to get these items are structured in psychologically manipulating ways. They implement a thing called variable rewards. For things like loot crates where you have a chance of winning. Most of the time you get a shit skin. Every now and then you might get the rare one. Maybe then your friends might expect you.
Default losers.
And this too is well documented. From the skill box experiments and work done since. Basically, I'm just got a wrap, burn a box. If the rat clicks a button, he gets some food, get a reward food, clicks it, gets it, he's happy. And then he stops, right? Because he gets the reward every time he clicks a button. So he does so until he's satisfied and comfortable. However, if he hits that button, doesn't get rewards. And then it does get rewards. The anticipation, not knowing when that button gives the rewards, basically will lead the rat to click it until they sort of kill themselves. But keep clicking things out. So what these games do, configuring well-known behavioral mechanics are using the gambling industry into what was basically a low-resolution, shitty couch 1.6 rip-off and turned it into one of the most profitable games of all time. So you got yourself right in the shoes of the executives of these big Western gaming developers. They're looking at their beautiful polished straight wow, and then they see Crossfire 2. They turn to each other and they say, what the fuck are we doing? By late 2000s, early 2010s, and Spyro the Banks, Far Cry, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 2, they didn't come out right. They didn't show the local well played. Like some of the most beloved games came out in that period. My God, it's fucking sweet. I was there, I was playing those. It's come out so free time. Like studios in this time, they were taking risks. They were kind of new, hate them, IP, new ideas, new franchises, new characters, new worlds. Right? They were experimenting, and they had the money, the resources, and time to experiment. And they got like in this time, it's optimism. You can see it. You have the technology to improve the new consoles. The whole industry is in this euphoria. Like back then, we were typing Xbox 720, and we believe that the next generation console will have a controller with extra controls. I guess supposedly people use those on top of it with. Last night we were so spoiled in that period of time. Basically, in making games bigger, more immersive, bigger budgets, new technologies, it does something to the gaming industry and the culture of producing games themselves. Game development teams, games like ragtag band of nerdy neckbeards, and they would just basically throw a load of money and told crack on that, make something amazing. But then, right, from their hard work and their creations, a serious money starts flowing, and serious investments. So too is management, boardrooms, spreadsheets. The horse riding game is good. I get it. Could we add cars so we could get the motor race audience? You know, Need for Speed was pretty big. And we want to capture that corner market, so we're going to need that by Friday. I'm going to myself a little All this growth comes expectations. For 2000s, right, the company EA it expanded aggressively. Buying out studios, consolidating the best talent, it buys out massive franchises, and they start to apply pressure on the developers. And very quickly, with all this resource, they start to make annualized releases of games every year. New game, and this becomes the industry norm. Franchises like FIFA and Madden NFL, they get pumped out yearly with barely any change in lights and mechanics, just like in that one. That's okay with sport, I guess, when the team changes, etc. But then they start doing it with beloved franchises like Call of Duty, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Battlefield. They start expecting these game developers that create these masterpieces to do it again basically every single year. The reason they do this is because of risk management. They put a ton of work in to make these titles well known and build a loyal fan base. To make new products and new ideas requires a risk. You have to do it again, it might not work. So the big money starts saying, let's do another sequel, reboot, revamp. And EA rebring about major turning point in 2009 when they launched FIFA's Ultimate Team. Hi there, and welcome to FIFA 09 Ultimate Team, a brand new game that allows you to play football like never before. The new game lets you build, train, and manage your Ultimate Team by buying packs to trade online with thousands of other gamers. This was an in-game lottery where you buy with real money packs, you open the bag, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Yes, they win microtransactions. They roll this all out for most of the franchises. And like you wish, it didn't work, but obviously it worked disgustingly well. 2016, the EA CFO Blake Jorgensen, he said the Ultimate Team modes were making around about $650 million a year. Just like, okay, bear in mind, Ultimate Teams is a very low-effort mini-game inside of a game you didn't have to even touch. It wasn't a full game, it was just a mini casino inside of a big game. And that mini casino brought in more money in the same year than Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which went $591 million. The corporations, they see this, because it's optional, there wasn't that much backlash, they realised there's basically free money sitting there on the table in games that they already made. Literally, just throw this tiny pack in, and you'll generate more than some of the biggest AAA titles of the year. I think probably somewhere around here is where EA just went into full like villain arc, going from a company that was previously known for how much it praised its developers into some horrific corporate culture environment, synonymous with making their developers work super long hours, unpaid overtime, constant crunch of like tight deadlines. And it's in this time where, you know, the effects of this start being noticed by gamers in the games they love. I think like the big obvious thing was a wave of games that were very hyped up, that seemed amazing, that looked like it should have been incredible, and they came out and they were like half finished. With the rise of downloading games, buying physical discs became less and less important. Because in the past, you made a game and that was it. Now, with the ability to download content, it meant that if there were problems with the game, you could just download the fixes or patches. And again, this was very useful tool, but very quickly it turns into a way of releasing a game completely broken, charging $70 for it. Just get the cash in the door, get the cash up front, and then letting the players quality test it and, you know, find all the bugs. And after enough of an outcry, the company fixes it. You get some of these terrible releases. Cyberpunk 2077 being probably most notorious because it was so bad that it was for players. But you know, No Man's Sky, Fallout 76, Anthem, Battlefield 2042, gaming was really changing. It was not the same industry that it was in 2000s, early 2010s. And all this change really comes together with the release of one game, 2017. Alright, it's real simple. If you got 4 I'm going to keep going in, out. It's a good game, it's great. It's just a breath of fresh air. Not only was it good, it was a good game. It had new game modes because people had bored of endless first person shooters. This was in Battle Royale, the third person shooter. It was free. So guys, I have my dad's credit card right here. I'm about to spend £1,000 on his card to try and buy all the battle passes to try and get tier 100 on his card. Literally, you download it and you can just jump straight into the match. No matter what you're doing, it's fun anyway. Then after like 20 seconds before your kid builds the fucking shell around you, and you go, it was really a contrast, right? It was a very bright, silly, fun game. It takes itself too seriously. That was the era defined by serious dark shooters. And most importantly, Fortnite was built perfectly for the new social media era. Fortnite wasn't just a game that you played. Fortnite for a period of time was the culture. Because Fortnite realized something that other games didn't, and that was that Fortnite is not just competing against other games. Fortnite was competing against YouTube, Netflix, Marvel, TikTok, group chats, celebrity gossip. Fortnite realized in this new emerging potential economy, the best way to beat all of those other mediums was to tie themselves to everything. Fortnite takes popular viral dances and puts it in the game. It just means it implements famous characters from Marvel, DC, crossovers, anime characters, streamers, and cosmetic shops, capitalized on it. And it was great. It was great. You have to remember that's what it goes on to do because it was Travis Scott things. Fortnite's lifetime revenue is $20 billion. This is the fifth most profitable game of all time. So all of the other students who look at Fortnite, suddenly Fortnite comes to drain what this brings is the Fortnite of gaming. So games like Grand Theft Auto Online, PUBG Mobile, League of Legends, Warzone, Roblox, Fortnite, these are the forever games. What this means is it's a game you make once and people play it forever and they keep spending money in the game forever. And once publishers saw this model work, the entire industry became obsessed with this. You guys see the temptation. Launch AAA games. It's a terrifying investment. All it is is $300 million. You invest 5 years in making it, you release it, and most of the money is made at first spike. And the live service game, my friends, it's a different beast. Even the way they play the game, right? They don't just play it for a couple months whilst they complete the story. The games are engineered to be constant and evolving. They have updates and seasons. They change. New things get added to the game constantly. And players keep coming back constantly. So Fortnite, a ton of games like this get made, and a few of them win. And you know, so what Call of Duty goes looking like this. Where the fuck this is. And so what if in the pursuit of trying to make a forever game, you have some absolute monumental flops, games like Anthem, Marvel's Avengers, Concord, and Few. All these games that look and seem amazing, that have so much potential, flopping so bad because they made it just not good. And some of the games ended up being so bad they just turned off service forever. Probably, so like some of these live service games they made completed and just never released because they decided it would be better business to not have a game come out and flop and get all the negative publicity that comes from that. So they just literally didn't bother putting it out. But everyone flops, right? There's all these issues. There's something people don't talk about, and that is that resources are finite. When a flop happens, those world-class developers, that labour, money, that time, and energy could have been put on something else, something that maybe isn't a 10-year money printer, but something that is still profitable, interesting, unique, new, beloved, and culturally meaningful. And this is the thing, right? This model that the game industry has created. It is absurd. Like it can't work, right? It's fundamentally to make a forever game. It requires players to treat the game like it's their hobby. For the game to be their default social space online, and like a routine, with daily quests, and updates, like a library of cosmetics, and things in the game they have value over. Keep coming back and playing continuously. in the pursuit of trying to make every game like this, it ironically erodes the trust of the gamers. Like literally, a decade of terrible racism and all this life service bullshit has conditioned the consumer base to be suspicious of new releases. 63% of US gamers buy no more than 1 or 2 new games a year. Around a third buy less than 1 game a year. Only 4% of gamers buy new games more often than once. 67% of PC gaming hours are spent on games that are at least 6 years old, with Fortnite, Minecraft, Counter-Strike. So with all that in mind, you start seeing this logic, these market logics reaching their final form. First game sold you a product, then they sold you access, then they sold you items, and then they sold you a routine. What if there's one more model, the final level, the big boss? What if the game was no longer a game, but instead a platform? Right there, I talk about Roblox. So Roblox isn't just a shitty little game you brother plays. In fact, you could argue that Roblox isn't really a game of non-interest, right? So Roblox was finally released in 2006. 2025, it had $4.9 billion in revenue, whilst not being a profit, they posted major losses. Right in the same way that Amazon and Uber did for years, Roblox is following the model of platform capitalism for gaming. The idea is simple, you don't take any profit, just use the money to keep growing and growing the ecosystem. You get more players in the game, you own currency in the game, you own the marketplace in the game, you just keep expanding and worry about profit later. So Roblox is free, nothing is free. Just remember that. It is a platform where basically people who are on Roblox make games in Roblox, kids play them, and as you expect, there are tons of layers of microtransactions using games in currency called Robux. This all happens, all these games that built in Roblox happens in this hyper-algorithmic marketplace where a handful of developers that make the games for it, they make serious fucking money, all while millions of mostly very young users provide many of the games, the labor, culture, trends, and the social online environment that keeps the world alive. Roblox are very smart as a company because they saw that, right, when we were gaming growing up, we would make maps for games. So we come up with hide and seek, bunny hop, surf, J-Mods. All of these games are inside game, which is things that people came up with and were super popular and everyone loved it. Roblox saw that and went, oh, they'll work for free, they'll make the game for us. So they allow monetization in these games, which creates enormous revenue, which attracts investors. This is what we call the games as a platform model.
What's fascinating about Roblox is their margins theoretically should be a lot higher than traditional game makers and traditional platform because that content that's driving users is being created by the users because they have content really only building that Roblox game engine for you and I to be able to easily make content.
Fortnite has been doing the same thing as well. The platform doesn't have to come up with and create the value itself anymore. It just needs to own the marketplace where everyone else inside will generate the value, the ideas, the creativity, the playbase. And it works the same way in the other big tech platforms too, which is that once they've got everyone inside it, it wins by simply being the place where everyone is. If all your friends are in it, and it's the same way Facebook and WhatsApp, where trying to tell everyone, hey guys, we'll leave and go to other places. It's very hard to do, no one does it. So even if there are better services about things that just don't do it, because you don't have to move it, especially if you put so much time into it. And if Roblox itself houses all your favorite games within it, why would you move?
The company lists itself as a player and boards, fighting for users' time. One way the company for young is through virtual events. And you put 20 people to game platform started by players to host virtual events like birthday parties.
But all of this, right, all these economic models that change the game has overall started to have a negative effect on the gaming industry. What's in research where they basically tracked the top 50 games that were new and not free to play over the period of February 2023 and December 2025. They found the median price of the best-selling new games fell by around 20%, while the revenue weighted median fell from $23.70 to $20.75. This is a period of time, right, as people's willingness to pay money is going down in gaming. But the industry, for retailers, trying to normalize a new price bracket around $70 to $80 a game, and there's a lot of rumors that Grand Theft Auto 6 is probably going to price $100. And like, okay, I know cheap games sounds good, right? I like that. I think in reality, it's not actually that good of a thing. Deflation often implies that the industry is shrinking. Because if you think about it, if the world is getting more expensive for inflation, that means that making games is getting more expensive. It costs more to do it. You have to pay more wages, higher bills for studios, energy, labor costs, equipment. If people are paying less money, the prices go up. This means that really we're starting budgets for games get a lot smaller, which will make it even harder to make these more ambitious AAA titles. And probably it will incentivize games to increasingly go towards free-to-play, live service, daily challenges, this kind of model, all the microtransactions, etc., which will further worsen this one. And then there is other forces, not just the gaming industry itself outside, that also start to have a massive effect on the future of gaming as well.
Cost of driving these GPUs to work, not just AI users, not just RAM, storage, or PC graphics, but literally everything, right?
So gaming isn't just being about games, or even just social media or media products like films, as it finds your attention. Gaming now has a new rival on the block competing for physical fucking resources. The earth minerals are used to build the technology itself. Talk about chips, memory, GPUs, data centers, electricity, water, and investor attention. All of these things are now in a bidding war against the AI industry.
Not necessarily buying the same thing that you might buy, for example, but you can blame the manufacturers for pitting what they're building to the higher price instead of prioritizing smaller ones that we might want to buy for our own devices. They're prioritizing these large orders for these data because of the monetary pressure to do that. There's different game markets. Kids who are saving up all their money to buy a nice gaming computer, they are now bidding against Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, venture capital, sovereign wealth funds, and every single fucking billionaire is convinced that the next industrial revolution will come from their chatbot and generate the finest quality AI slot that's radicalizing your uncle. Sorry kid, no gaming is for you, my friend. And this right here is a really important but interesting lesson in how increasing wealth inequality in the world, how it starts to distort and affect markets and resources. Because everybody looks at a rich guy has a bigger house than me. It means that large holders of wealth get to command the world's factories on what it produces, where energy supplies are driven toward, and which supply chains get priority over. So what that translates to is they get to decide whether the finite amount of chips are used for gaming hardware or for a warehouse for the servers hallucinating legal device. And right now the market is pretty clear. It's saying AI wins. Data center revenue in the fourth quarter reached $62.3 billion, up 75% from a year ago, making up over 91% of the company's sales.
Nvidia, which I remember buying graphics cards from them for gaming, it was a gaming first thing basically. Recently they reported their revenue from gaming was $2.4 billion in Q4 2025, which is down 11% year on year. And that's because the market's moved, right? It's gone from rendering your games to powering AI. IDC analysis suggests that data centers could take up 70% of memory chips produced in 2026. So now your PlayStation, your Xbox, your Switch, your gaming PC, your phone, your laptops competing against that. The proportion of the average price of video game consoles, which is a record high, people actually spending money to buy those consoles, fell by 27% in a month, with unit sales at their weakest since 1995. So all of this, what this all teaches you is one of the most important lessons I think you can understand about economics, about free markets, about capitalism, is that why all of this is happening to gaming is because gaming has gone from the phase that we were in, which was a phase of market expansion, into the phase we're currently in, which is mature industry. In that period of growth, in that expanding phase, it has to convince new people that it's good gaming is something you should do. It does so by making incredible games. Once you're in the door, once gaming becomes your habit, your lifestyle, the thing you do in your free time, and once the market reaches that mature point, finding new growth gets a lot harder. For big corporations, extraction becomes much more attractive than innovation. But why I find this important, right? Why I actually feel so pessimistic? Because once you understand why this is happening, it's not just like a state of mind thing. It's not that we're bad, we become too picky. It's the opposite. We know what the games are now. The developers, their expertise, knowledge, and their tools and resources, the best they've ever been. We have the ability to make incredible shit. However, the market incentives are drawing all of that talent, all of those resources away from making great pieces of art, great games we love, toward making more profitable, extractive games. That's the incentive. But to be clear, of course, there has been loads of good AAA games at the but studios manage to fight for all this bullshit and drop back other angles, free, however, too. These are doing it despite the odds. So the argument isn't just that modern games are bad, it's far too simplistic. It is that the wider industry as a whole is pulling itself down in a race to the bottom, which makes it harder to make good games. But after all this, right, it might seem negative and like a doom scroll. Slowly, gamers start putting the pieces together, figuring out what is causing this. And most importantly, gamers are organising and fighting back, clearly, coming in the form of a movement called Stop Killing Games.
Honestly, we are trying to prevent video games from being destroyed. We see video games not only as part of our culture, but also as products and in most cases worthy of preservation. But unfortunately, practices in the video games industry are hindering both of these and threatening video games as a medium. What we hope to achieve today for you is to explain the problem, what we have done to try to fix it at least, and why we believe new regulation or rules are necessary.
This is a movement by YouTuber called Ross Scott, known as Past on YouTube. So he does a big campaign, eventually gets some signatures, it reaches the European Citizens Initiative threshold, it gets submitted to the commission, it forces EU lawmakers to respond to a simple question: should companies be allowed to destroy games that people have already purchased? And like this prompted a really important deep question around whether digital purchases need clearer protections, and I think it's very incredible whether games should be preserved as culturally significant, like, pieces of art. And like, Stop Killing Games is not the entire solution to gentrification, they focus on one specific thing. But it's the first step, because it's not the point where gamers have realised the problem isn't individual bad developers, individual bad studios, but the issue of modern gaming being shitified is systemic. And they realise that in order to fix it, the game industry needs rules, and players shouldn't just accept that they are shitway consumers to just be exploited by a company, but instead they're fighting back, organising protesting, and supporting legislation, signing signatures, and working to support preservation to protect the cultural significance of the very thing they love, which is gaming. Other things, despite AAA titles, struggling a bit, it has given rise to the indie development industry. Tools to make games become incredibly good and way cheaper now, like Unreal and Unity. So now small teams, passionate developers are making games that would have been impossible to make 20 years ago. Now Minecraft being the big one, Stardew Valley, Until, Lethal Company, Palworld, Schedule 1. These became major hits and made a ton of money. Personally, I would always take this with a pinch of salt. Whilst these tools, Unity, Unreal, are cheap now, as we learned from this video, it's very likely that over time they might start shit themselves. It's very possible. And also as the indie development teams get bigger, they'll be throwing a ton of cash at work making but that is why the Stop Killing Games movement is very important, because it sets a precedent and shows the possibility for using political power to establish long-lasting rules over the industry itself. That is the only way of making real lasting change, is by setting the rules that enforce it and not allowing the market to do it itself. So not only is it hopeful for gaming, but Stop Killing Games, if successful, is very hopeful as a wider symbol for a younger generation, an generation who grew up on these tech platforms and we saw them get shittified and go from being things that were kind of good and nice and positive, into things that are hateful, extractive, addictive. For this generation, Stop Killing Games wins. They can see that actually if they organise and come together, they can find ways of pushing for real political change to stop these exploitative companies acting like fucking place.
When we say games destroyed, what we mean is the publisher is permanently disable all copies of it and installs no ever play them again. It would like removing every single copy of the book or film in existence, effectively erasing the culture.
Before you go, get check out Cyber
Yep. Very nice video. Very nice video. Oh, was a nice video despite being depressing as fuck.
Who would have thought that was supposed to be a video from a YouTuber trying to help a guy get his latest setback has resulted in a high stakes thriller, including risks, conspiracies, and possible involvement of the Mormon Church.
This is the story of how it's all the Legos.
It all started when Breakfast Ben reported on a scandal involving the Brixton Minifix Corporation, which stands accused of stealing $200,000 worth of Star Wars Lego sets from a guy and his 83-year-old father. I'll give you the long story short. Brian Mansell and his 83-year-old dad wrote up a contract with their local Brixton Minifix to sell their valuable collection. However, when the store they had a contract with was taken over by corporate, the company and new franchisees claimed that the prior contract was null and void and that they now owned all of the Lego. This is despite prior discussions surrounding the contract being filmed on video and a Brixton Minifix representative saying that it was still good to go. Eventually, Breakfast Ben took Brixton Minifix to small claims court and won. However, the company countered by closing the local store, so there was no way for them to get the money back. So then they were told they had to sue the franchisees privately to get the $200K, which has become extremely difficult as the Utah police got involved and have arrested Breakfast Ben and his team for stalking after he attempted to serve papers. This is where the allegations of the Mormon Church becoming involved in the whole thing came to light, as Breakfast Ben reckons the reason why the police seem to be targeting him so heavily is because the police officers are protecting the franchisees he's trying to sue.
Yeah, Brandon Best, Joshua Johnson, and Eamon, the CEO, are all super Mormon. Like the CEO even went to the Mormon University. When I looked up all the police officers were treating me unfairly. They were all Mormon too.
Plus, because this investigation has cost Ben so much, he's been attempting to crowdfund the money needed to pay for legal funds, and essentially the police arrested him for putting up a sign advertising it and tried to put him in jail for a month. The judge let him go, of course, but the entire saga has been so nerve-wracking for the guy that he's gone to Mexico until it cools off a bit. It's insane how much of a scandal this is thrown into, and without a person with money, time, and fame helping out Brian Mansell and his 83-year-old dad, it's extremely likely that Brixton Minifix would have managed to intimidate him out of it. It even got to the point that the American Fork Police Department uploaded a media release on the matter, claiming that they'd been misrepresented through the entire debacle. Essentially, Breakfast Ben's attempts to help a guy who just wants to get his dad's Lego sets back escalated into a series of unfortunate events, with the Utah police force arresting him and thus only pushing further scrutiny on the situation. I highly recommend you check out Ben's channel for the full rundown, as it's extremely entertaining yet horrifying watching it all unfold on camera. See you next time on Lessons in Internet Culture.
Oh, let me see. Oh, what a fucking mess. Sadly. Oh man, just saying, the whole constitution needed to be rewritten from scratch. It has been exploited to get where we are now. A full right to prevent this whole oligarchy system, to prevent all this lobbying, to prevent any charismatic idiot from becoming elected and in any position of power, to prevent idiots who don't have any geopolitical literacy to even go to a fucking ballot in the first place. It's a full rewrite. Democracy is a fucking scam. About as much as a scam as the monarchy system. I'm just saying. Let people who just lose their fucking better fucking lives on a gambling scheme, or some crypto scheme. Let those people also have the right to fucking vote. Are you fucking kidding me? It's a fucking scam. You're gonna be a fucking joke about it. Let children vote as well. You're gonna go full retarded about it. People just no, there's no real adults here. Just a bunch of men children. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just to alleviate the weight of the guilt. It's being normalized because everybody's okay with that, apparently. I'm not so guilty about that. Everybody seems to be able to do that. It just, I don't know, man. It just fucking sucks. Oops. Oh man. We steal from old people.
The American Fork Police Department has responded to the video I made about them.
I am the Chief of Police for the American Fork Police Department. I'd like to address the members of the civil community regarding some videos currently circulating on social media.
So I will offer a response to their response. There's a lot of new information in this response that I've been wanting to get for a long time, so we'll go over that first. One of the main questions in my video was when I get swatted for stealing the Legos when this wasn't a mystery to the police officers and they knew that I didn't steal the Legos, that Josh stole the Legos.
You basically stole a $200,000 collection of Star Wars Legos.
But still, why did they raid my house for stealing Legos when there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that Josh stole the Legos? When I requested the body cam footage of this to try to find the answers myself, they redacted everything and they claimed it was to protect the victims. However, one of my friends set up a GoPro as we were getting swatted, and we caught the entire conversation on camera. For 3 months, the police department's answer has been this redaction is important because it protects Josh, the victim of this case. However, we can clearly see that the police were looking for Legos and they saw no Legos. And they redacted this because they were embarrassed that they made such a stupid decision to swat the wrong person. They were so embarrassed of swatting my house for stealing the Legos that in all the police reports, it is completely redacted. The police department wants this information hidden so bad that they're willing to break the law to hide this from everyone. The only reason I know about it is because the receipt I got the night I was released from jail and my friend's GoPro that was recording. So even though I've been asking them for 3 months why I got swatted, they finally came up with an answer, which is the Airbnb host told them that I stole the Legos.
During contact with the Airbnb owner, the owner reported overhearing conversations about possible stolen Legos. Specifically, officers wrote in the search warrant affidavit. The homeowner also disclosed that he could hear multiple individuals inside the residence speaking about possibly stolen Lego toys they had taken. Based on that information, officers added a request within the search warrant affidavit seeking authorization to also search for and seize possible stolen property, including Lego merchandise. 4th District Judge Roger W. Griffin reviewed and approved the search warrant.
I always like giving people the benefit of the doubt, and I will take the police officer's word on this, but something fishy is going on here, and everything can just be cleared up if you unredact the audio and let everyone see the truth. Also, after we got raided and the police officers found no Legos, all of this footage has been redacted too. And my guess is if the police unredact this footage, we'll find out the answers once and for all. While we were getting swatted, one of the police officers decided to injure me for absolutely no reason. He claims it's because I was trying to make a fast movement.
Don't move like that, you understand me? Don't move like that.
When we replay the footage, you can clearly see I was not making any fast movements. However, the police department has an answer to this.
During Snyder's detention, Lieutenant Adamson took hold of Snyder's right arm. Lieutenant Adamson later reported that he felt Snyder tense his arm, at which point Adamson moved Snyder's right arm behind his back to place him into custody.
The police department has made it clear I did not in fact make any quick movements like the police officer claims I did. So the police officer was lying, but not fully because I did tense my arm. However, he lunges at me extremely fast before he even touches me. So how could he even know that I was tensing my arm before he even grabs me? That doesn't make any sense. There's only one solution. This police officer has psychic powers, and he could tell that my arm was tensing up before grabbing me. However, this makes no sense because if the police officer did truly have psychic powers, he would have known that we were not the thieves. Josh and Brandon were the thieves. So this can't be the case either. I'm trying to have an open mind with these different possibilities of what this could be, but literally the only outcome left is that this police officer injured me for no reason. However, the police have another response to this of why I must be lying.
In the X-ray image displayed by Mr. Snyder in that video, a small L is visible in the upper right-hand corner of the X-ray. The L indicates the image is that of the left shoulder. The video shows Lieutenant Adamson handling Snyder's right arm during the arrest.
Yes, the stock footage I used to show what a dislocated shoulder is, an image that's clearly not mine because I didn't go to the hospital, I went to jail, so how could I have taken this picture? But anyways, the stock image I used is of a left shoulder when my shoulder that got injured was my right shoulder. When I was editing this, I like to think highly of my audience that they would have known that this was a stock image and I wouldn't have to spoon feed every tiny detail to my audience. But now I realize that there's another portion of my audience called the American Fork Police Department that maybe I do have to spoon feed my every single piece of information to. So I'm going to use this as constructive criticism, and in every single episode going forward now that I know that the American Fork Police Department is watching, I'll be forced to spoon feed every single detail. As a professional slackliner, dislocating my shoulder is almost a monthly thing for me. 3 days before I got arrested, I had a really bad ski accident where I had a really bad dislocation of my shoulder, and any movement at all would have dislocated it. So I will say here, I don't think that the police officer was purposely trying to injure me. I think to a normal person this would have been fine, but for me in particular, this was not good, but it was still unjustified, and the police officer was just making up an excuse, and now they're making up an excuse to defend it. Another thing I find shocking is the chief of police, after reviewing the dash cam footage, says that we ran a stop sign.
Richardson initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle for failing to stop before the stop line at a stop sign and failing to stop completely at that stop sign.
The chief of police looked at this video and said we ran a stop sign, and now he's using that to say this was a legal traffic stop. Police officers did nothing wrong. At this point, we thought the best thing to do was to take Josh to court so he can be legally accountable for the crimes he committed. However, to do that, we were first required to serve him court papers. So we did what the law told us to do. We got a process server and we went to his house to do this the legal way. However, Josh did not want to do this the legal way. Instead, called the police on us.
Joshua Johnson contacted police and reported he was going to shoot someone as a result of the ongoing harassment. Multiple officers immediately responded to the area.
Josh was so scared of going to court that he would rather shoot us than accept these court papers. Josh's logic here is that if he can murder the process server and if he can murder me, then he can get away with his crimes because we know when to sue him in court. However, sadly for Josh, murder is illegal. And now he just admitted his plans to the police officers. The American Fork Police should at least be arresting Josh for trying to use murder as a way to get out of court. But sadly, for some reason, they arrested me instead.
Am I being arrested?
Something about this seems off. All the answers are in the body cam footage. However, they redacted all the body cam footage. So this is where I think if we all come together as a community, we can somehow convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this footage so we can find out why they arrested me and not the guy who threatened to murder me. However, the American Fork Police does not want to unredact the footage right now, and now has made up a new excuse of why I was the one justified being arrested.
Officer Sombach contacted the Marion County Circuit Court in Oregon to verify the legitimacy of the paperwork. The court confirmed that the case was indeed legitimate, but that papers had already been served and no hearing date had yet been scheduled.
The police department said the reason they arrested me and not Josh this day is because they called to confirm if this was a real court case, and they said it was real. However, the papers had already been served, and now I'm doing this solely to get YouTube content. And if that's true, I would like to see footage of it. They released all the raw footage, and that part doesn't seem to be in the raw footage.
It's already been to court, or are you allowed to tell me kind of where they're at with the case?
There's no hearing date set, there hasn't been a hearing date yet. All I see is the claim that was filed, I think proof of service or anything. Hearing wouldn't be set until the response is filed by the defendant.
Okay, so the defendant needs to be served with papers before the case will, I guess, start. Okay, thank you for your help. That's all. Thank you.
Right here, the police officer admits that it is March 10th.
On March 10th, 2026.
However, you can see here that Josh doesn't get served until 3 days later, March 13th. So how could Josh have already been served on March 10th if he didn't get served until March 13th? Unless Josh is a time traveler. There's only one way to clear this all up. The American Fork Police Department, show me the time machine. So now they say that I've done all the check marks which constitute stalking. Let's go through them.
The individual commits stalking if the individual intentionally or knowingly engages in a course of conduct directed at a specific individual.
So yes, I did do an action that was targeted at a specific individual, but that's what's required by the court if I want to take someone to court. If someone steals your stuff and you go through the legal process to take them to court, it's not considered stalking. I have a right as an American to sue him.
Is reckless as to whether that course of conduct would cause a reasonable person to fear for the individual's own safety or the safety of another.
The second check mark is that if a reasonable person would be scared, the police are claiming that since this action made Josh scared, this check mark is complete. However, they've completely forgotten about the term reasonable. As we can see, Josh is not a reasonable person. This is someone who multiple times has tried to silence someone by accusing them of being on heroin.
Here's the crazy thing. They told me that they took over the location because the owners were using the location to fund their heroin addiction. What? Yeah, and that's how they took it over. And saying they had like a pigeon in there that was scrapping all over Legos and it smelled bad, all this stuff.
This is someone who threatened to murder me just for trying to serve him papers. This is not a reasonable person. It is not reasonable to threaten to murder someone just for serving papers. A reasonable person would accept the papers. So that second checkbox does not meet the requirements. I even tried explaining this to one of the police officers early on.
What the law says is if the average person would feel unsafe by our behaviors. So if I think he's feeling unreasonably unsafe, a reasonable person would not feel unsafe in the situation. Well, I can say I feel unsafe trying to conduct business with him and he calls the police on me to hide. I feel unsafe because of that. Because we had a 3-hour search on our car. He said we had heroin in our car yesterday. We had 3 hours search on our car. That makes me feel unsafe. I think that's reasonable for me to feel unsafe. It's not reasonable for him to feel unsafe.
So Josh is actually the one who said he was going to murder me if I take him to court. But now I'm the one that's being looked into. into for threatening to murder Josh. How does this make any sense?
Mr. Johnson alleged that Mansley hired the new insider to harass Stock, vandalize the store, threaten to murder the manager of the store.
Now let's go to the heroin claim. We got pulled over by the police. police, and they claimed that we had heroin on us. Most of this footage is redacted, so again, there's a big mystery of what happened. Can we all come together and convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this so we can find out the truth? However, what the police is claiming now is that they did not get a call saying that we had heroin on us. Instead, they could just tell from the second we pulled over, our eyes were glossy.
During the interaction, Officer Fraughton indicated he believed Shaw's eyes appeared glossy and expressed concern regarding possible impairment.
If you look back on the raw footage, this is what the police officer said his first interaction with us was like.
Good with these guys being able to drive? Yeah, I think so. I didn't see anything Thursday with Tyler, but I noticed. What's the goal? Right now? Yeah, I was gonna just a little bit and let him know what really. Do we have charges, or are we just tired of them being only?
It seems hard to take what the chief of police is saying seriously because so far almost everything he said is a lie. So the only way we can actually find out the truth is if we unredact everything. We already know the victim's name is Joshua Johnson. Why do we have to keep that protected? His name is already out there. None of these redactions are protecting anything except for the police. Now I want to acknowledge my friend Sheldon's arrest.
The group stated they were supporting a GoFundMe campaign for a dying man. One of the individuals later identified as Sheldon Norcross. Officer Richardson then decided to seize Norcross's phone, pending the approval of a search warrant, in order to preserve potential evidence and prevent the deletion or alteration of any data. According to Officer Richardson's reports, when Norcross was informed that the phone was going to be seized, Norcross immediately began manipulating the device.
The police officer claims that Sheldon was arrested because he opened his phone to start deleting evidence. However, we can clearly see in the footage Sheldon's thumb is heading towards that lock button to lock his phone. His phone was open when he pulled it out, and the phone was transitioning from on to off, not from off to on. From this response, it almost seems like the police officers didn't even watch the video. So American Fork Police Department, if I'm your teacher, here's your homework. First off, learn the facts, what actually happened. Second off, stop lying about the facts. No one's believing it. The third thing is unredact the audio that makes the police look bad. Some of the best lawyers in the United States are reaching out to me right now, so eventually this is going to get released. Wouldn't you just like to get this over with sooner rather than dragging this out? The more we drag this out, the more content we get, so this only benefits me to drag this out. It doesn't benefit you. If you unredact the illegally redacted parts now, you'll win over audience support much faster. It's definitely because audience probably think I'm like trying to make fun of this other cop by how he was talking.
Brother, you might turn up the volume. Holy, it's actual ASMR. Wow, I cannot really hear him. Why is he whispering?
No, I'm actually just like super sick right now. I haven't been sleeping, so I'm trying to get out part 3 as fast as I can, and that's caused me just to like stay up all night, every night, and not sleep, and now I'm sick and have no voice. But yeah, I guess it kind of, I don't know why that police officer was talking in such a low, quiet voice, but that's why I am. At least I wasn't making fun of him. It's like literally just genuinely sick. But if you want to see part 3, subscribe. But yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna crank out videos in the meantime until part 3's done. But thanks for the support, and let's find Brian's leggings.
No vídeo de hoje eu vou revelar se substituir açúcar pelo mel é realmente tão saudável quanto dizem por aí. Tem vários vídeos dizendo que o mel faz bem pra saúde, por ser rico em vitaminas, minerais, substâncias antioxidantes e anti-inflamatórias, e que seria o substituto perfeito para quem quer cortar o açúcar. Será mesmo? Vale a pena trocar o açúcar ou até mesmo o adoçante por mel? O que tem nesse alimento docinho? Comenta aqui se você tem costume de usar mel nas receitas para adoçar seu chazinho, ou quem sabe tomar mel puro na colherada. Esse líquido dourado que a gente chama de mel é basicamente néctar de flores, que ela processa basicamente e depois deposita para comer. Muitos dizem que o mel é fonte de vitamina. Isso não é bem verdade. Elas guardam néctar em um compartimento específico chamado compartimento melífero, separado do estômago. Esse compartimento passa água, os açúcares, o néctar, começa a transformar em glicose e frutose, moléculas de açúcar menores. Em seguida, às vezes liberam esse líquido nos fatos da colher, que ajuda a evaporar parte da água até ficar mais concentrado e viável. Justamente porque vindo do néctar que é doce, mel é basicamente água com água, substâncias diluídas e 85% de açúcar. Uma excelente fonte de energia para saberes, mas não é só isso, o mel tem mais ou menos 0,5% dele, é uma mistura de compostos invisíveis que organismos das abelhas. Tem perfume das flores, tem cheiro, gosto, tem cálcio, magnésio, potássio, magnésio, tem substâncias antioxidantes para não deixar o mel mofar acontecer. Como você sabe exatamente as flores que estão ao redor da colmeita, é pulando da região, da espécie de abelha. Isso, inclusive, dá 10 diferenças de sabor dos mel dependendo da raça. O mel é basicamente açúcar com outros nutrientes livres. Por isso, dizem que é tão saudável, você é praticamente mesmo tomar uma água com açúcar diluído. O que acontece no corpo de quem toma uma colherada de mel puro, pode usar mel no lugar do açúcar branco para adoçar as coisas. Olha, mel é um alimento natural da abelha e não ultraprocessado, que é ótimo. Mas se o objetivo é ser saudável, não basta não ter adivinha, é preciso olhar também para a composição nutricional do alimento. É isso que os organismos sentem. E é por isso, inclusive, que eu sempre tenho utilizado algumas amigas da Liva, 100% feito com ingredientes naturais, balanceados, 6 pontos de vista, a gente vai falar do mel especificamente, mas se você sempre buscou uma marmita saudável em casa, acredite por ele, que é só colocar no micro-ondas, ficar prontinho, você deveria experimentar. É muito prático, ela não tem a água precisa correr, essa Liva, como eu ele dá 10% de agora, vamos entender se esse alimento aqui sozinho é tão saudável. Qual é a composição nutricional dele? Esse sim é um bom controlar, porque mel e açúcar tem composições diferentes. Pode afetar muito silicêmio na escala, a velocidade com que o alimento aumenta a glicose no sangue, quanto mais alto, mais rápido essa açúcar glicose vai de uma vez. E pode, no longo prazo, você consegue muito frequente sobre a pensa assim, a diferença entre abrir e comer no máximo ou deixar ela aos poucos. O seu corpo prefere comida porque o pâncreas está respondendo a insulina na mesma velocidade. Quando você come um alimento que libera muita glicose de uma vez, ele precisa trabalhar muito mais. A açúcar de mesa é basicamente sacarosa, uma molécula tem índice de glicemia moderado alto, de 60 a 65. Já um pico de açúcar no sangue, ela tem problemas de entender, você viu, faz de fonte muito rápido, questão de 1 2 horas. Além de sobrecarregar o pâncreas, a sua dieta, sua alimentação, compostos de alimentos são muito açúcar, precisa de anos, antes de diabetes e outras doenças cardiovasculares. Ele precisa o açúcar em si, causa diabetes, mas sim a contexto de sua alimentação. Já o mel é principalmente frutose e glicose, junto com outros 20 tipos de açúcar, com sacarose e maltose diluídos em água. Teoricamente, a água já muda o alimento. Já é diferente do açúcar puro, porque o mel é uma composição de alimentos diluídos. Isso é teoria, de acordo com muita gente na internet, vai mel tem índice de glicemia, na teoria, o problema
Right. Oh, this didn't come up. I'm gonna pause for a moment though. Back. What? It's always when I'm about to end. It's always when I'm about to end. It's always when I'm about to end it. Let me check on this. Let that talk. If it's slow like this, probably not a good sign. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Yep. I'm actually turning on the VPN. Let's see if it solves the problem. Where is it? Where is it? That's weird. I don't know. It's just weird. It's not showing here whatsoever. But I'm trying to connect through the thing there. Here, from here, since the window's not coming up. But I don't think it's gonna work because of the VPN. It's kind of sluggish. It's a free VPN after all. The last day where the weather is gonna be chill as fuck. After that, it's just no summertime for real. No more chill weather until the end of the year. Until 5 months from now. Oh, well. Maybe 3 months at the earliest. Holy shit, it doesn't connect. I wish I could see it. I cannot check on this. Show, okay. There it is. Holy shit, it's taking forever. Let's see. Yeah, let me restart it. Yep. I may have to watch in here. No, ironically. Oh shit, it's coming up.
Like to raise herself, feed it, love it, spend years earning trust, then somehow you're different. The rules are tight, but history has shown that sometimes instincts take care of familiarity. It went into that hard way after being mauled to death by Teddy, the 350-pound black bear she had raised for nearly a decade. In Texas, a man trying to stop his own pit bulls from chasing strangers was suddenly turned on in his own driveway as neighbors desperately tried to pry the dogs off him. And in Florida, an 8-foot pet python escaped his enclosure in the middle of the night and slithered into a toddler's crib, ending in one of the most horrifying tragedies imaginable. These are the disturbing stories of people who were killed by the animals they trusted most. Killed by Teddy the bear. What do you even do with a bear as a pet? Viewer, would you get a bear as a pet? And not metaphorically, an actual 350-pound black bear living in a steel cage in your backyard in the Poconos. That was what Kelly Ann Walt and her family did in Ross Township, Pennsylvania. A rural stretch of woods about 30 miles northeast of Allentown, where if you drove past the property, you'd hear lions and tigers and God knows what else echoing through the trees. It sounds strange to us, but Kelly and her husband Michael have been doing this for over a decade. Their 8-acre property off Dogwood Lane had at various points housed a lion, a cougar, a jaguar, a tiger, a leopard, 2 servals, and the bear. A black bear she raised from a cub. She'd call him Teddy, probably a reference to teddy bears. So she had him for 9 years. Her neighbor Scott Castone, a school teacher who lived about 130 yards away, said he used to feed Teddy popcorn to the cage. October 2009, most of the other animals had died of old age, so it was mainly just the mountain lion, the tiger, and Teddy left on the property. Nothing bad happened until October 4th. On that specific evening, Kelly went in to clean the bear's enclosure. The cage was 15 by 15 feet, steel and concrete. Her method was the same as always. She'd throw a shovel full of dog food to one side to pull Teddy's attention away, then clean the other side while he was distracted. Castone said that she had done it 1,000 times before, but then something horrible happened. The bear turned on her. Her 2 young children witnessed the attack from the outside of the cage and ran for help. By the time anyone reached her, the damage was already done. Her neighbor Castone grabbed a handgun and shot the bear, but Kelly was already unconscious and was pronounced dead at the scene. She was 37 years old. She and Michael had just celebrated their 10th wedding anniversary. So before we get on to story number 2, I do want to let you guys know that these stories are a little bit shorter than the rest of my videos. We try our best to find kind of obscure pets. Can't really find like a cat that killed anyone, you know. I also personally don't think anyone should be owning wild animals, unless of course you have a license to do so. But we are going to see some cases on this list where people just simply didn't have a license, they just want to have a cool pet. With that being said, let's on to the next one. Pitbull refused to let him go. Now before we get into this one, I know the dog breed of pitbulls is already pretty controversial. There's a whole movement to ban pitbulls. However, anecdotal advice. I know I'm just one guy with one story, but my friend actually had a pitbull and she was the nicest dog I've ever met. Yeah, I don't want anyone that owns a pitbull to be like, oh, just simply put a pitbull on this list because you don't like pitbulls. No, I don't. It's just a story caught my team's eye. Anyway, once again, a bear attack is something that realistically most people understand the risk of, but dogs are different. Supposedly dogs are family, but they can equally be unpredictable. People specifically have spent years at the center of this back and forth about whether they're dangerous or misunderstood, with plenty of owners running by them as the most loyal living animals they've ever had. A Castillo is probably one of those people. He was 45, living in Bakersfield, Texas, a small unincorporated community about 15 miles north of Galveston. He had 2 pitbulls that by all accounts he took care of well. His neighbor Jesus Escontita had known him for 6 years, and said the dogs were with Eddie, were always well fed, and had never given him a reason to think something like this was coming. But the sheriff's office there confirmed there had been previous calls to that area regarding aggressive dogs, and more than one neighbor mentioned stop walking down that part of Louisiana Avenue because of them. On the evening of October 12, 2025, around 6:30 p.m., the attack started when Eddie tried to stop his dogs from going after people passing by in a golf cart outside his home. That was the trigger. Within moments, both dogs turned on him instead, right there in his own driveway on Louisiana Avenue. Escontita heard the scream from the next door and ran outside. What he found was Eddie being mauled. One dog locked onto his arm, not letting go. Escontita grabbed a machete and started swinging, but he broke the machete, so he grabbed the butcher knife, kept stabbing one of the dogs repeatedly, and it still wouldn't release. Meanwhile, his sister started on the phone 911. When the Galveston County deputy finally arrived, one dog was still clamped onto Eddie's arm. The deputy shot it, and that's when he let go. Eddie was rushed to HCA Houston Clear Lake and was pronounced dead there. Both dogs were euthanized the following day. Eddie Castillo was 45 years old, and by every account, he loved those dogs. His 500-pound pet deer kicked him dead. When you think of dangerous exotic pets, deer don't usually make the list. Bears, sure. Big cats, yeah, but a deer, Gerald Washington apparently saw things differently. Because a 67-year-old man from Wisconsin, Texas, had been keeping wild animals in pens behind his house for years. To make things worse, it was a European red stag, which is a completely different animal from what most people picture when they hear the word. A European red stag is enormous. This one weighs somewhere between 500 and 600 pounds and had a full rack of antlers. So, for perspective, that's heavier than most horses. Russian was keeping in a kennel behind his home on FM9 South, along with other animals including axis deer, and his stated goal, according to investigators, was to domesticate them as pets. The thing is, this was even his first run with authorities do this. Back in 1994, 17 years earlier, Russian had been arrested for illegally keeping white-tailed deer in his backyard. And to be clear, keeping a European red stag in Texas is illegal. Anyway, on the morning of November 12, 2010, Russian went into the stag's pen to feed it. What happened next? Something game wardens later said they'd never seen before in an area. The stag charged on him, hitting him against the fence with his body and antlers, bore him multiple times, and then trampled him when he went down to the ground. A 911 call came in, and when Harrison County Sheriff's deputies and Texas Parks and Wildlife game wardens arrived around 10:30 in the morning, they couldn't even get into the pen to reach Russian because the stag was still too aggressive to approach. They had to shoot it and kill it first just to get inside. By then, though, it didn't matter. Russian was already dead, pronounced dead at the scene shortly afternoon. What the sources point to as the likely trigger is that red stags go through a rut, a mating season during which they become highly territorial and aggressive, even towards people they've been around before. So it's really not unpredictable behavior for them. It's just biology. A wild animal that size in that state in a confined pen with nowhere to go and a person walking in, that combination was always going to be dangerous no matter how many times Russian had fed without incident. Smith County warden Chris Green confirmed afterward this is the first fatal attack this kind ever recorded in that area. Gerald Russian was 67 years old. He spent a significant part of his life drawn to keeping animals at the law and basic biology. Both said he should, and on Friday morning in East Texas, that caught up with him in the most irreversible way possible. Kept lion in his backyard, it killed him. Some people really seem to believe that a lion is just a very large house cat, and if you raise it when it's a cub, feed it, spend enough time with it, the animal will meet you halfway and behave accordingly. It's a mindset that shows up more than you expect. In these 2 cases, one in a Czech village and one in a South African wildlife lodge, are probably a clear illustration of where that thinking leads. Mikhail Pesek was 33 and lived in Zidikov. His father lived in the Eastern Czech Republic, about 350 kilometers southeast of Prague. In 2016, he bought a male lion from Slovakia and built enclosures for it in his backyard. Then he added a lioness the following year for breeding. The village had been uneasy about it from the start. Local authorities had denied him permission for the pens and fined him for illegal breeding, but Pesek refused to let anyone else on the property because there are no alternative facilities in the Czech Republic to relocate the animals to. No evidence of cruelty. Nobody could actually force the issue. It had been going on for years with no resolution, and the situation had already turned strange the previous summer when Pesek was walking the lioness on a leash outside, and a passing cyclist rode straight into her. An incident that police ultimately logged as a traffic accident. On March 5, 2019, though, things went sideways really fast. His father found him dead inside the male lion's cage, the door locked from the inside. Police had to shoot both lions to get to the body. In short, he got too comfortable with the lion when into the cage as he had many times before, but still being a wild animal, it attacked and killed him. The village mayor said afterward that the incident would perhaps finally help resolve what had become a very long-running problem, aka a fellow villager putting everyone in danger by trying to domesticate a lion. Now, West Madison's situation was about as far from Pesek as you could get on paper. He was 69, a conservationist who ran Lion Tree Top Lodge with his family in South Africa's Limpopo province, and he hand-reared 2 white lionesses from cubs, animals he known for years and walked with regularly. Everyone in the circle called him Uncle West. On the Pesek, he actually was someone who had built an entire life around his animals and genuinely knew them, or at least believed he did. On August 26, 2020, he was out walking with 2 lionesses on lodge grounds. Again, like Pesek, this is something he'd done countless times before. Regardless, one of them attacked him with no warning at all. His wife Gil was driving just behind him until the whole thing happened. Tried everything she could to get him out, but she couldn't stop it. Atkinson died there on the property. He spent his life building. The gap between these 2 men could have been wide, and yet the attack on Atkinson came just as suddenly and was just as little warning as what happened to Pesek in that locked cage in Zidikov. Whoever either of them believed about the relationship with those animals, the animals weren't operating with the same understanding. Pet python in toddler's crib. Among many exotic animals out there, I think it's not uncommon for everyone to keep snakes as pets. Even big ones. There's a whole community around it, and most of the time nothing goes on. Unfortunately, when something does go wrong, the consequences can be fatal. Jerry Hare had owned an 8'6" albino Burmese python named Gypsy for about 5 years before the night of July 1st, 2009. She lived with her boyfriend Charles Darnell and her 2-year-old daughter Shayuna in a rural home in Sumter County, and the snake lived with them in a glass aquarium in the house. Now, for context, some important things here. The first is that the aquarium had no proper lid. There were still quilts over it. And second is that Gypsy the python, by the time that summer rolled around, was severely malnourished. In the early morning hours of July 1st, Gypsy pushed out from under the quilt, made her way across the house and into Shayuna's crib. She bit her repeatedly in the arms and face, then coiled around her neck and asphyxiated her. Darnell called 911, and in that call, she said the snake had gotten into the baby's crib and strangled her. Then he stabbed Gypsy to death himself. Immediately after, both adults were placed under arrest. At trial, they argued that Gypsy had always been perfectly docile, and nobody could anticipate this happening. But that's debatable. In fact, Florida's Department of Children and Families had actually been at home 2 months earlier. They complained about command about the care over proceeding. ADC had investigator visited in May 2009, and while he was there, he saw the pipeline in his aquarium. Even reports investigator visited in May. In fact, Florida's Department of Children and Families had actually been at home 2 months earlier. They complained about command about the care over proceeding. ADC had investigator visited in May 2009, and while he was there, he saw the pipeline in his aquarium. Even reported to Florida Fish and Wildlife, the agency responsible for checking if the snake was safe in house. As it turned out, only pipeline that required a license, which Harry Darnell didn't have. The investigation happened June 24th. Now, so the jury took 2 hours to reject the Wiggins coming claim. The 4 persons that applied regardless of how remote they were seen, it was the couple's responsibility to make sure there was no possibility a 2-year-old could be harmed, and they failed to do that. The prosecutor told the jury that the snake was not at fault. It was a wild animal doing what a starting wild animal does. The fault was entirely with 2 adults in that house. Both were convicted of aggravated manslaughter and child neglect and sentenced to 12 years in prison. Darnell was released in January 2021. Harry, 9 months later, China's father settled sued the Florida Department of Children and Facilities for wrongful death, arguing the state had every opportunity to intervene and didn't. His kangaroo killed him. We all know Australia's wildlife reputation, right? Not everything there is trying to kill you. Spiders, snakes, jellyfish, the sun, but a kangaroo looks a bit harmless on paper, right? In fact, most people mental image of kangaroo is either a boxing joke or something you see on a tourism poster. Not an animal that can actually end your life. Here, he's probably thought the same way, which is maybe Anyway, a 77-year-old alpaca breeder from Western Australia ended up becoming the first person killed by a kangaroo in Australia since 1936. Peter was known around the Great Southern region as a dedicated animal person. He established the Agnes alpaca stud back in 1997, built a herd of 60 animals, named every single one of them, and even built a small cemetery on the property to bury them when they died. He told ABC in 2017 that when his time came, he wanted to be buried next to Claudia, his favorite alpaca. That's the kind of person he was, someone who formed real attachments to wild animals and treated them accordingly. So when a kangaroo Joey came into his life, he had raised them from the time was spawned in his hands. The problem was that a Joey raised in your palms eventually becomes a 3-year-old male Western Great kangaroo, and that's a fundamentally different animal. They can weigh close to 120 pounds, stand over 4 feet tall, and fight using their upper limbs to grapple. They shift their weight onto their tail and then kick forward with both hind legs simultaneously. Each one tipped with sharp claws. And the males, particularly around breeding season, become territorial and aggressive in ways that have nothing to do with how they were raised or how long they've known you. On Sunday, September 11, 2022, Peter was attacked by a kangaroo on his property in Redmond, about 25 kilometers northwest of Albany. A family member found him later with serious injuries. By the time the emergency services arrived, the kangaroo was still there and aggressive enough that the paramedics couldn't get close to Peter to treat him. Police shot the animals to clear the way, but it was already too late. Peter died at the scene. Wildlife carer Michelle Jones described exactly the shit that happens with hand-raised male kangaroos. That up to around 18 months, they're sweet and gentle, and the hormones come in, and the animal you find new stops being that animal entirely. She raised Joey herself and watched it happen. The sweetness just gets taken over by something older and stronger. That was always in the surface eventually. Now for your information, keeping a kangaroo as a pet in Western Australia requires a special permit that authorities almost never issue to private individuals, and there was no indication Peter had one. He was 77 years old, had spent his life caring for animals with genuine devotion, and was killed by one he raised from Joey, killed by Humphrey, his pet hippo. You know what's called when his son kills his father, patricide. But does that word even apply to a 1.2-ton hippo? A South African army major had spent 6 years raising his own child. Marius Els was 40, a former army major who owned a 400-acre farm in Free State Province, South Africa, where he kept giraffes, rhinos, and hippopotamus. He named Humphrey and adopted at 5 months old. After the original owner said he was getting too big to handle, Els bought him in 2005, and from that point on, Humphrey had to run the farm, swimming with humans, being ridden like a horse, coming when Els called his name. Described the animal as a gentle giant. He said he trusted him with his heart, and Humphrey would never harm anyone, and referred to their bond as something most people simply couldn't understand. The problem was that pretty much everyone around Els could see exactly who Humphrey was, even if Els couldn't. His wife Louise had doubts about the whole arrangement from early on, and the hippo had given people reasons to worry for years. At one point, a 52-year-old man and a 7-year-old grandson spent 2 full hours stuck up a tree after Humphrey chased them while they were canoeing on the river, running through the property. Els eventually lured the hippo away with an apple while paramedics got the pair down. Humphrey also killed cows belonging to Els' business partner, regularly broke out of his enclosure, and had a habit of charging at golfers on a nearby course. And given that hippos can move at 30 miles per hour despite their size, that's not a minor inconvenience. Each of these things was a warning, and Els absorbed all of them and kept going. He still said on record that he trusted Humphrey with his heart, and again, he didn't believe the animal would ever harm anyone. But on November 12, 2011, Humphrey attacked him. Els' body was submerged in the same river where years earlier he rescued the hippo from a flood. Paramedics found him underwater with multiple bite wounds, and it was unclear how long he'd been there before anyone found him. He was 40 years old. The thing about hippos that tends to get lost behind their size and their almost unique appearance is that they're statistically one of the most lethal animals on the continent, killing more people than lions, elephants, leopards, buffalo, and rhinos combined. They also weigh up to 3 tons and are built around an impression that, like we've already seen, doesn't switch off because an animal has been hand-raised or lived alongside humans for years. Els knew he was dealing with what he himself called the most dangerous animal in Africa, and framed as proof of how remarkable their bond was. But Humphrey had been showing everyone on that farm exactly what he was for years, and the one person most convinced otherwise was Marius Els, strangled by a baby, his pet python. Dan Brandon had been keeping snakes since he was 15 years old. By the time he was 31, his bedroom in Church, Hampshire, housed 10 snakes and 12 tarantulas, and he knew about all of them. The people who met him described him not as someone who liked snakes, but someone who was really obsessed with them. Friends could barely find a photo of him where he wasn't holding something wild, like a snake, a spider, a hedgehog, a fox he was feeding in the garden. Animals were just organizing his life. But when he had the longest was an African rock python he called Tiny. He owned her since she was small enough to stay in the palm of his hand, and his mother Bab described her as his baby. She said Tiny would actually strike her if she came to Dan's bedroom as if she was protecting him. By the time Dan died, Tiny was 8 feet long. African rock pythons can reach 7 years, and weighed up to 90 kilograms, and they killed by constriction wrapping around their prey and squeezing until there's nothing left. Dan knew all this. He even stopped drinking Tiny around his neck in months before his death because as he told his mother, she got too strong and was so unpredictable. On the evening of August 25, 2017, Bab was downstairs cooking dinner when she heard a crash from Dan's room, went up and found face down on the floor unconscious with Tiny missing from her vivarium. The snake was eventually found coiled under a cabin nearby. Paramedics were called, they couldn't save him. The postmortem found his lungs were 4 times heavier than normal, and there were pinpoint hemorrhages in one eye, along with a recently fractured rib. All these were signs consistent with asphyxiation. They did a deeper inquest, but got more complicated than all this suggested. The coroner reported a verdict of misadventure and concluded that Tiny was instrumental in Dan's death. The theory was that she had been crawling around professionally the way pythons do, and at some point something shifted. He fell, or she Tiny without meaning to. And by the time things went wrong, there was nobody else in the room to help unwrap her. A snake expert testified pointing out that standard advice when handling a large python is to always have a second person present for exactly this reason, not because the snake is aggressive, but because if it coils and contains one person alone cannot get it off. Not everyone was convinced Tiny was responsible at all. The chairman of the Federation of British Herpetologists said openly he didn't know how a snake that size could have done it, and called the ruling into question. Babs Brandon said after the inquest that the family still didn't feel they had the answers they were looking for, and probably never would. She kept caring for Dan's snakes after he died, all 10 of them. His black widow spider bit him. The neighbors in the apartment building started noticing a smell coming from one of the units in 2004. Nobody had seen a man who lived there in a while, but that was unusual. Mark Vogel was 30, kept entirely to himself, never had visitors, and now generally kind of tenant existed in the building without really knowing anything about it. When police finally broke in, they found out that Vogel had been dead for somewhere between 1 and 2 weeks, and his apartment had been running entirely on its own. In the meantime, he had this whole ecosystem of wild creatures living with him. The apartment unit located in Dortmund housed a boa constrictor, several other snakes, poisonous South American frogs, roughly 200 spiders, several thousand termites, and a gecko he named Helmet. The cages and terrariums were all open by the time he was arrived. Giant webs stretched across the furniture. The room was bathed in a weird green light, and Vogel was on the sofa covered in cobwebs, spiders coming out of his nose and mouth. Lizards having torn pieces of his flesh away and dragged them back to the web of tarantulas and bird-eating spiders nesting in the corners. One tarantula had built a nest the size of a swallow in the ceiling. The police spokesman said it was a horror movie, which honestly feels very appropriate given what they were actually describing. But with so many dangerous animals around him, what exactly killed him? Well, it was a black widow spider. He named Patina. Black widow venom is a neurotoxin around 5 times more potent than rattlesnakes and considered more lethal than cobra or coral snake venom. Fatalities from black widow bites are actually uncommon. Even when they happen, mostly because the volume of venom injected is so small. But Vogel was sealed inside the apartment with no one checking on him. And whatever happened after Patina bit him, played out with nobody around him to do anything about it. An animal expert looked at the case said several of the species Vogel kept should never have been allowed in a private home, and some of the spiders were so aggressive they would be equivalent of a pit bull in the animal world. Police described the apartment as somewhere between a botanical garden and a butterfly breeding room from the sounds of the lambs. So perhaps the sheer loneliness of the victim that makes this one of the saddest cases we've seen so far. Vogel only had Helmet the gecko and 2 weeks of silence before anyone even knew something had gone wrong. Her pack of 9 wolf dogs mauled her. Sandra Gibson told her neighbor that her animals gave her unqualified love. She was 50, worked at a rehabilitation center in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. She ran art and crafts programs and spent her own money buying animated music boxes and toys to the residents because their apartment budget didn't stretch far enough. She had separated from her husband for years and lived alone in the same White House in Salem for maybe 2 decades. Well, alone except for the wolf dogs. 9 of them living in a fenced enclosure in her backyard, roughly the width of a 3-lane road, stocked with toys like a replica igloo, balls, and a plastic playhouse. She got them roadkill and recently asked a neighbor across the street to help her haul a deer carcass off Route 22 and back to the property. One of them, a wolf-eating spirit, lived inside the house with her. She raised spirit from a pup. Quick note for anyone who has no idea what species we're talking about. Honestly, I didn't before this research. Wolf dogs are hybrids. They're the result of breeding domestic dogs with wolves, typically mixed with Alaskan Malamutes, German Shepherds, or Siberian Huskies. They occupy this uncomfortable legal gray area where it's really hard to prove what an animal is. Sandra registered hers with the county as crossbreed dogs. So when she sold pups, she identified them as wolves, which required a Pennsylvania Game Commission license she didn't have. A humane officer assigned to the area, Elaine Gower, had been out the property around 10 times over 3.5 years. She never found evidence of abuse or neglect, but she made it clear to Sandra that the animals were unpredictable, had something to go wrong. Gower also knew that Sandra had been mauled by the animals about 2 years earlier and never filed a report. On Monday morning, July 2006, Sandra finally raised the alarm when she didn't show up to a breakfast they arranged. Her daughter was at the house and found her body inside the enclosure with the wolf dogs. The autopsy found she bled to death from multiple soft tissue injuries, with the worst wounds concentrated on her scalp and legs. The attack appears to have stopped. The animals had turned on her and then at some point just quit. They estimated she likely died within minutes of the attack beginning. All 9 wolf dogs were euthanized afterwards. Gower said that the whole neighborhood had been quietly afraid for years that those animals would get out hurt someone. In the end, they didn't have to get out. Sandra was already inside with them. Barbara got eaten by 50 stone pigs. Terry Van Zorn was a Vietnam veteran, came home with PTSD. Found that farming was the thing that kept him steady because Michael was the farm that life to the farm. And Terry took that seriously, killing the property near Riverton, Oregon, with all kinds of animals, birds, turkeys, wandering loose, giant pigs that he refused to sell for meat. That was the kind of operation he was running, not a commercial farm, just a 69-year-old man and his animals. Now back to those pigs. They were enormous. Most pigs raised in the market in the US weigh somewhere between 251 to 297 pounds. Terry's were sitting at 705 pounds each. I cannot imagine a 700 100-pound pig. I really cannot imagine. So they were more than double the average pig. And he had several large bull sows, plus a boar he named Teddy. One of those sows had been hit in the previous year after he accidentally stepped on a piglet. He told his brother at the time that he was going to kill it, but when Michael asked him about it later, Terry had changed his mind. On Wednesday morning in late September 2012, Terry went out to feed his hogs and didn't come back. He found another one looking for him a few hours later and found his dentures in the enclosure. Further searching turned up pieces of his body scattered throughout the pen, but the great majority of him had been consumed. Yes, he got eaten by the pigs. The reason for the situation was that while they knew Terry had died somehow and the pigs had eaten most of him, so had remained that the pathologist couldn't establish the cause of death. The remains were sent to forensic anthropologists at the University of Oregon to see if anything more could be determined. Investigators were looking at a few possibilities. That the hogs had deliberately knocked him over and attacked, that he suffered a heart attack or some other medical event and collapsed inside the pen before they got to him, or that foul play by a person was somehow involved. The limited remains made it impossible to land on any of them. So we can't say with certainty what happened to Terry. All we know is that the same animals he spent years feeding and protecting were the ones that on an otherwise ordinary Wednesday morning on the Oregon coast left almost nothing behind. Perfect camel, a birthday present killed her. What's the best gift for your wife's 60th birthday? No, we ever thought a feral camel was a pretty good answer to that question. The family had actually considered a llama or an alpaca first, but those turned out to be more expensive than expected. And living in Australia, where feral camels have roamed in large numbers since they were introduced in the 1800s, made a camel a surprisingly affordable option. So that's what Pam got. And reared, bottle fed, eating out of your hand, by every early account, a manageable enough animal for a couple sheep and cow ranch in the Mitchell area of Queensland. The camel was 10 months old when the attack happened in 2007, and weeks leading up to it, it had already been showing signs of erratic behavior that should have been hard to ignore. It had developed the habit of knocking the family's pet goat over, straddling it, and lying on top of it, behavior that had been disrupted multiple times, and investigators and camel specialists both later identified as sexual. A 330-pound animal working through that kind of impulse towards a goat is already a problem, but towards a 60-year-old woman, it was a bigger problem. So Pam thought it was inside preparing dinner. When she ran out of the garden after hearing something wrong, the camel had knocked Pam to the ground and was on top of her. By the time anyone reached her, the weight of the animal had done the damage. Investigators found one clear footprint on the side of her face and another on her arm. She didn't survive. Camels aren't naturally hostile animals, but as the specialist points out, they're also not domestic ones. And the gap between those two things is exactly where cases like this happen. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this video. If you like the way I explain stories, make sure to leave a like. If you think I earned a subscription, it would be awesome if you subscribe. Also, since we're at the very end of the video, I want to let you guys know that I'm doing an album movie premiere, and I was gonna promote it. I record my videos in advance on this channel, and in the previous video, which hasn't even gone out by the time I'm recording this, I promoted it and I said, guys, buy tickets. The tickets sold out in 4 days. So I'm so thankful. I'm premiering the Dummy album movie. So just for context, to get you to know, I make music. Dummy in capitals is the name of my third studio album. It has a movie alongside it, which is just all music videos together, just like a movie, just like your candy movie. Except this time, I wanted to premiere it in theaters earlier this month. I wanted it to sound like it's just in all theaters in America. No, I'm not Markiplier, okay? But it's sold out, so I'm very thankful, and I'm just excited to see you guys. Like, it's my first thing where I'm seeing my fans like in one room. So I'm very excited. If you want to go check out music, you can go check out the new singles. But yeah, the album is coming out very soon. Also, by the time you guys are watching this, Skin is already out. That's the last single for Dummy. So yeah. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time I upload.
That's pretty much all. It's nice. Wait, let me see. See some. Is it? No, it's not. I'm on a VPN now. It's actually working. Hopefully. Blocked everywhere. But now I have a VPN. That doesn't make a difference.
Can I try to use the camera?
You know what? I'm gonna pause before going on this one. Right.
Can I try to use the camera?
Ouch. Ouch, the VPN is not handling. You gotta reuse a VPN to Canada, because it's pretty much the only place you can watch it. Yeah, nice.
Can I see that? Okay. That's just recorded.
I won't have to. Jesus. Somehow worse. Okay. What?
This guy is good. He's going everywhere with that relay race. We saw him on TV. They had him on the about it.
Yeah. Stay aggressive. Stay aggressive. You got no shit. Shoot the shit out of him.
Get those toes out, right? Down, yeah.
It's gonna start moving. We got it. Start moving. Don't hustle. Close. That's a bit. Sit up there. You ready? Mine's off. Hustle a check. Not see that. He's moving. You're moving. Sit up. Sit up. Sit up. Drop your feet. Dad's waiting for you. Sit up. Dad's waiting. Sit up. Come on. Drop your feet. Sit up. Muscle. Stay right here. Open it. 3, 2. Open that. Drop your feet. Drop your feet. Let's go. Let's stand them up. Boom. There it is. Open that. Come on. Slide. Drop your feet. Drop your feet. Please drop your feet. Drop it. Say go. Drop up those slides. Boom. There it is. Look right there. Right there. Keep your eye right there. It's what it's about. To be nervous. Take a deep breath. You haven't been on. Let's call him. I hadn't been on in over a year, bro. I was scared too. Call him. This game out. Call him, Shay. Pull him up. Call him, Shay. Drop down and we're gonna go. Drop your feet. Drop down. You ready to go? Drop your feet. Shay. Open the shoes. Drop your feet. Let's go. Ready? You ready to open the shoes? We're gonna open it. Hold up. We're gonna open it. I'm gonna get on it. Let's go. You're gonna open it. Let's go. Ready? 3. All right. Over there. Let's go. Drop your feet. Anyone needs just easy? Yeah.
I didn't know if it was going to be a boy or girl at the time, too. So I think I was about like 8 beers in, and then asked my dad, drive me to Strathmore. Came walking out this big box and got a crib, and I was really excited about it. I was like, I can't wait to put this together. It's like, but I'm still like 4 months away from baby being born. And even then, I still got to wait another whole year or so before I actually put this crib together. So just kind of jumped the gun on getting a crib. I thought I was only going to use it the one time. Now both my babies are using that crib. Yeah, it's pretty funny trying to fit everything in here where I'm trying to get my own place right now. Just waiting for housing to get back a hold of me.
Long shots. Very long shots. Unbelievable.
That picture earlier of us when we were like teenagers. Yeah. What do you say to that band? That version of Dan?
That version of Dan, man, I'm kind of impressed by her. Like, I don't know. I feel like she felt a lot of sadness too. And I remember like being really lonely in high school, being the only native in a white school. Again, not living with my mom or my dad and my siblings, like being an only child. My grandma worked a lot, so I was alone a lot. And I don't know. Yeah, I just like you were saying with your grandpa, I think I did the same thing. I just wanted to impress my grandma, and I never felt like I did. And so I just tell her that I'm proud of her, like just impressed by her.
Whatever, shoot everyone here.
was 8 of us. We were always like together. We always did. We still do. We see it today. So, and then we grew up as nobody was in-laws. We had siblings.
I got it. I'm ready to go. Hey, let's go catch more. Oh, that's a big one. Wait, let's see the big one. Oh! One of these sticks that hurts. You don't like to see. Wait, guys, if they have babies, the thing might be overcrowded. Like, I don't want to hold one, but like, what if it jumps out? Like, look at them. There's fat, there's skinny, there's little, and there's biggie. Don't put any more frogs onto me. Yeah. One. Okay, that's my turn. The guy, he's on the thingy of dying. He's on the CPR. He's on the hospital bed. And if he's already dead, we have to have surgery. Because you guys winded him and killed him. You guys don't work with the frogs. Not our fault, we don't know. Come on. Does anybody know how to do frog CPR? We need it. Stop filming and help us. Yeah. There go.
Where's your cat back? Stole your cat. You were here? I just got here. You have a camera? Hmm? You have a camera? No. Chad was here, you know. Oh yeah? Why'd you bring a bag? I don't know. I might sleep here. Why? I don't know. I got my Oculus in there. Oh, you did that? Was it recording you? Yep. I got those. Below the AT-ATs. Where? Below the AT-ATs. You see them? Oh. Check them out if you want. So yeah. But yeah. He's being recorded at random times. Mm-hmm. What's this for? I don't know.
Hey, that was Blackstone with an amazing, crispy song. We're keeping you entertained and informed. We are the nation station 104.7. I am Tyrone Sitting Eagle, and the Siksika Parks and Recreation is calling all coaches and youth baseball players from ages 9 to 14 years.
And I would like to send out a big congratulations to...
I would like to send a big congratulations to Jason Winnipeg for getting his Class 1 driver's license. That is a big achievement, and not many people can say they have their Class 1 driver's license. Again, big congratulations to Jason Winnipeg. You better not touch that dial, lap.
Put it on his leg. Put it on one leg. Emmett, pay attention. Put it on one leg. Like that. Never mind what's out there. Okay? Nothing's gonna... Okay, grab the rope. Take him out. Take him out. Get in there. Help him. Help him. Help him. Help him forward.
No. Not just going over. Even A25 movies have more stuff going on.
Keep my fucking shitty hockey players on that side that simply just out fucking work us. We're not gonna fucking go anywhere if we keep fucking playing like that. I come out every fucking night and give it all I had. That's all I ask from you guys too. Listen to them, fuck. Fucking 10 guys over there. Got a full fucking bench here. Fucking stupid.
We fucking bitched, we complained, we made every excuse in the fucking book when it came to goaltending. We have 2 fucking guys who are committed, battling every fucking shot. Okay? 45, 40, whatever the fucking shot count was, that's way too fucking much. We can't ask that of any fucking goalie. Okay, let's take a lot of responsibility. I know we can't take it to heart like Coach said, but take some responsibility and take some pride in our fucking D zone.
We gotta get fucking stronger. We're fucking men here. Like, fuck, there's guys holding the puck and then trying to make one extra move. Guy goes like this by him, he fucking loses the puck. Like, get fucking strong on it. Get fucking mean out there. Then you come up with your head down like, well, fucking do something about it. Next shift, you go out there, fucking same fucking thing happens, boys. Get fucking strong. I'm not even fast or strongest guy out there. Don't fucking lose the puck on the wall.
I was doing really good for a week. I took the one week there. That's all it took actually for me. It was just the 1 week. I started eating garbage. I started, sleeping in. I became very complacent. I dulled myself out from what I was continuously doing. Shit, if I had stayed with my routine, even with the kids here, and I had somehow pulled through, I'd probably be chiseled as hell right now, but I at least put on an extra 5 pounds worth of fat from just eating junk food and sugar and stuff. But in that same vein, we can't beat ourselves up from our small setbacks. We just gotta run with it.
You think you're too hard on yourself?
Yeah. Because if I'm not hard on myself, who will be? And it's finding that balance, that fine line. Yeah, if someone's too hard on themselves, they can bring themselves down. Same thing if they're not hard on themselves enough. They're just too complacent and relaxed. But you find that right amount, that Goldilocks amount of self-criticism is motivational. But yeah, I'm hard on myself.
Let's try that again. Okay.
Kid, be careful.
Crazy Jake, do you have your phone?
Thank you.
If somebody went like this to you, you're gonna go like this, right? Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
A light touch. Like that. Light touch. Go up to the ears and back.
Keep moving.
You want to see my badge?
Oh, really? You got a badge?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. SAPD. Oh, SNPD.
You can still pull them over there, even though it's a back road.
Yeah.
Even the back road going to Clooney.
Yeah.
901 extension.
Oh, that's an extension.
Yeah.
So you can still get stopped.
Yeah, you can still get stopped for speeding on there.
Oh, really? What's this? It's 80, right?
80 through there.
Yeah.
No one ever speeds through there. Oh, the washboard cell.
Oh, yeah. I remember I used to speed through there before I found out you're a police officer. No, but yeah, I remember I used to go through there pretty fast, and then I remember that one day I was like, oh, so actually that reminds me of that.
Yeah, that time when I seen you speeding.
3, 2, 1. Okay, hey, hi, hey. No, yeah, it's this is Sit Down with Nina episode 14, segment
Windows
4. Yeah, we just finished talking a little
or
bit about
7.
that speeding zone I didn't know about.
Defense is Jackson, Easton, and over there. Battle hard out there. Riley, Lennon. Jaden. All right, you guys are strong as heck. Do it again. Do it again, boys.
Gee, I lost. How to do it. Uncle needs to find the next white woman. Jesus! I'm never scared.
Yeah. As long as it's clean.
What the heck the beat go? What the
Looking so good in the ways that I do it, cause I got Mr. Professor XPI, deep high, cause I'm gonna die one day, so I'm living to die. Cause I'm living so fly, looking so good that I don't know why. Better be there, you better respect it. Professor XPI, you might get checked it. Better be there, you better respect it. Professor XPI, they got shit. Yeah, in the process is far. Moving every day, I'm a fucking outlaw. Second dream of the life to change it. To be sweet like a baby in a manger, goddamn. I'm too fresh, I hope I'm taking over. These cruising in my floor. They can't even see, yeah, we take it over. You don't even know, yeah, I always going sober. Not in the cell, stuck in the cell. Freedom for my people that are drink about the cell. Free all my haters, all my haters, I'm below. And free all the girls stuck up on the floor. And free all the ones that get stuck up in the kid. Snatch that body, yeah, I'm showing everywhere. Fuck bitches if they wanna keep us down. I love my skin cause it's motherfucking pride.
We all ride horses together on the nation. We all ride horses now. We all have our different teams. Now we get to ride against each other. It's so much fun. So much better to have some fun like that. You know, race against brothers you race home with. You know, like you're racing from one house to the other house, and you're running full tilt, full blast as fast as you can go on a horse to the brother's house, just to get a cigarette. The pose. That's what I like about this. It's a family thing. It's all family. Everybody likes to have fun. Now look at this other guy going in the car. The younger generation. Just take me to throw one of them in the motherfucker. Sit there, man. Sit there. It's good. It's good. I like the way the boys have fun.
Here it comes. Yeah, man, this is gonna happen. 8 nights all that time. And besides the rain right before you're out.
And I don't think you want to break right over the ball.
Oh,
I would love to do it.
Oh, Warrior! Yo, what's going on, homie?
Hey, yo, what's up? My name is Luke John. Represent from Scupper Station, Clothing Upper.
Yeah.
What?
It's a fucking shoulder hit. Watch the fucking replay around. I don't even wear fucking shoulder pads.
Hey, I'll show you that fight I was talking about though, right here. I was fucking young back then, but check this out. It's pretty cool and stuff.
What the fuck?
Cocky Res kid. My daughter plays hockey and she's my favorite hockey player nowadays.
Yeah.
11. Yeah. Then I got a boy that's 7. Ben. Yeah.
North, and we're going to be picking our champion right off the bat.
My boys, I wouldn't say I'm not telling them not to cry, but you know, the 9 and 10-year-olds, they fight, you know, like that's what they have it out. But they don't. I think I'm surprised. I try to not push that. Don't cry, you know. Like I know we grew up around that. Like there's always that, you know. Oh yeah, we'll see if you cry. Right? So we had to tuck a lot of that down and hold on to that, you know. I guess it did make us tough, but at the same time, there's a lot of that trauma that we just stuffed away, you know, and kind of tucked away. And like as you get older, you realize, like, damn, you know, this is some stuff I probably should have dealt with.
Don't dribble into them anymore. Dribble. Let them come. Go away, you're gonna hurt in the process. Shit, we're cooked. Okay, go. It's like you walking around like that. Oh, do that again. Okay. Oh crap. Oh shit. Don't touch me. Oh no. Purpose again, you.
Bro. That shoot and classmates was hard.
Whoa, shit. Whoa.
The sport, but where's the man to get back, but man, that last bit.
Oh, that's good.
I always get this little bit of self-doubt at the beginning. But in the end, it just feels great. You feel alive. You find yourself in there, like I said earlier. Well, even in verbal arguments, when someone starts to get angry, you know, that's where you start to lose, you know, because when you start you see the world through an angry lens, it's clouded. And the art for when you're fighting or sparring, all of that is up here. You're breathing heavy, or you can tell you're a little frustrated getting hit, kind of figure your opponent out. it becomes in its own art form to keep a clear mind.
But give some to the dog.
Yeah, one more bite. I'll let you have a bite. Paddle. I will do what I must.
There he is. You get it? I see him around. Okay. Hello. Hold on.
Yeah. Thor's hammers. And then I got the damage, the love, savage, that's what we're known as, and then Daredevil. Devil Driver. Yeah.
How many think you got in total?
I have 33 tattoos and all. 33. But if I count individually, it would be 60. It is what it is. That's life. You make poor decisions sometimes. You gotta live with it.
Maybe.
But remember, tattoos don't make a person. It's just art on the body. That's it. That's all it is. That's me. It's me going to a therapist. That's my therapy right there. I go to Cody. He's my therapist. And he helps me get all of my stress and anger and sadness out. Because of him, I think I'm a different person. But people still think I'm a bad person. But I changed. They can change. We can. Go 7 all the way. 7. Crossing over 7.
Fair enough.
Oh, we got food.
Finish it.
Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. There you go. Pressure now, pressure now. Hey, hands are down. Every time they score, hands are down. You need your hands up.
You guys, every time they score, their hands are down here. You guys are watching, then when they get the shot up, then you're trying to. Your hands only gotta be up. Like that one, you got a piece of it, okay? Keep it.
Boob.
Finally made this decision. It's like, okay, you know, we're gonna have to break up, you know. And I had to like actually pump myself up for like a couple weeks about it, you know. And it was hard because I'd be laying next to her in bed and, you know, holding her and tell her, you know, I love you before going to bed, you know. And then having to like say all that and know that like this is what's going on in my head, you know. I didn't want to, but I felt like we weren't actually, nothing good was like, I was scared that I was gonna create
an atmosphere for our children where it was going to be us fighting all the time. That the fighting would get physical, and I don't want my kids growing up in that sort of environment. You know, like that's more detrimental than parents not being together. So I didn't want to. I remember when I did, I broke down. I was crying. I was hurt that I had to do it. I was scared. Yeah, it was hard.
I started to go through my poetry and start to put it all together, and just reading it and reading, I don't know, my evolution, or reading about the times, like when I said like I thought I was loving, meant like there was a time where I didn't really know how to love. It was like attachment, or like with all these abandonment issues, and so what I thought was love, it wasn't. And so when I learned love, going back into my readings, that introspection and the way that I tried to create awareness around myself, that's kind of where that came from. And then I read somewhere, because when I face myself, I think I have a tendency to face myself really violently or really harshly. So when I said that, like, I heard there's a way like to face myself peacefully, I'm trying to figure that way out, you know, without hurting myself, because then that's when I in turn hurt others. So this peaceful way, I'm actually still looking for it, and I know it's somewhere within our ways, within our Blackfoot ways. That's the peaceful way I'm gonna be able to do it, to be able to give myself a chance before I ruin it, you know, for myself.
We're learning more about a police investigation into the incident, and patrolling trend, Calvary's Pride says it's noticing. Here's Candy Kemp.
This rainbow-painted sidewalk marks an area considered a safe haven for people in the LGBTQ plus community, but a recent hate-filled tirade caught on camera has invaded the normally welcoming space.
All right. Circle up, y'all, this is the cipher. About to begin, yo, can you decipher the lyrical scrimmage that I'm laying down tight, sir? Everything I move, yo, I just like to write, sir. I raise it up like the spirit rolling through me. Everything, yo, it's just like the Doom feat. Doom, MC, real elite. Next level skill, yo, I do any feat. I'm a MC, a breaker, a DJ. Everything you got, yo, I'm learning to write, sir. Yo, any haters, let's talk and I'll just see you later.
Last night I was up until 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
I was making music till about 3 in the morning, so. Smoke till my feelings numb down. I drink to forget tonight. Sleeping through alarms, I can't fight it. All the battles in my mind basically is explaining what I was feeling, right? And so going back to it actually was very relieving, because I went back into it with a different mindset. And so going in there with a healthy mindset, I was able to be like, okay, well, I shouldn't have tried to solve my problems with drinking. The music itself can be very pretty and very uplifting, but then the lyrics are like really depressing, and then and you're like, oh wow. So he gave me all this stuff. So that's basically what it sounded like when it came back. When you hear the piano, that's me playing the piano, and when you hear the synth, that's me playing the melody. And then once I was done mixing it, this is how the final product sounded. So.
I swung down my feelings, calm down. I drink to forget tonight. Sleeping through alarms, can't fight it. All the battles in my mind. If I don't feel okay, I'll just sleep till the moon shines. There's days when I fake being myself. Is it obvious? Can you tell? I feel like hell. So I'm here in the club, dancing with somebody. I don't know when I'll come back and see nobody. It's cause of a hurry. My body's controlling me. No, I'm trying to all get catch a break. I'll dream my problems away. Oh, 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 oh. No, I'm trying to all today. I'll dream my problems away. I'm ready to go. Oh, broken now. Oh, broken now. Oh, broken now. Oh, broken now.
What we're harvesting today is for the family. And the family, Sukapi Nogamo, it's for their health, sickness, it's for new directions, new beginnings. That's what we as men are preparing our sweat lodge for. So we honor her by giving her tobacco. Mother Earth is very plentiful. She gives us these willows to celebrate our ceremonies. So let's honor her by prayer. And if you don't know the language prayer, that's fine to say, Kipitaki. It means the old lady, I offer this tobacco in use of our ceremony for the sweat lodge. And we'll only take what we need, and we thank you for letting us utilize the willows, okay? Okay, we'll begin. Hiya, Mr. Dog.
Seth Jordy James Soto was born on September 1st, 2003. Passed away July 2nd, 2023. His Indian name was Golden Eagle Feather. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for some ball riding? Let's play.
Please, go on.
See, my big baby, this one. That's how old he is. 2.5. See, oh, he's really tall. He's gonna be a tall man when he grows up. I was like, yeah. He's got the genetics. She's the crusty. It's just ice cream crust. You good? Yeah? No?
All the way around to the front. Pull it out, right down, right over here. Yeah.
So was you, Trevor. I make my bed right here. Double wall.
So Dwight and I, we've been working on music together for a long time. He really helped me to still be here and to believe in myself and to feel good. Just somebody to affirm who you are and to believe in you. So I'm really thankful for our relationship.
As a kid, I had a lot of struggles, a lot of pain, and really trying to figure out who I am as a person. And about maybe when I was 15, I ended up moving to a group home. A whole bunch of dudes worked there, and all like Native guys with long hair and braids, and it was really cool because, it was like probably one of the first times where there was Native men around me always, you know what I mean? But it was the first time I really opened my eyes to seeing Native men caring about me, And through that time at the group home, they really started to teach me and redefine what the word Indian kind of meant to me, because before like Indian meant like shame, But they taught me, by the way they treated me and the way they loved me and the way they spent time with me, that like the word Indian meant, somebody who loves me, somebody who cares about me, somebody who doesn't just care about me, but cares about my children who aren't even born yet.
Mom. Something in the water. Fish.
There's a tall one there. These, and then you put them over sweetgrass.
Thumbnail. Was nice despite being kind of slow, but that's kind of the vibe the movie wants to give. Make it more authentic. Doesn't have to be all shiny, too fast paced. But yeah, I had to speed up just because yeah, it's alright. Indigenous. I don't know. The Zul playlist and the video. What is the playlist? I think it's a bug. It's supposed to have something there. Yep. It's this video right here. No way. Yeah, I guess. It's 5 p.m. What the shit? Whoa. I can turn off the VPN now. Just, it's the only thing that makes me be able to watch. Yeah, because yeah. Well, I guess not only for torrenting you're useful. Whoa. No. Imagine paying for a VPN that doesn't allow you to torrent. Just a normie VPN. You'll not be able to torrent, and you will pay for it. Just left also puts the con.
NVIDIA finally did it. They just took the lid off of RTX Spark, a super chip that promises to take on-device AI from an irritating button that I accidentally pressed on my keyboard to a deeply useful agentic collaborator. And while it would be easy to look at this demo that transforms a sketch and a mood board into a 3D animation and dismiss this entire concept as lapse swaps, guys, Clever hate it. This is a seismic shift in mainstream personal computing, and you're gonna have to know about it. On the hardware side, there's no big surprises here. DGX Spark, NVIDIA's pint-sized desktop AI computer, was announced over a year ago, and it's been in users' hands since. So it's that, but in consumer PCs and laptops. So we're looking at 20 ARM CPU cores, up to 128 gigs of LPDDR5X memory, and a powerful Blackwell-based GPU core with a little over 6,000 GPU cores, which actually raises a pretty good question. Why did this take so long? I mean, if we're real to be believed, these things were supposed to be announced in context last year. Well, according to NVIDIA, there was just a lot of work to do, building hardware, building software, and building partnerships to get it right. It really sounds like they've done just that. In no particular order, here's what they're promising. Seamless gaming, even Windows on ARM. Whether you're playing an ARM native game or using a prison translation layer to play and do go. And that includes partnering with top game developers to ensure that DRM protections and anti-cheat will not be enough. 2 is all-day battery life machines as slim as 14 millimeters with RTX 5070 class gaming performance even away from the wall. And third, of course, is AI. NVIDIA is extremely proud of the deep integration that they're building into Windows in collaboration with Microsoft. Will allow users to choose a model or models, create boundaries like when work data set off cloud, and then turn them into fast, powerful local collaboration. I don't know about you guys, but this is what I've been waiting for. I don't want to talk to OpenAI, but if my laptop can handle 120 billion parameter model board listed multiple small ones with a million tokens of context, like, holy news, guys, I can actually do something with that without sharing my email secrets with Sam Altman. Talking about catch fire from an expensive subscription. So let's dive deeper then and get hands on some of these shockingly sexy looking devices. After this shockingly sexy. Let's start with the elephant in the room. This isn't the first time that NVIDIA and Microsoft have announced that ARM on Windows powered by NVIDIA is the future. Last time didn't go so well. So why is this different? Well, the obvious answer is 13 years and billions of dollars at stake. The Apple is the only one who realized that building a business that depends on Intel to consistently innovate forever is dangerous. Another difference is that ARM is on mainstream basically everywhere but personal computers. Your phone is ARM, your watch is ARM, and the data center you're being served this video from is using ARM. So software developers are more familiar with ARM, and the tools that they use every day are better suited to compile for different architectures, including ARM. The last one is that even for software that isn't compiled for ARM, real-time translation layers, which allow x86 software to run on ARM, are everywhere now. Apple uses Rosetta 2 on the Mac, and Valve's upcoming Steam Frame uses FACS. I've used both of them, and they're awesome. And while neither they nor Microsoft's Prism are absolutely perfect, they've all come a long way. So most of your favorite applications are just gonna run, and you won't even realize that they're being translated. The other big reason that I believe it's gonna work this time is NVIDIA. They don't always get things right on the first try. But if you look back at their track record on GPU compute, dating all the way back to the first general purpose computing GPU, 8800 GTX, they've successfully predicted the direction the market was headed at basically every bloody turn. And this time they're not even going out on a limb. On a hardware level, the CPU GPU combo chip that's at the heart of the RTX Spark is very similar to another widely successful product, Apple Silicon. Let's see, efficient ARM CPU, check. Powerful GPU, check. Sophisticated interconnect and high-speed memory that enables them to work together at speeds far beyond traditional PCIe, check and check. And like Apple, NVIDIA is now a $5 trillion company with both the money and the clout to push their partners to support their vision. Here's how they laid it out. On the Windows side, that looks like new Windows primitives that deliver identity, containment, policy, and end-to-end security capabilities. Then NVIDIA OpenShell allows users to define what agents can and cannot do, dynamically route queries to local models or
Why can't we have this
personal
open?
information inquiries that are sent to cloud models. Then there's the third party Spark agent and OpenShell, both connected with these security and privacy layers interviewing those apps. So the goal here is to take something that is already broadly adopted by developers and enthusiasts and make the interface and control simple for regular users, so they can create agents that will execute tasks in Windows applications, reason through cross-app workflows, generate images and video, code plugins and apps, and semantically search local files. One that's personally exciting my line of work is the Adobe partnership. The video pipeline for years being upgraded to take advantage of unified memory, and Photoshop is supposedly jumping from about 5% GPU accelerated to 100%, whatever that means. Both applications are also hooking into the new Windows Agent Manager, so that your agents will be able to interact with both. Now this is the point where I had to stop the briefing for a moment and ask a question that I'm sure is on all the minds. Hey, what about your desktop users? Some of us already have discrete GPUs that are much more powerful, not to mention more expensive, and even on mobile 5070. Will their onboard memory be a hard limit? What I'm hearing? Pretty much. Within the constraints of what can fit in your local memory, regular GeForce users will be able to use many of these movies, and sometimes faster thanks to superior compute. But there's no magic bullet that's going to turn a desktop 5080 with its 16 GB RAM into a 100+ GB GPU. Since we're off the rails, I also took the opportunity to bring up Linux support for all this. And while NVIDIA is not announcing anything right now, apparently the developer team is very focused on getting the Windows launch right. The NVIDIA folks I spoke to fully recognize the building momentum around Linux desktops, and they aren't really anything for the future. The other big announcement has got to be next generation DLSS ray reconstruction. While they're at it, NVIDIA is committed to ray tracing, and like DLSS 4.5, this looks like a major improvement in fidelity thanks to a second generation transformer model. It's also coming for real-time previews in Blender, and the results there look really impressive. A final side note is RTX FrameGen is coming to ClickUI, so your AI-generated videos can use AI-generated frames in between your AI-generated frames. Some folks will be very interested in this, I suppose. Let's look at this laptop. They were not kidding. This is thin. This is the P16 Pro from ASUS. And sure, not the best laptop I've ever seen, but RTX 5070 class GPU in there, how to do it evidently like this through a combination of an extremely slim 99.99 watt-hour battery and skinny pipes, and is that also a bigger chamber? And there's the chip itself. It's amazing how small it is. All your power delivery right there. CPU, GPU, all fully integrated into a single package, and up to 128 gigs of LPDDR5X. I guess I'm surprised given heritage, but the I/O is pretty robust too. This unit's got HDMI obviously, and then three 40 gigabit per second USB-Cs. We have an audio and an SD card along with the USB Type A. Of course, 16 inch is the one that I would have my eye on. It would be the P14. Same I/O, love to see it. A touch sticker? Actually, I can't tell. No, it's not. It does get a slightly smaller battery capacity, but I think that's the price I'd be willing to pay for that much power in such a compact form factor. It is substantially thinner than my current daily driver, and that's already a lot of performance in this form factor. This is just Halo. In the next room, we've got Microsoft Surface Ultra, also incredibly thin for performance on tap. She's running a little toasty, but this has been sitting here in games. First time I came through here was over an hour ago, and with that in mind, I wow, seriously, can I try to here? Like barely right. That's cool. Given how early this is, I wasn't really expecting to be able to just interact with it. Unfortunately, these are the only few we get to see today, but across the board, this is the closest I've seen to, let's face it, gold standard, which is MacBook Pro, but on PC. Now for the uncomfortable stuff. Nobody is talking about price. And NVIDIA's DGX Spark, which you'll recall is basically the same hardware. Not exactly cheap, especially now that it's gone up in price. And I can't imagine that bolting a 10 AMOLED display, a battery, and a haptic trackpad to it is going to make it more affordable. Then there's the CPU. NVIDIA and their partners are talking a lot about efficiency, but any mention of performance is conspicuously absent, which is weird to me. I mean, the Cortex X925 is a perfectly competent CPU core that's built on TSMC's 3nm process. And so the home found they can be comparable to AMD's Flagship Zen 5 at least in quick benchmarks. So NVIDIA's silence doesn't exactly project confidence in this regard. And then there's the last definitely silent moment during my briefing when I wanted to talk about power consumption. DGX Spark is designed for about 140 watts, which by my math would give us less than 40 minutes of battery on a full load on something like the ASUS T16. So obviously then, NVIDIA is tuning the laptop running at a massively lower power profile. But how much lower and how much performance is going to be left? A mobile 5070 is rated for about 50 watts according to Tech Power Up. With notebook check going to be configured for as high as 100 watts. Well, NVIDIA says that I can expect similar performance, but during our conversation, they also told me that I would be pleasantly surprised by gaining endurance on battery. And they had kind of like a smug expression when I asked, I'm talking like 2+ hours away from the wall. I mean, surely there's some efficiency gains from the tight hardware integration, but something isn't happening here. I guess that's a mystery for later this fall when we get hands-on with shipping hardware and software. For now, we're left wondering when will Linus do the same? In response, ASUS. You guys enjoyed this video? Want to see
I hate the phrase life's not fair. I think the complaints of unfairness are often characterized as whining, because you should be allowed to point out when a situation isn't fair. Life's not fair is often said by people who benefit from something being unfair. Those who exploit others, screw others over. And my thinking's always been, if life's not fair, why should any of us make it worse? Why should we add to the unfairness? If life isn't fair, then I think the onus is on those with the power to make something fair to, do that. But the thing is, I disagree with the theory outright. Life is neither fair nor unfair. Life is life. It has no bias. It is systems that are unfair. Systems operated and maintained by people. Saying life's not fair is an abdication of responsibility, as far as I'm concerned. There are people who do unfair things and blame it on life. But the life they're blaming is a life by systemic design. A systemic design that allows them to benefit from unfairness. You see, you look at a twat like Bobby Kotick, or a twat like Ichimoku, or a twat like Android Wilson, and you're looking at a twat who doesn't want the subject of fairness to be in the discussion. Twats who, in fact, don't like the concepts of right and wrong to be part of the discussion, and have done a very good job of keeping that topic far away from the unfair, wrong things they do. And if I'm honest, I've never really cared for that, and it's been really bothering me lately.
What the intro?
So I've got this retrospective of Dead Island that I've been planning for months. I've got the script written, but then I had an Amphexa-fueled need to write this brand new script just before I was going to record that one. And when it comes to ADHD, you've really got to go with the flow. So here we are. This video was very much put together on a whim, but it's something that's been on my mind for a few weeks now. So I do very much hope you enjoy. Enjoy, do it. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he doesn't exist. That's a good trick. A neat trick, but not what I'd put in his top 10 if I were honest.
Big ass ham.
For example, one of the devil's all-time brilliant swindles was convincing the world that morality has no place in an economy. Having done this job for as long as I have, criticizing the corporate destruction of the video game industry and by extension the world at large, I've been hesitant to make one particular argument, one I consider to be the most important and yet the least compelling. Rarely if ever will you have heard me utter this three-word rebuttal to the cruelty, the predation, the creative vandalism witnessed in the past several decades of hyper-capitalistic ruination, at least not without a whole bunch of added qualifiers, but here's the argument in its totality, because it's wrong. More than any other point I could make about the poisoned well that is the mainstream game industry, I believe in because it's wrong with all my heart. And I believe in many cases it should be enough. Why shouldn't Microsoft lay off tens of thousands of people while spending billions on acquiring other companies and wrecking those too? Because it's wrong. Why shouldn't video games be monetized to excess filled with manipulative in-app purchases? Because it's wrong. Why should investors and executives who have neither the requisite experience nor knowledge have full and final creative control over the media
that gets made and quote-unquote earn more money than the people what make it, because it's bloody wrong. I can talk about the financial short-sightedness of a decision, the unsustainability of a business model, the harm an act can do as a proven empirical issue, but I can't simply say it is immoral.
Isn't that immoral?
I can't just say it's, like, not cool. I can't begin any argument with that's fucked up. Sure, I can't. These videos would be a lot quicker than mine. The rise of regurgitative AI, however, has eroded at least a little of the impenetrable wall that kept discussions of morality quarantined from discussions of business. With degenerative AI being so wholly corrupt alongside being a grotesque money sink that only the Epstein class actually asked for, the moral bankruptcy of the technology and its technocratic handlers is a lot easier to focus on. Before we get there, however, we must look at what a great job the money brains in charge have done until now of keeping because it's wrong impotent as a statement. Companies exist to make money. It's the longest running play in the Corpo's handbook, and the first thing I was ever told when my work started going after the rolling snowball of video game monetization. In the proclaimer's mind, this argument shuts down any and all potential clapback because not only is it quite literally true, it allows corporations to ignore every point made against them that isn't strictly fiscal. For nigh on 20 years, this has formed the basis of pro-corpo ideology, and the online thralls of video game publishers have repeated it uncritically for just as long. So what if it's harmful? That's not a video game publisher's problem because companies exist to make money. You don't like predatory monetization? Tough. Companies exist to make money, and if transactions achieve this singular goal, they have to do it. You know what's funny is I only just realised this while writing the script. I'm habitually embellishing the pro-corpo argument to make this video more interesting, and I found myself struggling in the process because nobody has ever truly expanded their argument the way I just attempted to. I'm giving them too much credit by trying. Corpos never speak beyond companies exist to make money, and in attempting to extrapolate it myself, I can understand exactly why. To quote literally any kickstreamer getting called out for doing something fucked up in public, it's not that deep, bro. Take for example what is perhaps the most infamous use of the argument, certainly one of the most substantive, which was Naughty Dog's justification of Uncharted 3's online pass. Remember those failed things that didn't make any fucking money? We're getting out a huge amount of content, and part of the reason for the online pass is that when that stuff goes online, it isn't free. We have to pay for servers and all this different stuff to maintain it, and so at some point, you know, games have to make money. It is a business, and we just want to... be able to continue to provide that kind of content. It's the closest I've ever seen to the argument sounding reasonable, but when you look at it, it's utter bollocks. It acts as if the game itself didn't cost any money to purchase, going on about how they're giving out content. It fails to know all the other revenue streams, including merchant that fucking embarrassing Subway commercial. It's also not what the online pass was supposed to be for. Fact is, Uncharted was already a huge moneymaker for Sony. It was making money, but Naughty Dog had no other justification apart from the oldest line. Games have to make money. When you cut out all the bluffing what's said, that's all it comes down to. It is a business, which ultimately becomes the justification in and of itself. By centering the discussion around matters of pure business, it forces critics to argue on those terms. Critics have to do what I just did, point out how a game has made money, rather than simply say online passes were a mean-spirited and unnecessary punishment for those who couldn't afford brand new games. But it was just a shitty thing to do. You punish brand new buyers too, but that's beside today's point. In essence, companies exist to make money is simply a reworded version of an older, more contentious statement. The ends justify the means. No CEO would say that verbatim without sounding like a supervillain. I mean, they might do these days. We've got a company called Palantir. But make no mistake, that is exactly what is being said when they claim companies exist to make money. It is a literal one-to-one parallel. Profit is the ends, the company's actions are the means. The ends justify the means. In order for this argument to hold any water whatsoever, however, you have to believe several unspoken supporting claims. But it's okay for companies to exist in this way. But merely existing is a valid reason to do anything. And most crucially, the factors such as right and wrong are unimportant or are really superseded by financial goals. People can and do believe these things and have so subscribed to that belief that they consider any other argument laughable. Even those who don't necessarily agree with all this pro-corporate bullshit might scoff at any notion of morality being brought into a debate about corporate greed because, well, it's just not all that compelling, is it? It's not going to move the needle. It's not based on facts and logic. Not when the debate has been so centered on profit and the need to make it. Certainly not when you can actually successfully argue against corporate greed on those terms as well. But I'm actually fighting the urge to speak on those terms throughout this entire video. I mean, it's so tempting to jump the gun and bring up the many great points one can make about how exponential growth is a destructive myth, how much money is wasted every year on unprofitable fads. But I've brought up such things many times before, and that's not what we're here for right now. I want to sweep aside the entire financial aspect, which we will do. But first, let's talk business. Where the phrase companies exist to make money places importance on the behaviour of corporations by painting them as necessary for survival, another phrase effectively minimises it. It's not impersonal, it's just business. This is one of those stock phrases we see in media, and more often than not, it's actually used to portray certain attitudes and actions in a negative light. I'm sure you've read or watched a dozen stories in which an antagonist has uttered those exact words while doing something callous or cruel, a hitman about to kill somebody they know, a heartless executive screwing over their business partner, an opportunist ruining a co-worker's career, that sort of thing. However, these phrases reflect and in some cases even normalise the attitudes of those who truly do compartmentalise the notions of business and humanity. In order to do some of the things they do, I believe profiteers have to maintain the belief that what they're doing is nothing personal, just business. Whether it's poisoning an entire community's water supply, as we've seen in places like Flint, Michigan, or for-profit healthcare and prisons cutting costs at the expense of people's lives, or wholesale robbing resources and annihilating the environment with energy-slurping data centres, there are acts of brutality being committed in front of us all with such shameless abandon that it cannot be done without whaling one's humanity away in a neat little box and kept well away from one's money-making objectives. Sure, it's easy to argue that every executive is like a sociopath or whatever, but I think that's too easy. For one, I reckon you'll find many sociopaths a lot smarter than the average executive. No, I reckon there are plenty of executives who do lack any moral compass. I think we've seen plenty of execs who genuinely want to believe they're good people. At the very least, most humans want to be seen as good, and there's absolutely no way for these fuckers to do that without extracting the humanity from their actions. Layoffs are one of the clearest indicators of this. In their fantastical pursuit of infinite growth, executives routinely lay off hundreds of people at a time. Hundreds of people losing their livelihoods through no fault of their own, often because their hard work contributed to a company's success, and the company needs to maintain an illusion of beating that success. It's a lie that layoffs only occur when a business is doing poorly, as we've seen during the tech industry's malignant overgrowth and the tens of thousands of jobs taken away in the process. Layoffs are at epidemic levels, all while CEOs add billions to their net worth and boast of unprecedented revenue. In one of the most insidious aspects of public company practice, the workforce is punished for its own high performance. You know, since it's the people doing the work who make the products that generate the revenue, which executives use to reward themselves. This horrific cruelty is not personal, though, it's just business. As I've explained in prior works, rarely are layoffs presented in the news as anything other than a blameless phenomenon, most notably with headlines that describe companies being hit with layoffs. It's not a fucking natural disaster that hits a company, though. It's human beings making a conscious decision to ruin other human beings' lives when they could maybe stop increasing their own pay packets for once in their parasitic careers. Executives need the lie, though. The ones who still retain a shred of conscience need it to sleep at night. The ones who burns the good out of themselves need it to convince you they have a conscience. The things they do have to be dehumanized. Layoffs have to be a normal event, as impersonal as the weather changing, just business. They have to happen to companies, and they have to take out an amorphous chunk of employees, a statistic, not individuals. It cannot under any circumstances be something that people did to people, because it's nothing personal, it's business, and if it were the other way around, they'd be fucking monsters.
I need you to tell me that I'm a good person. I know that I can be selfish and narcissistic.
It is amazing what some of us are capable of when the rules no longer apply. And by some of us, I mean a few rich couples. Regulations are written in blood. A regulation is almost always the result of something a business did because the law never said it couldn't, and the harm being so great it brought the hammer down. It costs money to initiate health and safety measures. It severs revenue streams to have restrictions on selling to vulnerable people like children, and we can't have that, can we? We're living in a fucking perilous age. Deregulation is on the rise, and corpos are jumping on every opportunity to cut corners, sell cheap garbage, and make the world a less safe place. The wonderful Kaylin Conrad recently put out an important video about how the biggest AI companies in the world are trying to pass a bill that will grant them immunity from the harm their evil products are doing. Not will do. They are pulling off this evil right now, taking advantage of the lack of regulation the same way the alcohol industry did, the tobacco industry did, how every industry has when they had something for which the law wasn't yet built to cover. Why am I bringing this up? Because executives don't want to recognize any authority other than themselves. In the socio-economic system we have, a billionaire is the closest thing on earth to a god. And who dares tell a god what to do?
Suffering for your gods is your only purpose.
Corpos folks have worked very hard to protect themselves from every rule that applies to the rest of us, but there's one system of rules they can't buy their way out of. Rules that determine what makes a good person and what makes a bad person. I mean, they can pay off evangelical pastors in exchange for a sloppy, exonerating blowjob, but I don't think it counts. Of course, these besooted leeches want to divorce business from morality. Of course, they want to dehumanize even themselves by having us focus on the nebulous concept of a company's existence. And of course, they want a separation of personal and business matters because they are immoral fucking scumbags and they don't want you to think that's relevant. They do indeed wish to be free from the constraints of petty morality, and only them, of course. You can call the queers sinful. You can claim black people are all criminals. You can spout about the moral decay of society all day fucking long, and many of the tech bros committing daily atrocities love to do it too. But they're exempt, you see. What they do is business, and business is not a moral subject. This is why minorities who have hurt nobody are subject to harsher and harsher legislation, while ChatGPT, which has so far taught several children how to commit suicide and helped orchestrate at least one school shooting, has faced zero fucking penalty whatsoever. One issue has been framed by a moral panic, the other has not. Seriously, do check out Kalen Conrad's videos on AI. Some of them are terrifying, and the rest are just heartbreaking. The moral arguments against what OpenAI and its filthy ilk continue to do are numerous, damning, and frustratingly irrelevant. Why should it be irrelevant, though? Why the fuck should we not criticize OpenAI for its heartlessness, its cruelty? If the propagandistic groundwork hadn't been so steadily laid, if this socio-economic system hadn't so thoroughly strangled all sense of decency out of the discourse, because it's wrong would be seen as a far more valid and relevant point than it's just business. Because it's wrong is not seen as good enough because corporate behaviour simply cannot withstand that brand of scrutiny. It's wrong to encourage children to gamble so the loot boxes in the rated for kids FIFA game simply isn't gambling. It's wrong to convince someone with learning difficulties to give you money they can't afford so they simply aren't counted when publishers tell you their microtransactions only affect a small number of whales. It's wrong to plagiarise, wrong to steal a city's water supply, wrong to replace hardworking artists with a soulless algorithm, wrong to advise on a school shooting. So the concept of right and wrong itself is discredited in all matters regarding AI. My go-to retort for the justification that companies exist to make money has always been to point out everything that exists to do something that we don't tolerate. Jeffrey Epstein existed to fuck kids. Both lived and died for it. Didn't make him cool. Well, I guess that's not going to convince tech bros since they're all, in on the nonce racket, but the point stands. Deadly viruses exist to replicate at the expense of life on Earth and they're not tolerated. Hell, corporations aren't even exclusive in their ends. Organised crime exists to make money. Cults exist to make money. Human traffickers exist to... Oh, wait, we're talking about executives again. But you get the point. Existing to make money simply is no excuse for doing awful things, is it? Do they let drug dealers off the hook if their defence is, well, I got paid? No. Though if you ask me, a dealer does a lot less fucking harm in a lifetime than Sam fucking Altman does every day. I'm not even being I consider drug dealing a legitimate business. You might want to say I'm being absurd right now, and I agree. It is an absurd fucking excuse, isn't it? You can also argue that morality is subjective, which is true, but is it any more or less subjective than which seller of addictive substances is a business and which is a criminal enterprise? Is it any more subjective than deciding the legal way you can poison a public water supply? Is it any more subjective than what counts as copyright infringement these days? I can tell you one thing, it's certainly a lot less fucking arbitrary. Just look at all the special exceptions AI is getting from legislators right now. The theft it's allowed to do, the health and safety regulations it's allowed to skirt. And you tell me if judging an act on basic right and wrong is less valid than judging it based on how rich the perpetrator is. We can argue over the particulars, but that is not the point. The point is whether something's right or wrong currently doesn't factor at all into corporate decision making, and it just fucking shows. Fairness is not a stupid thing to consider. We've just been convinced it is by people who have something to lose by being there. At least subscribe to the most basic tenet of all. Do no harm. Why is that too much to fucking ask? Another thing I've said about companies existing to make money is that the statement by itself is an indictment, not a justification. Having such an inhuman, single-minded drive to profit at the expense of all other factors is not noble, not laudable, not okay, not anything other than distinctly antisocial behaviour. And I don't mean that in a medical sense. I mean it is distinctly antithetical to society. It is against people, adversarial. The proof is in literally all of the damage we've touched upon today and all of the damage we haven't. The disenfranchisement of whole communities, the health problems caused by their products and pollutants, the support of literal genocide, Microsoft, the transfer of wealth during times of crisis, the fucking billionaire paedophile rings. The corpo mindset is so unable to consider anything but the most gains with the least investment that it is by its very nature inhumane, malicious, and bereft of decency. And the corpo mindset doesn't want you to think about that. Executives don't want you to criticise what they're doing by saying it's wrong, because if you did, they know you'd be right. So there you go, it's a video for you, innit? As I said in the beginning, I think AI might help to reframe the discussion somewhat because so much of what it's doing is, by every traditional measure, objectively morally wrong. It plagiarizes, it plots crimes and suicides, it's destroying entire communities. It's a scam, it only exists for investors, and it's not fair. It's not fair, and it's okay to say that. And it's a lack of fairness by itself is a valid argument. So thank God for me, this is High Step Step by Step, and I'll see you next time with that Dead Island video.
Oh, 14 minutes ago. I've got to double check those links, of course. Be careful. Yeah, 3.5 hours. Yeah, it's enough. Enough is enough. But I gotta make sure. Actually, gonna as well. Oh. The title change situation. I skipped that one. Yes, this one as well. I skipped on that one. Yep. Novo
Olá, Mariana Varela. O
protocolo.
assunto da semana é o novo protocolo nacional para rastreamento do câncer coloretal no SUS. O Ministério da Saúde anunciou que vai disponibilizar o teste imunoquímico fecal, o FIT, da sigla em inglês, para detectar o câncer coloretal em homens e mulheres assintomáticos. Que vai disponibilizar o teste imunoquímico fecal, o FIT, da sigla em inglês, para detectar o câncer coloretal em homens e mulheres assintomáticos entre 50 e 75 anos de idade. O câncer coloretal é o segundo tipo de câncer mais frequente no Brasil, excluindo os tumores de pele não melanoma. O FIT é um exame de fezes, geralmente feito com fitas rápidas, semelhante a um teste de gravidez. O método detecta pequenas quantidades de sangue oculto nas fezes, que podem ser sinal de pólipos, lesões pré-cancerígenas ou câncer no intestino. Segundo o Ministério da Saúde, o exame vai ser usado como triagem para definir quais pacientes vão precisar de colonoscopia, o exame que confirma o diagnóstico com precisão. Para fazer o exame, o paciente recebe um kit para coleta em casa e precisa retirar uma pequena amostra das fezes com uma haste própria, colocada em um tubo coletor. Depois, o material é enviado para análise laboratorial. Quando o resultado aponta a presença de sangue oculto, o paciente deverá ser encaminhado para exames complementares, ainda de acordo com o Ministério da Saúde. Pessoal, a colonoscopia continua sendo considerado o padrão ouro para avaliação do intestino, porque permite visualizar diretamente o cólon e o reto, além de retirar pólipos durante o procedimento, evitando que algumas lesões evoluam para câncer. No entanto, o FIT é mais conveniente e mais barato para rastreamento populacional do que a realização de colonoscopia em toda a população assintomática. Com esse exame, que começa a ser oferecido no segundo semestre deste ano, o Ministério da Saúde visa ampliar o acesso à prevenção e à detecção precoce da doença. Se você quiser saber mais sobre o assunto, é só clicar no link na nossa bio.
The Department of Health approved making it available for people to have this exam, this test to be yep. Not available for everybody. Who's mostly to get this type of cancer, those who are prone to have it genetically, I guess. Those who are either like middle-aged people as well, who's gonna be more prone to having it. Well, yep. Mm. Jesus. Oh no. I think it's the type of link. If I paste the wrong type of link, it's over.
Servos dots on the window call threads, and they are not glued on or anything. They are based. Servos dots on the window.
What?
Call threads, and they are not glued on or anything. They are basically baked into the window in manufacturing process, so you can't scratch them off or anything. If you would look at your car windows, you would see that not all windows have this threads thing. Only the windows that are glued on to a car have this threads. And it's very important in the gluing process because, you know, when you glue the glass, it is very smooth. It doesn't have any rough things, and glue doesn't stick very well to it. So this threads line helps the glue to stick to the glass way better than it would be naturally. So another thing, have you ever saw a glue that is always exposed to the sun? If you saw, you probably noticed that it's starting to crack, it shrinks, it basically loses its gluing abilities. And the same thing with the car window. Cars are exposed to the sun a lot, and if that glue wouldn't be covered by that thick black line, it would be exposed to the UVs of the sun, and it would lose its gluing abilities very fast, let's say. But now it is covered with that black thing, and it is basically never goes bad through all the life of the car. So now I know what you're thinking. That black line makes sense. But what about those dots? Why are here? And those dots help gradually transfer from that black line to the glass. And that is very important in the manufacturing process because glass is manufactured in very high temperatures. And that black line around the glass gets way hotter than the rest of the glass because black absorbs light and it just gets way hotter. That gradual transfer from the solid black to basically transparent helps to even out that difference of the temperatures. And that is important because if you have very big differences between the temperatures, that can bend the glass and it can create some kind of little lens. And you don't want to have a lens in your car windows, right? That makes sense. And another reason is more simple. Like I mentioned, it creates that gradual transfer from solid black to transparent. And I bet a lot of you didn't even notice those black dots on your car windows until this video. And that makes a little sense because that gradual disappear from solid black to transparent helps our eyes not to notice harsh things because it's not harsh, it's gradual disappear. And another part where you can see those is above the rear view mirror. That helps to block the light. Actually, it is kind of transparent, but it is also blocking the light. At certain angles, that light can hit your eyes very aggressively. And I see that half-tone thing a lot of on the public transport, especially on the buses where I live. And that makes sense because it blocks a lot of light, but it also allows some light to get in. So now you know why we have those dots around our car windows. But do you know what would happen if you...
Or... Okay, I guess. More. I guess that's it, indeed. Let's report show about it. Yep. 3 hours and 45 minutes. Oh, there was this one. Let's see. Servants. Whatever. Just, yep. Oh, I'm just so tired of it all. Seriously, just. Ugh. Upcoming at 8? No. Yep. Yep, that's all.